If I was smart, I'd find you a star, and we could be in love, lighting up the dark. But there's nothing I can do, I can never get to you. So I'm looking for a miracle, like if somebody be so beautiful, yeah. It's only a dream, it's how I feel, that you deserve better than me.
Hey the lows, कैसे हो the lows? What is up? 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 Good mornings to everybody. Good mornings. thumbnail change होएगा. रुक जाओ, thumbnail change होएगा. आ रहा है, on the way है. और भाई ये 3 days कहाँ था? कल रात को एनएस स्ट्रीम हुआ है भाई. क्या 3 days? और भाई what is up? हैप्पी रामनवमी मेरी जान के ठेठे. तक भाई क्या कर रहे हैं इंटर में? एक्सक्यूज मी. मैनफ्रिड कोच बराबर बराबर बराबर. गुड मॉर्निंग यार, गुड मॉर्निंग. हाँ कैसे हो यार? कैसे हो? कैसे हो? कैसे हो? व्हाट इज अप? बहुत याद आई आपकी भाई, बहुत याद आई भाई. कितनी देर सोया मत पूछो ना. 2 घंटा. भाई बोलना इजी फॉर करो. एक्सक्यूज मी. आ रहा है भाई, thumbnail आ रहा है, ऑन द वे भाई. हाँ, हालत ठीक है, हालत ठीक है. पाव भाजी खा रही हो? ठीक है भाई. क्या लगता है आज कौन भाई? मैं किसको सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा हूँ यार. मेरा हो गया. मैं सारे फेवरेट टीम्स को है ना, मेरा हो गया भाई. आई एम डन. किसको सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे? पीआरएक्स जीतेगा. इसको सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे लेकिन पीआरएक्स जीतेगा. मेरी बात सुनो, ठीक है? बूम ऑल द वे. सो नहीं पा रहा 2 दिन से. क्या करूं? मेरा बहुत महीने हो गए. यू आर आस्किंग द रॉन्ग पर्सन. आज पीआरएक्स हारा तो मेरा हो गया भाई. कुछ नहीं हारेगा, ठीक है? थंबनेल इज रॉन्ग. टाइटल में लिखा है थंबनेल चेंज होगा. मतलब इतने बड़े अक्षरों में लिखा है टाइटल में. चिन्मय भाई का है सुबह सुबह गाय लिखाना है आपको. चलो.
This one coming. When you look back towards kickoff against DFM and you're getting smacked 13-1 as Paper X, you know, are you coming into this and it's like, all right, guys, we're getting Patman in the roster. That's a buff. Yeah, let's play Pearl.
That's definitely what you are hoping for.
भाई कल तुम लोग ने एनए का स्टेज मिस किया by the way.
We're hoping for that as well. Some Boom fans as well. But we'll see how it all
कल तुम
fares
लोग
off
ने एनए का
because these
स्टेज मिस
hungry
किया.
beasts have been nipping at the heels. They're pouncing on that opportunity to lock in playoffs. Can
2 दिन
Paper
का
X
मिस
find
लव यू
their
यार.
Morgan? Or will they face extinction? What possibly could be that? And right now, we are off with Paper X on the attack.
Well, they need to
ये
certainly bring
का
something,
lineup
isn't
है
it? The 1-4 record so far for them this year, quite abysmal for Paper X. So starting off with their own map pick, getting a pistol is not going to be a bad thing for them. Of course, Berserks has been stellar throughout the course of this tourney so far, and he's not going to be tackled with in mid, but the other guys over at long will be.
Yeah, it's a bit of a duo stack as well. You've got you right up at the back.
क्वालिटी के अम्मा बेन हो रखी है भाई. ये क्या हो गया भाई? ये
create the pressure down B-long.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily need to see Paper X keep on going with this one.
भैया
One of the
जी
approaches in running the double something here. There's still going to be options for them. Jin can still run out with that Blaze as well. you know, I look towards what PaperX are
मेरे
running
आंखें
here, and
गई
we
क्या?
can potentially see some parallels to the
Production
likes of
quality.
100 Thieves, who will play
क्या हो गया
Arsenal
भाई?
on the Neon instead of the Phoenix here for Jing.
So those double duels
Are we going
possibly
on
coming
Utu?
handy, but it's, well, you know, this composition, especially Jing on the Phoenix, is something that PaperX are really familiar with. Now doubling back in towards V-Link, but Famous gets ahead.
Yeah, Famous back on his jet. You know, it's one of those
Ah,
agents that you
yeah.
assume he's very capable with. This time looking the wrong way though, and he'll pay the price.
It's pretty interesting. We've seen Famous on the Neon so far now, but back in Ascension last year on the jet. But
Jing
this time,
bolte.
digged out by Jing.
Jeet
A
gaya,
quad
chalo,
being
round
picked
jeet
up on
gaya.
the pistol.
Could be in for the ace to start off the affairs of PaperX here. NC
सुनो, चुपचाप fuck off हो जाओ यहाँ से. ना अच्छा YouTube है भाई.
Back in Ascension last year.
be able to hit.
Jing looking a lot more comfortable. He's online for the ace as well.
जमीन आसमान का
Receiving
फर्क है
first
क्वालिटी
contact,
में.
spots him out, and there it is! The ace to
Ace
kick
मार
this
दिया
off for
पहले round में.
PaperX.
Well, if you want to see
गया
PaperX's current scoreline of being 0-2 start
गया.
off to try and tackle in towards
हाँ
stage
भाई,
1,
कौन है
get
haters?
towards, you know, Masters Toronto, back towards the international stage where we didn't see them for the first time at the previous Masters, right?
एक सेकंड,
Starting off with an ace,
पतमैन आया
not
है.
a bad idea.
मैं अभी देखा.
Certainly a very welcome sight, especially for the PaperX fans, possibly in the chat as well. But it is still really early, Komodo.
Yep.
I have
यार
seen
क्या cute
a
है
lot of these
यार.
advantages fumbled
भाई
before.
पतमैन खेल
yeah,
रहा
I
है.
mean, you can't really
Last
forget
time
about
भी था
that
क्या?
one, that's for sure. Got to also remember Boomer, the team that currently, you know, have 3 individuals that we've seen.
Mama bye,
run
what is up?
before.
Long time no see.
And
How's
bringing in some
you?
statistics,
Oh, man.
clutches and kill deaths
How's
as well.
life?
I mean, you look towards DOS9 and Berserks, right? You gotta see them be
1440
consistent.
कर हवले.
If Famous is getting out an
क्या इसके
operator on
ऊपर
this
जाऊँ मैं?
defensive side later on. That's
We'll
something that
see.
you're gonna have to try and piece together as PaperX to shut that one down. This time though, up very quietly towards B long. And now they explode.
Stars might reveal their intention, so maybe Famous quite aware, but still getting
नहीं
taken
मान
out
रहे
quickly
बे, नहीं
by
मान
the
रहे.
sharpshooting from the PaperX members. Now down to the last 3 from Boom. They are somewhere hovering nearby.
2x करो. यार यही इसलिए मैं ये नहीं करता. 2x करो, 5x करो, 10x करो. नहीं मतलब आराम से राउंड जीतेगा भाई.
Push them all the way far back.
आराम
into
से राउंड
spawn.
जीतेगा. प्रॉब्लम है क्या?
Prowlers revealing their location. Forsaken with the ghost, of course. He hears everything, and he will collect everything as well. Doesn't fall. Picks up the quad, and that's a lot of money going to the next round.
They're on point today, that's for sure. I mean,
Money
you're
chod,
talking
alt
about some
points भी मिल
avenues
गया
to
भाई.
potentially even pick up a bonus round, right?
हाँ?
Having the run it back for Jing, getting close towards Forsaken on the Steel Garden as well. I mean, you're certainly seeing the right players go for the right hunt, the right pathing as well. The flawless round to come out on the second.
क्या
So
हो गया
now
आज
I'll shift
सबको?
my eyes over towards Boom, right? What do we start to see with this composition? What setups can Shiro really try and position for the team?
At least for now, he's positioning himself closer towards Art, possibly hinting at there's a bit of mid-play. They do read the intentions from PaperX into the A site.
Yeah, but the 0 point, I believe, only spotting Patman, right? So when you think about how many players you're tagging up with that blade, you know, does one player signify a
Hey, last
to
time
rotate?
Patman ही था
Starts to,
कि
NC Slasher is
mindset करे.
rotating over. First casualty is Jing, Forsaken falls too. That's an immediate shutdown on this bonus quack.
Yeah, PaperX gonna have to head off to find another opportunity somewhere else on the map, but I can't imagine too much going their way right now. Every single lane
क्या हो
is
गया?
being locked down.
DOS9 आज नहीं हो रहा है
Something
क्या?
not able to progress outside of club either, playing on that Marshall, so it's just dirty info for them at the
Hater.
moment that they'll try to recollect their
Mindfreak
forces
का तो
together.
पतमैन का आज पहला गेम
Something
है.
I've been
डिबट
impressed
से.
with from Boom so far throughout this stage is their decision making and their
Patman का
patience,
debut से
right?
आज.
Berserks again,
That's the crazy thing.
I'll highlight his util positioning, and I think most importantly, discipline has been gorgeous. But
Yes.
this time, it's going to be NC Slasher and Famous here at B.
You know, if you would have told me that Boom would be a disciplined team, or a control team,
Yeah, crazy, right?
2025, yeah, I would not have pictured that, but they are looking phenomenal right now. Famous holding the angle, spots out, gets the information for the team as well. Divide trying to make use of the angle, but getting gunned down. A bit of a wall bang. Double kill now, looking for the third,
Patman,
but
Patman.
Patman will be able to answer back, but of course, not
Anti,
before the rest of the
anti,
team
anti,
descends upon
anti.
him. So, Boom, able to answer back.
बात है बंक्स
Surviving
भाई यार
four
मैं
as
बूट
well.
कैंप पे था.
Will take
हेवी
Famous as the only
काम चल
casualty
रहा है.
in that round, not able
ऐसे
to get out
12
an
बहुत कुछ
operator
कुक
just
कर रहा
yet,
है.
of
पॉपकॉर्न
course. I
लेके
think that's
बैठने
one
का
of
तुम
my
लोग को
things
1
that
साल
I'm
का
really
पॉपकॉर्न
gonna
लेके
be
रेडी
kind
रहना.
of waiting for in this series
A
as
lot
well,
of
right, to see
cooking this
if
year,
Famous is
पूरा
gonna be able
साल.
to keep on his number
ठीक
one
है.
operator kill
तो heavy support चाहिए तुम लोग का, बहुत कुछ आ रहा है, बहुत मेहनत हम भी करेंगे, तो सिर्फ W चाहिए, समझ रहे हो? Please an update please, अभी हम लोग का एक और मैप जीतने का out of 6 मैप and we qualify for playoffs of Premier जहाँ पे 16 teams रहेगा और फिर उसमें से top 2 आने का.
Just for a tiny second, so at least for now it's still not.
You guys are not ready for upcoming. Not ready by.
Traps on the site itself.
Not ready.
Blaze wall as well. So trying to get that pinch on, trying to get the spike planted as soon as possible. Jing with a run it back will continue pushing down a single lane. Berserk though holds down Halls with a lone shorty. Something tries to deal with him, will be able to do just that, but not before. Got another. Yeah, he took down a second player. PaperX now working at a numbers disadvantage.
Well.
And the site is too hot for them to get the spike planted. Divide trying to provide
some
assistance.
Right.
That smoke goes a little bit too deep. Shiro and Famous have already gone past the sidelines. It's just something left now. Fake gate crash as well, but the spike still down. The stealth drone has spotted him out. This round is quite possibly over unless a miracle is pulled out of the hat.
Yeah, you just
I'm gonna join the team ASAP, don't worry.
He's got no util as well, Komodo.
Very difficult.
And speaking of how disciplined Boom has been, look at this!
30 seconds left.
No individual duels. Famous holding the angle, spots out the shoulder, headshot easily found.
Really good
discipline, really good trading game from Boom in that. The positions that they're holding as well, the fact that Berserk is able to get away with 2. I mean, he's just been so consistent throughout the games that we've been seeing so far from Boom in their 2-0 wins. And I mean, you look towards it as well, right? I saw a great haunt from
if
Hatman
Boom
that
wins,
tagged up
is
Shiro
it an upset?
over its tweet, but the runner back wasn't able to get
upset.
deep enough to be able to capitalize
It's
on
the
it there.
goatest
So
team of
something
all
that you'll want
time
to see
after
PaperX reel
G.
in a little bit later on, but the protocols are certainly there for them. I mean, I'm seeing them sneak up towards B, right, with all the kill through utility that Berserk has down, and they're trying to break in, but it's the trading, it's the right angles from Boom. Very aware of their strengths on this map so far, which, I mean, it'll be further accentuated now that they've got the guns.
BME winning this, Ritik bhai, thank you for the 100 minute jam kit.
This is a composition that Boom is quite familiar with, having, studied PaperX in the past, possibly. Of course, their most recent matchup was like 3 years ago.
I mean, talk about study. How much study can you get from a 13-1?
It's been a while, but they are, both Indonesian teams, somewhat Indonesian players both sides. At least right now, though, Forsaken creating a little bit of pressure, feeling some heat himself, getting taken out. Meanwhile, the site getting fired back as well. Forsaken, though, with this Phantom pickup, will continue to push through.
Because it's a 2 versus 4 at the moment, Famous has to bring out the Blade Storm because the Outlaw is going to be that distant gun.
भाई निकाल सकता है, Famous निकाल सकता है.
Look at PaperX.
Yeah, they've pilfered these guns as well, right? So now they're playing with Phantom, Vandal. We've seen Forsaken really be picking up the Phantom lately, and how damaging he's going to be able to be with that one. So this might be a bit of a thrifty to come through PaperX's way.
Well, at least they haven't quite sussed out Famous's position just yet. He has a slight opportunity, possibly, but he has to be very careful as well.
Thank you for the membership.
DOS9 arriving right on time as well. Famous clears the angle, spots out Jing, has to back off.
Needed that shot, honestly. Time to be bought.
Okay.
Can
DOS9 pull a rabbit out of the hat? Not quite. It's going to be Divide with the Sheriff shot instead. Famous now goes for the peak, but Jing in with a flash as well. It's Forsaken to find the kill. I mean, he started this off with the Sheriffs into the Phantom pickup and a triple kill in the round.
Yeah, he had a great lurk up through mid, honestly.
तो तुम लोग बोलना चाहते हो कि पहला राउंड जिंग ने मारा, फिर Forsaken ने मारा, फिर एक और राउंड टीम Forsaken ने मारा.
Good patience from PaperX in the way that they're navigating
मतलब
around the
अपना
map.
deadly duo is on.
From them is wise at the moment.
We've seen Boom, getting a bit of a read for how PaperX might play, especially with the run it back from Jing in the previous round.
Ads बंद कर दे off पे भाई.
PaperX also showing that they have a lot of cards up their sleeves.
Yeah, I mean, when Devi's picking up this Astra, I mean, it's not an agent that we usually associate with him whatsoever, right?
Oh, bit of a pop flash as well.
नहीं
So
दिखाई दिया बे.
now PaperX looking to exploit the mid lanes.
It was just Berserks though, and he did have the Sheriff, right? Because Famous now has the Operator. I wonder if PaperX are going to be ready for this.
Would have to. Famous currently leading with 19 kills on the op right now, but instantly dealt with by something. Look at how he pilots that Yoru. Gate crashes all the way
blind
back
होता है
towards
क्या
bomb
किधर?
sidelines.
I wouldn't be surprised if they want to just grab that Operator and go for a save here as Boom. You're in a 5 versus 3 deficit. It's going to be very difficult to try and get in on a retake here. You just have to play towards the later portion of this half. you know, how can you activate Famous with this operator? This is the round where just one impact kill in mid.
वापस चालू ना 10-15 सेकंड में राउंड खत्म.
To be and a simple combination where something is able to
blind दो राउंड खत्म.
Famous with that operator on the line towards street.
देखने गया था, आपका पोस्टर बनाया था, आपने वॉच पार्टी नहीं की. मैंने देखा लेकिन आप थे क्या?
This is exactly how you would want to play.
उसने बात की और बोला मेरे को I saw you holding. सच्ची? जीत भाई?
And any kills that they can find on the hunt.
कॉपी दिया पोस्टर भाई को?
Quite damaging. Ooh. Forsaken. Yeah, he's not
love
going to be able to
you यार,
though,
जीत
so.
भाई, love
well
you यार.
Another round on the board on this attacking side.
निकाला कि नहीं?
Yeah, a bit of discipline for Paper X as well, but
goat
we shall
बंदा है
see,
वो, goat.
you know, a bit of a second opportunity for Famous to find something with this op.
Gonna have, you know, Coach Six Fingers in here for some words. Are we gonna have pseudo Coach Mind Freak on the side of Paper X?
भाई no Mind Freak भाई उसने लंच नहीं किया था.
Yes, we did. We can't
इसलिए
forget Fields as well.
Coach Fields, yes, absolutely.
नहीं मतलब चेंज हो गया टीम में वही ना मेन
Always excited to see what strategies he's able to cook up, and especially when Boom are running this Team Heretics comp as well. You know, there's going to be a little bit of tape that they can kind of work
yes,
back
full
towards.
team के साथ ए भेजना फोटो किधर डालना स्टोरी वोरी डालना.
Not seeing too much, you know, in terms of the KO buff. If you want to call it a buff that comes through on those flash drives and the Yoru clone as well, right? Having a little bit of extra money that you need to spend on it. I still think
Vortex तेरे गांव में हाथी का लुल्ली.
Yeah, we haven't really, you know, walked straight into any sheer walls just yet. You would imagine it does come into effect at some point, but there it is. Hey, assistant coach Mind Freak.
Well,
he's a sip of coffee.
Is he in? Is the camera's closer to him, right? So does that make him in the actual coach slot? Like, is
भाई कैसे है भाई PRX? सच्ची मैं बोल रहा हूँ भाई. कैसे है भाई? जिंदगी में बकचोदी नहीं रुकती भाई. जिंदगी में हो गया अभी कितने साल से देख रहे अपन. हर दिन कुछ ना कुछ फन होता है. हर दिन.
Imagine this timeout has to be called for Boom to reinforce mid
मेरे
a
हिसाब
little
से
bit more.
एलेक्स भाई बीच में बोलेंगे एक को मार रहे टेबल.
So there it is, a couple of pings on the map.
ये कॉल जाएंगे.
Position nearby as well. He hears the footsteps.
Yeah, a big test for Shiro right now.
Tries to dodge it, holds the angle, but he is pretty much pinned down. Ooh,
Clean.
Something. Tries to get ahead with a bit of a gate crash, but it's going to be a double for Shiro right now. Pop flashes as well, and with the underhand toss, fragments to deter Paper X from pushing any further. Forsaken just re-peeking it though.
Yeah, spotted out by the drone. Wanted to try and bring something back into a workable scenario for Paper X, but at this point in
something
time,
back
some
कैसे है?
aggression
Sage
dealt
है ही
with
नहीं,
by
something
Shiro
back कैसे
very
आएगा?
nicely.
कुछ भी
It's
बोलते
kind
हैं
of just gonna really stop Paper X here. The spike is down.
वालों के लिए PC बन जाएगा ना, अच्छा वाला नहीं बनेगा रे.
Timing on NC Slasher getting out that drone by
आजकल
the way
मोबाइल
just
1-1 लाख का
to
आता है.
really put Forsaken in a spot of fodder. And something that I was kind of wondering as well, right? When was DOS9 gonna kind of be brought into the fray for Boom here? That was a great piece of utility to assist Shiro.
Adjustments back into the B side as well. And now it's going to be Famous holding the line with this op. But Divide, well, recalls the star.
But there's 30 seconds, right? You need some really big heroics at the moment. Famous with the operator is extending his kill lead with that gun. And now Jing, name of the game is damage, because the credits, I mean, they're not too flashy for Boom.
Spotted him out as well.
Yep. And now you got the operator back on the line again.
So Boom incredibly aware. I mean, that's
exactly
exactly what I was thinking, especially with that op down. You have to imagine Device somewhere nearby.
मेरा बर्थडे था 3rd अप्रैल का और उस दिन फाफा ने मुझे मारा और घर से बाहर निकाला. I haven't been home ever since.
Yeah, I mean, I look towards him as well, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, you've got a couple of flashes on Jing, on something. If Famous is going to be holding these really tight lines, he needs to either play on a little bit of luck where he's not blinded to get the shot, or go for the lucky blind shot, right? So I'd be kind of interested to see how he's repositioning because that's going to be one of Boom's strengths, right? On this defensive side, really repositioning.
करके गुस्सा थूक देना और ईगो साइड में रखना.
Where he's going to be, how they're leaning around this map, what tells that Paper X are going to come out.
मैंने भी बहुत मार खाया है भाई.
Huge home crowd.
तुमको क्या लगता है? मेरे को नहीं निकाला.
Cheering out for Boom as well.
जब वापस गया था मैं, भूख लगा था.
You've got the operator on this
बस इन कर दो भाई, मजा आता है. Love you
so this dimensional drift. Yeah, I mean, Paper X are going to really try and go with this one. Cosmic Divide invested, but the utility is going to stall them out.
Just trying to push them off positions. The Nightfall being sent in as well. Famous just firing off warning shots, but not quite finding anything with pot shots. He does find one all of a sudden.
Yeah.
The Cosmic Divide now, so a bit of a pop flash through possibly. They're trying to play around the smokes. Malcolm just does keep them at bay for the time being. PaperX trying to hold on to the current positions. Pop flash sent through, and there it is. Bounced off the wall. Something gives himself a bit of an escape route. Blaze Wall just to buy further time for PaperX. Do they go back into A main? Still not quite safe. Boom are suppressing them with a lot of free bullets. Something holds the angle. Famous in with a shorty. Something tries to go for the flick, but gunned down by Berserks as well.
By heavy damage lag rahi hai bhai.
Tries to hold it off right around stairs, but Famous spots the angle.
Bhai, ye to comeback ho gaya.
Triple found in the round, and boom to tie things up.
Yeah, Divide to lose his life first, and PaperX still want to try and get the spike plant down and protect it when Shiro's null command is in the mix. I saw the Blaze Wall come up from Jing, but a missed taunt from Patman. Dodged at the right time for the Boom members, not highlighting anybody. Makes that extremely difficult for PaperX to kind of win any of the duels there. I mean, the shorties are being played well. The fact that Famous finds that first one whilst blind, I mean, it really does hurt out PaperX, but I really have to say, maybe they press the issue a little bit too hard when something's dimensional drift goes in and he's spotting out, you know, Famous. You know the operator's there. When he's spotting out Berserks, you know the Killjoy utility is going to be around the site. They invested a lot to try and bully Boom out of that site, and Boom, once upon a time, they might have conceded the site. They might have been a little bit scared, but this Boom that we're seeing right now, Quack, are a team that has come through Ascension in the slot that they didn't think they'd be here when they lost to Nongshim, right? They are 2-0 up. They are contending with PaperX in the early stages of this map.
They're not conceding so far, not yielding the site. We heard it from the coach's interview way before, you know, on the pre-show. Six Fingers mentioning
so that means मैंने answer भी दे दिया मेरी जान
driven. This
और
is
अपना
a very
personal
hungry
problems
team.
है ना
Like we mentioned, they win this and they're pretty much locked in for playoffs.
Yeah.
घर में जो हो रहा है वो घर में रहनी चाहिए
on the other hand,
I mean, are they gonna make it to another international event? That's the question for me.
They might not even make playoffs at this point, Dion.
I know, right? I know. I think my little fun thing is org-wise as well. PaperX and Boom last time. It was
पापा के पास जाओगे तो क्या बोलोगे? हाँ मैंने यूट्यूबर से बात की उसने बोला वापस जाओ.
That's why I'm like, oh, fraction.
Double खाएगा
It's gonna be the last map. That was the last time these guys played each other. That's a bit spicy.
Bit of familiarity for sure, but still
2.5 years ago. I don't know how much you'd read into that.
सबके लाइफ में problems रहती है यारो. Solve करो, एक ही life है.
Current matchup where things are starting to heat up, very much so.
Different positions though with the utility. Shiro, he repositions over into this mid-con area. He did see the hot hands go out from Jing. It cleared where DOS is playing.
Suppression blade though, spots everything out. Good little flash, but is it going to be enough? They know where DOS9 is. Patman will go in for the pinch. A little bit of utility as well, just to push entry.
भाई दो बाहर रखा था बे वो ये पोजीशन पे.
Trying to force it through. Famous will find a bit of a trade.
Now
there's a gap in the map, right? Berserks has to fall back a little bit, play on the back of his utility that is still active. That turret, it's not spotting out anything.
Patman एक reason है, goat नहीं गया यहाँ से Patman. एक reason है यहाँ से goat नहीं गया.
I think it was just spotted.
Patman.
100% sure, but it doesn't matter because now it's all on Forsaken.
This is the worst spot for the spike to be dropped in. Okay.
But now it's heard, right? 30 seconds to go. The turret has been recalled. Forsaken's going to get in towards the site. There's a nano to buy time.
That's exactly what I mean. And all he's got is just this sheer wall where currently placed. Just give him some information. Arcro's back in. Repositions, and now that's where he gets spotted out by Famous from the back. I mean, even if Famous wasn't there, Berserks was up by dugout.
I do like the response from PaperX and their approach to be able to take mid, right? When they're lining up for this combo of utility to try and take out Shiro's position where he got that double kill in the round previously, right? You're seeing these little adjustments come out from PaperX, but again from Boom, they themselves are adjusting around the map really nicely.
4000 लोग देख रहे हैं. This is the stream. Like नहीं किया, like करो मेरी जान के चोचे.
The team, he still got a kill, so it was really
भाई वो एंगल का कुछ करना पड़ेगा. बहुत मार रहे हो एंगल से.
When you know which either team's way to bring some stability, but in the 2 versus 2,
iPhone वालों membership लो. Love you यार Nerf भाई.
You know, not the most clutch play in the round to be able to win it, but
chat नहीं पढ़ रहा क्या सीन तो बवासीर जैसा 10 चीजें लिख रहा है. मैं chat पढ़ूंगा. हाइड देने के close हूँ.
Feel a lot of the pressure right now. It's Boom
अपने
recognizing
गाफ में डालो
PRX playing this
Jinx,
double
excuse me.
duelist composition, trying to work around B-Link as well, but now back into it. A bit of B-Long pressure. Famous back in with the
Short
up, and
bay.
he continues to lead, and up
Short
kills!
bay.
A second one going through! A bit of a re-peek, slightly whizzed right
Almost
past
short
by,
bay.
and Jing will be able to escape with his life, but still pinned down around this pillar.
I don't know if they spotted Dos getting in the
please
towards the
molly डाल दे
corner.
उधर.
They
Please molly डाल दे.
can't really flush him out
बहुत
though, unless
मारा
you
है
want to try
उसको.
and invest a hot hands and play along the line.
I don't know. I don't think.
So
इसको
far though,
match
Famous, his damage is done, right? Two opening kills, a creep up behind the Nebula.
Thank you Arun bhai for the
Still trying to
cast
go in
those
on.
membership
Probably
अभी
the
अभी
plays
renew
kind of
किया है
healing
आपने
him back
upgrade
up for
किया
just a bit,
मतलब
but
love
Famous
you.
instantly deals with it using the shorty. Shira off towards B-Link as well, blocks every single lane. No joy found at all for PaperX in this round.
Flawless round to come through from Boom. Every duel won, and Famous is on 30 HP, man. He's not
Love you,
scared to
bye-bye.
go in
सब
for
बढ़िया है
it
इधर,
when
सब
you
बढ़िया
know,
है.
you've got the Blaze Wall coming up from Jing. Why would you expect a player who's on 30 HP to just challenge him with the shorty? You kind of don't, right? But that's what sometimes
मस्त खेला ना
the
Famous ने.
gusto from him to go in.
The morale boost from the previous rounds.
Yeah, well, it's 4
Said
in
it
a row.
before,
यार
Boom
लेकिन
are on a
Famous को नहीं
hot
मारना
streak,
चाहिए
and
बे.
this
देखो
guy's leading
technically
with
वो already
15
famous है.
kills right now.
What did I talk about though, Quack? When Famous gets the operator in his hand, he is looking like
You
a
will 10
demon.
rupees. Love you यार Nerf भाई. Arun भाई गाली दो
So
इसको.
where is that gun again?
Oh, he's ready to go into Devil Trigger!
collateral!
It's a collapse! Instantly shuts down that run it back from Jing.
Blades out as well.
PaperX continuing to look to bully their way through into it. Famous will be able to pull out the blades, but here comes that storm. Back into it with the shorty as well. NC Slasher holds down the line. Berserks to clean things up. Boom! With 7 rounds in their pockets right now.
Man, they're on an absolute ripper of a
Bhai,
run, aren't they?
4-2
5 in
था
a
ना?
row to the last round of this half now. That was a complete shutdown. The collateral that comes out, maybe an overheat with the next one. Technically, the collateral on the run it back, right? So Jing is not able to find some further positioning. That kill from Divide, I mean, yeah, you'll shut down Famous, but the fact that NC Slasher just gets 3 out of here, I mean, he's hot potatoing all the different weaponry. Berserks, he does not cave under the pressure around that A site that he has made his home. This defensive side of Boom
कैम
at the
नीचे
moment,
करो भाई, वो सब
really
नहीं होता है
coming
भाई.
up a treat.
YouTube है भाई.
And now for PaperX.
Only fans नहीं है ये. कैम नीचे करो. शर्म आती है?
The dimensional
दोपहर
drift
के
last
टाइम पे ये
time
सब
they
देखने
went
आपको.
into the
अच्छा,
site
ऐसा
really
बोलो
early
ना
to
इधर.
force the plant.
ठीक है,
This
समझ
time,
गया.
Boom give them a bit of this respect deep.
A little bit more. It is the last round of the first half, and Boom sitting on
7-5.
couple, well, close to a couple of ultimates. They're happy to possibly go for it, go for the
10-5
retake. I
baby.
mean, you've got the lockdown as well. Something in with the judge though. Trying to buy
ये
more time
थोड़ा
and
जल्दी
spacing.
होएगा बा.
Steel Garden popped, and Boom are now all hovering around the site.
हाँ?
Shiro
BME को support
able
करो
to create
please.
some space around Art. Bit of pressure as well with the flash, and that allows for Famous to go for it for peak. Jumping Judge, and he finds the double, and that's the lockdown. PaperX has to evacuate the site. Petman unfortunately dug in a little bit too deep, and it's just a Vi off to A main, and they know exactly where he is. Shiro paints it in all white, and that's gonna be Boom to pick up the 8th.
The protocols in that round from Boom are absolutely gorgeous. This time they don't challenge the side
WB
itself.
gaming
They
मस्त है ना,
allow
15 सेकंड में
PaperX
round
to get
खत्म
in.
हो
They're
रहा है.
going to be confident in their retake. Berserk's getting in the lockdown makes things really awkward for them as well. I mean, I'm thinking to myself,
वो
how the
rate
hell
हो
is
गया?
Batman going to get out from the middle of the site? The fact that the judge works a treat for Famers as well. They're just re-attacking this
ऐसा
site from
क्या हो
4
गया है
different
भाई
angles,
Boom के time out
essentially.
पे?
And then they know where Divide's going to be playing from as well. That is a amazing performance from all
मेरा
Boom
सुपर
members
चैट
in the
में
tail end.
सुपर चैट मिस नहीं हुआ है. अथर्व भाई नया हेडफोन ले लो. मैंने ऑलरेडी आंसर किया है. जो घर की बातें है उसको घर में रखो, और मार भी कहा है तो ईगो थूक के सॉरी बोलो. तुम्हारे ही मम्मी डैडी है, ठीक है? यूट्यूबर के साथ बात करके घर की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं होती. आवाज आ रहा है, वरना वापस मार खाओगे. पापा को बोलोगे हाँ मैंने बंक्स भाई से बात किया, अभी सब सॉर्ट है, मैं आ गया घर पे. फिर से मार खाओगे कौन बंक्स भाई करके. हैवी वाली, वो भी डबल.
Pearl to be the pick coming in towards this series from PaperX.
बिंग भाई मेरा हो गया PRX से. आज
And
एलिस
that
भाई
crash
भरने
off
वाले
this
हैं.
year, of course.
सुनो, अभी तक गेम
Boom's
खत्म
most
नहीं हुआ.
recent Pearl play as well, back in
ठीक है, गेम
kickoffs
अभी
against
तक खत्म
Auction. That
नहीं
was
हुआ
a bit
है.
of a loss. But now, looking this way, 8-4 from the first half, they are happy to take this win.
You got to remember though as well, there was that match.
भाई मजाक सेट कर बे. तेल लगाने गया बे PRX. हाँ, तेल लगाने गया PRX भाई. भाई सिंपल बात है, कब तक सपोर्ट करेंगे हम लोग पीआरएक्स को भाई, कब तक, जब इतनी अच्छी नई नई टीम्स आ रही है। हाँ, बूम स्पोर्ट्स भाई, बूम स्पोर्ट्स
Really going to look. It's a 1-4 split.
मेरा
More structure
favorite
to
है
the A
भाई।
side, and boom. I mean, if they had the
BME,
idea that this is
B
going
मतलब
to
Binks
be
भी
the
होता है।
positions of PaperX here, you know, they've got their bird's
हाँ?
eye view well. They've run
BME
right.
का फुल फॉर्म एक टाइम पे था, बिंक्स
Only
मिस्टर
able to
इंसम।
see a lot across the map. You've got that double initiator, and right now, just a clear out pillar gives them a
समझ रहे
little
हो?
more confidence in
Full
pushing down
support
E lane.
भाई।
Something though, now absolutely needing to get crashed the
गया
heck
क्या
out
गया
of
क्या
there. Okay.
समथिंग।
Yeah. But
उसको
time
full
can be
support।
bought as well, right? You've got the shear that'll eventually be popped
Insum,
by
हाँ।
Forsaken. He doesn't need to really rotate currently. And PaperX, they're investing what they can around this A site, thinking there might be a rotate back over there. But, I mean,
करो करो रेट करो
this
बे,
idea
तुम्हारा ही
for
राउंड
PaperX is
है।
not it. Like, there's 3 players still surrounding the A side. A drone's coming in from Boom. You spotted out 3 players at long earlier as something. You had to call for the rotations earlier.
Yeah, at this point, you're going in for that full
Nice round।
retake game, and it's
Douglas
not going to be
Shimmer
the
क्या?
easiest. 0
जो
point just
फैक्ट है वो
to
फैक्ट है।
ensure that for something's still right around the corners, and the rest of heaven, everything all blocked off by the smokes. Oh, and here comes the salvos as well. Something continuing to try to sneak something through.
Which means you don't have them for
एंड
the
ऑफ
full post.
पीआरएक्स तेरा स्टार्ट ऑफ
Or at
बूम मेरा
least,
भाई।
hang back and hold it long enough. Famous happy to take the
How
fights.
get it,
The
Famous?
rest of the
What?
team all holding up by B-Long. But take
Who
a look
hurt
at the
him?
mini-map. DOS9, where's he going? Here comes Zero, though. Able to find a bit of a double. And PaperX able to answer back as well. Now Jing looking to tap the spike. DOS9's positioning,
Oh, it didn't get
timing on the
halved.
peak. Might be able to surprise
Bowling
PaperX. They might have heard a
name.
peep as well, though. Now getting off the hand, but oh! In with the classic
Nah,
taps.
Mandre.
Instant frag onto Petman before taking down Jing. What is this from Boom?
Yeah,
Nah,
that's
Mandre,
really nice timing from DOS9. The,
Huh?
the
Nah,
approximate
Mandre.
millisecond
Blue,
before the
blue.
spike gets halved as well, and then they get vulnerable up
blue
by
bay.
it. Famous just trying to dance around the site. The timing from Shiro within the nebulas as well, that is absolutely gorgeous to come out from him. A well-structured pistol to come through from Boom. A good idea at the beginning, the middle, at the end. Even when they're trying to establish the plant, right? Just getting those salvos down to buy a little bit of extra time. Really well done from them to continue this run from the tail end of their
ये
defensive
डॉस ने
side.
इंडिया में अच्छा क्यों निकला, शर्म आती है।
On to the next round as well.
उसने कितना
Happy
खेला
to
पता
carry
भी है
forward
तुम
with
लोग
this
को।
momentum. Something on a Marshall though.
And now it's heard. Turret down. But 4 players once more at this A site. This could be just a bit of a good fight here.
Well, the fight on across the map unfortunately goes down the wayside as well. A bit of a flash. Patman will be able to pick up a double, but still met with force. Boom, happy to collect on this
जान
round.
भाई, thank you
Yep,
for the
double
membership
digits
मेरी
achieved from
जान के
Boom.
टोटे।
This
कैसे
bonus
हो
round
कैसे
is
हो
gonna
कैसे
be
हो।
a bit of a do or die situation
Mentioned
for
you in
PaperX
the
to start off
story?
as well. If they drop this one, well,
अरे
makes it really
यार,
difficult to come on back.
let
But
me
of course,
check.
it's not over until it's over.
But it is now or
बंस
never.
भाई
for
कुछ
Mono.
जोक्स
Yeah,
हो
and on
जाते
the
तो
defensive side as
जोक्स
well,
थे भाई,
right? So
सीरियस
you've
है
got
अभी
to see,
सीरियस।
are they going to play this 1-4 again? Are they going to get a little bit more proactive up through A? Because currently they're spreading a little default around the map. It's not the worst idea when you're going up against the lesser weaponry, but for Boom,
Excuse
they've got a bit of
me.
a play.
And we have already seen Boom deal with the B side
भाई तुम
quite
please
effectively,
बोल तूने
especially
कुछ
with the
लाया है
0
मेरे
point
लिए
spawn.
वहाँ
Now
से?
back in towards A,
फेनेटिक का
clears out the forward positions.
Shiro went away from the null command as well, so if anyone gives him a peek and they lose their life,
Court,
that's going to be
baby.
huge for a post plant if he doesn't get it off the spike.
Wow. Smokes off, and it is Boom trying to look for a possible sheer wall, but instantly sprayed down by Petman and Gang. So Boom having to respect a bit of this space now.
Yep. Creep on up, as saying the shear can protect them in art. You've got the thorns as well. Whilst nerfed, will still buy a little bit of time. Get out of the wall, there's the thorns. So it really comes down to this 50 seconds for Boom. Do they stay and wait to explode out onto this A site? Not the worst idea, and they're going to go for
कोर्ट
it.
स्ट्रीमर को ऑलरेडी कर दिया।
PaperX be able to hold.
दिखा
Petman
दिखा
getting beyond
स्टोरी
the
देखो
angle.
भाई मेरा।
Tries to hold towards stairs as well. Bit of burst through, and that's going to be that. Petman in with the quad. What a debut. I mean, back in from now into
Just
this
saying
game onto
Manfred by
PaperX. His
Petman
first
ऐसे
day.
मारा ना
Yep,
तो
had to
सीन
see
हो
something
सकता है
big come
आपके
out
साथ।
from PaperX in that round there as well.
बस भाई
and
I
just being
love
able
you
to
too
bunk
मेरी
down
जान,
on
लेकिन
that
सच्ची
site,
बोल रहा हूँ
disregard,
गुस्सा
the
फूक तो
utility at that point in time.
फिर
That
से
might be
चाहिए
a
तो
bit
मार
of a
खाओ,
blessing
लेकिन
for
फैमिली
them
के
as
साथ
well,
रहो
right?
भाई।
Because they can just be focused on their
एक
crosshairs.
दो सैड मेमोरीज
Batman,
रहेगी
he had a
लेकिन
really
100 अच्छी
silent
मेमोरीज
first
बनती
half,
है।
not gonna lie, at the back of the pack time and time
समझ
again,
रहे हो?
but this time taking the lead
याद रखना
for the team. A Nightfall available is going to be a good ultimate to throw into this round. But it does look like here, Quack, might be an early contest up through B long.
Back into it. Oh, PaperX pushing up as well, though. Oh, and it's instantly dealt with by Famous and his op.
And what did I say earlier? If you're playing these operator lines as Famous, are you dodging the flashes or playing on a little bit of luck and timing? Well, the flash didn't meet its mark, unfortunately.
चलेगा बे आज बूम
A
जीतेगा
player
ना
that we've seen on Phoenix so often.
सच्ची में
It's
खुश
the
हो
wrong
जाऊंगा
timing.
आज बनता है बे आज बनता है बाकी दिन हारेगा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आज
Yeah,
बनता
there's
है
gonna be
बे
so much emphasis on Forsaken and what he can
सुनील
spot
भाई
here.
थैंक यू
Of
फॉर
course,
द मेंबरशिप
is not going to be
जिंग भाई
available
भाई
right
क्या
now
है
for him.
3 बंदे पुश कर रहे थे
You're
ब्लाइंड
5
करके
and
मारने
10.
का प्लान था अभी
You
मर
kind of
गया
know
तो
that
भाई
Boom are
मारता तो
barreling
अबे
down
हो
this
ओपी
B-long
क्या
position.
स्टार्ट था
What are the rest of the players doing?
बराबर था
Haunt in, gets a
Blind
bit of
करके
a
मारा ना
reveal, but it's all the players from Boom looking to get out into the site. Patman, yeah, that was a bit ill-advised. Forsaken
ये भाई
couldn't
हो
get any
सकता है
trades there.
Way
ये
far
अकेले
too
पीक लिया
exposed, and Boom are just
ये हो सकता है भाई
surrounding this site. Shiro holding down halls. The rest of the team, you know, they have that tail
Binks
in
भाई कुछ
play.
भी को इस
Salvo's
पैसिफिक में
possibly
कुछ
coming
तो
back
गड़बड़
online
है
at some
क्यों
point.
रे
Hall's not cleared. Hello?
Yeah, not even looking for him. You had to
Safe.
cut a couple of corners there.
भाई
on PaperX,
11-5
I guess. Like, I
PRX
get
के
the
मैप
idea,
में
but the fact
एक्सक्यूज
that
मी
no one was just
मेरे माइक
expecting
तुम्हारी
them to play
मॉम
back
है एनी
calls.
कमेंट्स
Now you got to call the audible. Guys, we've got to save here. We need weapons going into the next round if we want to try and stop Boom from getting
आई
onto map
थिंक
point.
अगर बूम
I got to
जीता
give credit to Boom. Like the ideas
it's
that
the
they're coming
first
out with
team
here
to
quite,
qualify
amazing. The fact that they have that early engagement, that they win, they settle down.
Huh?
PaperX completely just like leave the site to Forsaken to try and defend.
Out
who's
of
spotting over
all
the street.
teams,
How much space does that give
it
Boom
is
to just
Boom
wait
Boom.
for salvos to come back online? Wait for them to pop a null command and go in together as a team.
Or even just the opening pick with Famous
Yeah.
on that off. You know, something that maybe PaperX were somewhat anticipating, but it didn't hit its mark.
Oh,
It
that's,
did?
so there's the
Qualify
timing.
team
That's,
जीत
that's
गए।
the luck.
God.
That's the luck factor. It's either he spots them before they're blinded, or he gets it on a little bit of luck and
W,
timing. Because
W,
Jing is
W.
holding W.
And that's when I would love to hear an interview from Famous where it's
आजा
not
mind
luck,
freak भाई
it's just pure skill.
For
It's
sure.
what is the lyric? It's 10% luck,
Paris
20%
losing
skill,
to Boom and they want to
15%
win chance
concentrated
lol
power of will.
And let's just add in there. It's Famous with an operator. It's just bound to happen.
hate मत
Currently
फैलाओ यार
still leading.
जीत सकता है
in the
PRX
off
hate मत
statistics.
फैलाओ
Yeah, I mean, my question
जीत
again,
सकता है यार
I kind of think I want to harp on this
मेरा
issue at the
PRX
moment.
बजट
We know
नीचे
how
क्या बोले
powerful
भाई
Famous
तुम
is
क्या
when he gets
बोले
the
what do
operator
you think
in
PRX
hand
will go
on the
for a
defensive
team
side.
revamp
Sure,
after this
on
no
the
I don't
attacking
think
side right now as well, he's still making this gun
I
sing,
don't
and
think
there's
so
no
dude
rhyme or reason as to why PaperX aren't trying to
stat
him out,
wise
you know,
or
sniff
comp
him
wise
out,
कुछ
get some
changes
early-
करेंगे
early
but I don't
positioning,
think
early
so कि
reads.
team
You know,
change
if you
आएगा
want to try and allow the operator to not get on these lines, you're going to have to play a little bit deeper because they're not
Boom
winning
better मैं
these,
समझ
these
रहा तुम क्यों बोल रहे हो
contests
बहुत
up through
ठीक
B
है
ramp. They're not taking A main control, right? You got to fade on your team. If you're throwing in a haunt, you're throwing in some prowlers as well. You want to try and tackle some space,
By
get in
11-6
some flashes. They've got the flashes to do so.
I'm just hearing a lot of
technically ये लोग को
conditions
PRX को
working
दो
against
round
PaperX
back
right
to
now,
back
Komodo.
100%.
technically
100%.
You're working at diminishing returns.
समझ रहे
This
हो?
buy,
दो
if it
round
doesn't work out, you're facing map point. Famous still on this op.
उसके
This
बाद
time happy to
moment
lock
2
down the
आएगा
angles towards mid. PaperX though, stack up on towards the A site.
That's 2 suppressed off the 0 point, but there were 4 players in that bound, right?
हर्ष
So
भाई
a couple of
chat
dodges
में हर्ष
out,
भाई
and now we
क्या
get some A main
सीन
control
है
from PaperX. They start to shift over towards B.
देव भाई नाम
There's
मंदिर
an
what is up
absence
देव
of
भाई
positions up the
अरे
alleyway,
भाई आ
right?
गए आज
Lockdown if they do decide to continue to push, not lockdown, sorry. It's gonna be the alarm bot. So PaperX can't quite push all the way through. Meanwhile, Boom.
If they do continue to this B site, time can be bought from Patman on the ult.
Oh, there are a lot of players on the other side though. The jump peak, can he sustain himself?
There's the ult, there's the C's as well. So time to be bought, but you're going to funnel them in towards Jing.
Does he have it? It is Famous with the op, and he shuts Jing down again!
Yeah, he's on the dry line, just not expecting them to be positioning connector when you 100% would have to assume so. It's dirty. You cannot just waltz out there as Jing, as a solo player, into a question-marked number. There could have been 5 Boom members at that spot.
No flash either, so it's really unfortunate, but at
हाँ
least
क्या है
will
Good.
be able to answer the Pat signal. continues to hold the angle as well, but here it comes. It's going to be dueling mechanics. Divide in for additional support as well. Something
G
around
person
B
actually
long.
beat
But it's gonna be
PRX got
PRX
real.
finding
G
that pitch from
fighting
towards the back
2-0
of
G
B link,
जीतेगा.
able to
2-0.
shut down Boom's onslaught.
11-6 technically एक और round. Pranav bhai, thank you for the membership. मेरी जान की टोटे.
You know, goes for that dry jewel, yes, but you got Forsaken still around the B site. You got his utility
बस
as well.
अभी
So
देखो.
there's a couple of
अभी तुम लोग को मूवी दिखाता हूँ. मूवी दिखाता हूँ. तुम लोग को अभी लग रहा है कि PRX हार गया करके. नो. अभी इको 11-7 होएगी. बराबर. उसके बाद PRX के पास अल्ट देखना कितनी है. फिर 11-8 होएगी. फिर इको जाएगा 11-9. उसके बाद आएगा ओपी समथिंग. समझ रहे 11-10 11-11 फिर 11-12 और 11-13. That's the prediction right there.
That are both 6 kills, right?
That's the prediction right there, baby.
In this game so far, 0.3 in A main.
समझ रहे हो 11-9 के बाद
famous on a bit of a journey.
Game change देखना, game change.
Yeah, do they expect him to be pushed through connector? The Prowler goes into him, and the Prowler has just seen Famous, by the way, so they're very targeted on him here.
Run it back, suss out the judge, but here comes Patman as well. Now to hold the angle, Divine finds the frag.
दिख रहा है ग्रीन में नाम दिख रहा है कि नहीं दिख रहा तुम लोग को haters?
Tries to peek back out from connector, gets shut down. PaperX happy to collect on yet another round. You've got 4 more to go.
Yeah, you
तो
need
भाई
those
अभी
gimmies.
4
If
सेकंड भी
there's a
अल्ट
lesser
लेगा.
equipped round to come
4
through from
सेकंड
Boom,
एक
you
है.
need those ones, you know,
4
in a
सेकंड.
flawless capacity,
Please.
or you know, 4 players surviving, which is exactly what they do there, and
Let's
really
see,
good conditioning as well, right? That shear goes up, making
अच्छा
sure
बंस
as a
भाई
team
क्रश
they're
से
covering the
डेट
alleyway
अच्छा गया.
still of
नेक्स्ट
that,
मंथ सेकंड
if
डेट.
Street
आप
is lost,
कैसे हो
they're
PRX?
making sure that Connector
सच्ची
is prowling
क्रश
out,
के डेट
gets
अच्छा
anywhere
गया.
close as
काश
well.
तो
So the
मेंबरशिप
ideas
लेने
and
का ना
fundamentals
बेशरम.
of space clearing is at least still there for the team.
Love
together
you
as a
Shad
unit.
bhai.
Starting to wake up a little bit. You gotta love the run it back from Jing just to find where Famous is, but yeah, that was, you know, a bit of a half-eye round from Boom, and here comes the full force back into A. They've started to read for how PaperX have been, you know, getting that early A main presence.
And if this was a quick A take from Boom as well, they could eventually have the gate crash over from something, which I believe, yeah, it's not made it all the way back into the spawn at the moment, but he does have the operator over at the B site, so you'd almost want to kind of not see him just fully disconnect from B here.
All right, he does kind of crash towards the back for a bit. Boom hasn't made a single peep thus far. And this is when they start to push down B link. Good pop flash as well. But Forsaken
अभी तो वो लोग को मालूम पड़ गया रहेगा ए हो रहा है कि यूरो का पोजीशन
They
देखो.
would have to bait out these stars over at the A side that still has majority of
पेपर
PaperX's
फट गया
force here.
बदलना पड़ेगा.
And with Forsaken
ये राउंड देखना.
doesn't spot any
ए
more for the
स्टैक
down
के
B
घर
link,
जाएगा
so it's a bit
तुम्हारा.
of a read into this A
Play blind
site.
by.
Jing trying to force the issue with the flashes, but now pinned into his current position. And it allows for NC Slash to find the double back in. Jing only finding one. Defy now has to hold and anchor down the site. But in with the Armageddon as well, he feels a lot of pressure. The Cosmic Divide blocking every single sightline. Clones out, but instantly dealt with. Forsaken able to find a frag off of it. Steel Garden as well. But look at NC Slasher, ready to hold. Just something left. Lose this, and it's map point for Boom. He's got an Op Komodo. Peeks the close angle, swaps to the shorty, finds NC Slasher, and swaps to a rifle. Has a chance. But it's 2 players holding up by stairs. He taps, creeps up front, not quite finding Berserks. It's Berserks who slashes him with a giant sword, and that's gonna be Boom reaching that crucial map point.
You gotta remember
Thank
when
you
those
for
balls
the
are up as
membership.
well, your
Thank
gun
you so much
technically
for the
spotted
membership.
first, so the fact that NC Slasher grabs that 3rd kill on 5 HP is absolutely ridiculous to come on out. I was thinking it was a little bit claustrophobic around this side at the
भाई ये
moment.
मैच कुछ भी करके जीतना पड़ेगा बे.
From him, not gonna lie. Boom, they immediately answer back after the 2 that PaperX get. And now it's 5, right?
Smoke
It's
करके
5
around the
points
smoke
for
खेलना
Boom
चाहिए.
to
नारे
close
दवाई
out
को.
Pearl here. PaperX's pick.
Oh my god, and PaperX decide to push without stopping a single beat. The salvos will slow them down, but Jing happy to fire back. Divide with the support as well, but what is the spray transfer from Shiro? A bit of presence found by Forsaken, but now smoked off around stairs. He continues to creep through though. Position not quite found. Shiro lets him slip. And DOS9 will pay the price.
Forsaken
collects with the triple, finds a round for PaperX to keep them in the
अगर
game.
देखा जाए
There was 4
तो अभी इक्को है 12-9.
nice plays off the flash drives, don't get
ठीक
me
है.
wrong. I thought
उसके
it
बाद
snuck in towards
एक
the
राउंड
site,
जीतेगा
triggered discipline on
12-10.
towards
फिर
Forsaken, but
इक्को
2
12-11.
versus 2.
टेक्निकली देखा जाए तो 2 राउंड चाहिए.
There's a couple of these duels that go a little bit haywire.
समझ रहे हो बात की गहराई को समझ रहे हो?
In main when they first try to take all of those duels, right?
Yeah, I feel like Haywire is putting it kindly at this point. This is a really dicey situation for PaperX to be in, and every round still cut so close.
Yep.
Boom now in with a bit of another half buy. Famous on the Bucky, Berserks on the Guardian. Everyone watching.
Second date के बाद dancing.
Back on this operator line as well. Seen a couple of those lopsided shots from something.
डर का माहौल है वहाँ पे.
That's bad.
Good flick.
हाँ?
And that
वापिस
deters
आओ,
and more
वापिस आओ ना,
peaks from
pick
Boom
करो.
further down this B position. Into B link though, and that's where Patman takes a hit. Jing now has to come up huge, and he does! The double picked up. Thorns instantly tripped, and he's gonna look himself off the hot hands, forsaken with traditional support. The spike on the ground. Famous looking to pick it up, has the Bucky, and he fires off a shot. Pump action indeed.
He wants one more. If he could get his blades up here, there's a chance if PaperX give him all of these 1v1s.
Forsaken though with this angle, really tight. It's not going to be doable for Famous, even if he does peek through.
He wants the other gun. He wants to get the Sheriff, the sidearm. I don't know if he got it. I don't think he did.
Don't think so. So still with the Bucky, he tries again, but shut down by Davai, and PaperX still hanging by a threat, but slowly revealing themselves in.
Yeah, but these are the sort of rounds where you've got a lot of your ultimates available as well, right? So if you want to try and navigate a retake back into towards the map, you're going to have to rely on a couple of those pivotal ults.
Yeah, very much so. But I have to say, in this round,
Jing redeeming himself with that little double.
He holds down the line for PaperX, has to keep that up for the rest of the map if they are to convert this into an overtime. This is PaperX's map pick.
Well, that is certainly the scary word to be saying when we consider Boom. But we'll see. Contest over towards the B side early on. Drone to push Forsaken back. Timing on the deeper Nebula. That's the 1-4 setup again here for PaperX, where they really need to start to have some rotates back over here. Boom, though, not necessarily needing to stay at this B site either. Some lurks over towards A. You've got Patman, who's actually just prowled in the street to clear both sides. So there was positions around the map that Boom technically could have snuck into.
You gotta be very careful as well. You mentioned those ultimates from before, Komodo. PaperX has a few, but Shiro has the null command.
Yeah,
भाई बी फेक करके ही जाने वाले लोग
that if they do
कर एक्स्ट्रा बॉल
go down extremely low, those ults could essentially just win the round for PaperX.
Shiro across the map as well. Boom trying to get a read for where PaperX have set up.
The 0 point did just get something on this deeper A line as well.
Something. Gotta be careful, buddy. He does have the op, so looks for an escape route again. And this is where Boom recollects themselves towards this B site. PaperX's rotations.
Forsaken starts to rotate towar's the A site, but you do have 3 players here. Remember the Haunt.
वो वापस जाएगा, वापस भी जाएगा वो.
Boom keeping them split into Nightfall. Does find its mark. Jing in with a run it back as well. Define receive first contact.
Yep, they've called it.
And that is the entire round right there. Jing finding and dealing a little bit more damage to Boom's economy as well. 10 seconds and Boom looking for the save.
As I said,
PaperX.
Also super chat B
बोल दे Zero! What is that? Microflix again. Divide answer back as well. NC Slash to find a little bit more. It's not bad in terms of economical damage.
Yeah, all the damage at the end there. I mean, it's pretty costly for Boom.
Love you, Jerry.
You're asking for the save, and you only take 1 gun out of that previous round. There's a discussion to be had here, that is for sure. What did I mention about the ultimates that are going to be there, right? As soon as that Nightfall comes down, that pretty much staves off Boom from being able to get in there. It doesn't matter that the null command goes in as well. When you're trying to just get in towards the site, you've got to give yourself a little bit of breathing room. If you've not destroyed a lot of that Vice utility, if you've not found anyone on towards the site, right? That's a little bit too passive from Boom in that position.
And that's going to be the final timeout of the match being called by Boom. Can they find their round?
Thank you for the diamond.
Left, Komodo.
Yep.
And PaperX have been starting to get a grasp of how Boom are looking.
ये राउंड जीतना है चैट, ये राउंड जीतना है, समझ रहे हो? ये राउंड जीतने के बाद ओटी, सिंपल बात है.
Their way across the map.
Yeah, but any slip-ups on the PaperX side, and you got to consider as well that that might be the map done and dusted, right? So I wonder how passive that actually makes PaperX here.
This is going to be quite tricky for sure. I mean, the ultimates are already spent now.
on the brighter side for them, I guess, if you want to try
जी का
and
कोच
have
बैन
a
भाई
silver
क्योंकि वो
lining
15
in
जन को कोच
the
कर रहा था एक
superstitious
साथ.
environment. They have lost
It is
their
against the
first maps
rules.
in both of the series that they've played so far against PRX and Gen G, and then won the second map. Maybe that'll happen here too.
अच्छा
if they
ये राउंड
lose
तो
this.
जीत गए.
I
Next round
don't
जीतना.
know, Komodo. I'm not a very superstitious guy myself, but we will see. PRX have been known to be a little bit superstitious themselves, but at least for now, needing to read the
Batman
map incredibly
introduction,
well.
Binks.
Divide does have the cosmic divide. It
मेरा
is
दोस्त
Boom on
है
a bit
वो.
of thrifty though.
If
मेरे को
this
क्या
round
पता.
does go PRX's way,
बस
you
भाई
will
सोल
have
के
the
अगेंस्ट
Armageddon
ट्वीट
on
कर
NC
दे.
Slasher as
तेरे
well as
against
the
करूँ मैं?
lockdown, unless you want to try and get them
शर्म आती है
in this round
ऐसा
where
बोलने
you
में.
now have a player
लाइफ
advantage.
में नहीं करूँगा भाई.
The pistol kill.
लेकिन आज
This will
टफ
push
लग रहा है
something
मेरे को
off the
सोल के
line.
लिए.
They know that the operator is around this A site, but do they know that mid
समझ रहे
is
हो?
being crept up on by PRX?
Rag toss as well. DOS9 low HP back in towards
Oh, they
mid
do invest the
window.
lockdown.
Oh,
what a
spots out
shot.
the next
भाई एक और
DOS9!
He saw him as well.
spot किया.
And that's a lot of info. Lockdown investment might find its return right now. Armageddon pushes
they got
PRX even further, and that's famous with the blades! A lot of space being collected on by Boom. Just 2 players out from PRX to convert this entire round. Is it doable? Not quite! Justify left, and he's spotted out by the back, knives in towards the neck of Defy. Famous finds the round. The final score at this match, 13-10.
A flawless thrifty to come through from Boom. Would you have it any other way? A classic PRX moment. Unfortunately, I can't believe that has happened when you think that they should be gimmied the round, Quack. They make it difficult for themselves. DOS9 had a shocking start to this map, but the timing he has just found in that round for the 2 kills and the repositions for
भाई देखो सिंपल बात है. आज अपना क्वालिफाई होना टफ लग रहा है लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से TX इजीली क्वालिफाई होगा इजीली.
It's due that entire round played masterfully by Boom. DOS9 with the positioning. DOS9 finding the second kill as well. Even the lockdown finding its value because of that little moment. Just a lot going the wayside for PRX.
Binks
It
भाई
doesn't feel
चल
good at
चल
all.
के
I mean, with that
विकास
last round, what I talked about, right? If they
ये
can
क्या
get the
है?
Armageddon in, they've got the lockdown. The blades
Sam
have eventually
भाई?
come through from Famous as well.
Binks
I mean,
बाबू
a
चल
couple
चल
of
के
ultimates
विकास
can
कर
certainly steer a map at some really pivotal
सुबह चालू हो
swing
गया.
round times. So PRX's map pick and Pearl, a question mark to come into this one, an unexpected pick not going their way, which means that Ascent around the corner, Boom's pick. PRX have to find that if they want to get anything in this series.
Yeah, at least we did find a little bit of a quad from Patman on his debut match, but we'll need to see a lot
मत
more.
करो यार
from this one coming
chat.
up. I mentioned it before, you know, these hungry
मेरे भाई के
beasts
लिए
are
अच्छा बोला तो तुम
incredibly
लोग गाली दे रहे
hungry
हो.
for their playoffs position. How is the desk feeling though, I wonder? I mean, big time Pilsky, they look pretty hungry
क्या
themselves,
जो
but
भी
how about you, Victor?
लोग स्ट्रीम देख रहे हैं ठीक है. जो भी लोग स्ट्रीम देख रहे हैं याद रखना 1 साल का पॉपकॉर्न लेके रखना है क्योंकि SF12 कुकिंग्स कर रहा है. कुकिंग्स समझ रहे हो. आई होप आप लोग को जो पहला वीडियो है वो देखकर अंदर से कुछ तो फील हुआ रहेगा और समझ गया रहेगा कि 4 साल 5 साल पहले SF12 कहाँ पे था और आज अपन किधर जा रहे ले करके. ठीक है तो अलोंग दिस जर्नी अपने को सपोर्ट चाहिए. ठीक है तो शेयर रीट्वीट जिधर जो भी दिखे ना. अभी पूरा साल एकदम ओपा होने वाला है. जिधर जो भी दिखे प्लीज शेयर वेयर कर देना. ठीक है सपोर्ट वपोर्ट दिखा देना और चुपा दे देना यू करके. ठीक है जो भी अनाउंसमेंट्स आती है फुल सपोर्ट चाहिए. ठीक है इको में और पुश लास्ट चांस भी गया. हेलो करते हैं भाई इको में पुश. ये अकेली टीम नहीं करती. स्पेस लेने वाला गेम है. शरबत भाई वाइब विद शरबत आपका क्या रैंक है बताओ. मेरा माइक आपके मुंह में क्या रैंक है. बेस में बैठने वाला गेम नहीं है कि वो लोग प्लांट कर रहे बेस से चलो निकलते हैं और मारते हैं. ऐसा गेम नहीं होता समझ रहे हो. डिफेंस में वो लोग को आगे जाके इन्फो लेना पड़ता है या फिर मिड में या फिर ए पे या फिर बी पे. वैसा वाली गेम होती है ये. 40 दे रहा है. ऐसा नहीं कि 150 लेके डायरेक्ट मेंबरशिप ले.
They're not over peaking at all. No one's getting nervous, no one's getting antsy. Boom are playing with discipline and confidence right now, and the way that some of those rounds are structured, I really want to know what's going on behind the curtain. I want to know, like, because Boom, they've been this squad that's been together for such a long time, guys, and you know, it feels like they're unlocking a new level and they're fixing a lot of the
भाई
issues at
famous
least
ने
in
गलत
some of
मारा ना
these
लेकिन
games that have been holding them back for a long time.
बस चिल
I have
करने
to agree
आता
with
हूँ
you. I mean, I
सुपर
feel like
प्यारे
this is
जीतेगा
a different
साला
move, even
बिंक्स
from what we saw
करता
at
है
Ascension,
बिल्कुल
right?
शर्म नहीं
I
है
don't
आप
think their
ऐसे
style was at all like
मत
this.
जाने
They
इधर
all over the
फैन
place at
सपोर्ट
Ascension.
करने
They would
सो जा
smash
मैं
one
वहाँ पे
game, they
जाके
would
किसी और को
get
सपोर्ट
smashed
करूंगा
one game,
समझ
they
रहे हो
would throw rounds all
हाँ?
the time, but
और ये जो आपने 150 का मेंबरशिप लिया है ना नाम रखो रेगा की सस्ती यूपीआई करके असली यूपीआई काश दोस्त मेंबरशिप लेते हैं भाई रेगा की सस्ती यूपीआई हो आप शेम ऑन यू राइड विद माय होमी
The way they're playing right now?
होमी
I
तू
don't
है
think so.
होमी
Totally agree.
I
रुको
think
चाय
it's really
गरम करके आया
interesting. I mean, the main point here is that a lot of the squad has been together for a
Ah,
really
मेरी
long time, has been
God.
playing through tier 2, has been playing in
यार
various
जो भी लोग
tournaments, but
स्ट्रीम
we
देख
haven't
रहे हैं
been
लाइक
seeing them
करो वी
play
आर
at this
क्लोज
level.
टू
The question, of
3K
course, is what
लाइक्स
changed?
मेरी
We talked
जान
to
की
Six Fingers about this.
चोटी
What do you bring here as the head coach? He didn't even want to be the head coach, but he's
Sales
like one of
में
those
नहीं
guys
मान रहा
like
भाई,
forced
2
into
दिन
the
छुट्टी पे था
leadership
भाई
position, and those
जॉब
often
से
make the greatest
निकालेंगे
leaders.
सेल्स नहीं करेगा तो
And a lot of things that he wanted to do was
रुको चाय लेके आ,
keep
चाय लेके आ,
the fundamentals
चाय लेके आ,
of what
wake up,
Boom is
चाय
really good
लेके आ,
at, which is
wake up,
just
चाय
damn
लेके
good
आ।
aim. And they're really
Yeah.
raw, really fearless,
Yeah.
but then cleaning a lot of that up, and we see that come through today. And we were talking about this in the green room, just how impressive they are, and they belong like amongst the greatest right now. If they continue at this level,
oh, for sure.
this Boom looks fantastic.
It's a deserved playoff spot. Famous with the op. Unreal in this game, both on attack and defense. Always in the perfect spot at the perfect time. Barely missed a shot, just disrupting the attack on defense and being a presence that you have to fear, and then being part of the overall attacking structure. He was fantastic to watch, but Shiro was great as well on the KO.
Yep.
He had like 5 opening kills as well, and his util was so on point. I mean, it's an agent that just got a buff, and he's using it bloody beautifully right now. You can even see it in the calling structure on attack. Like, there was one round where they went B late round, but you can see he's like flashing the opposing op off the line before they even complete the round. Like, he's really thinking about the macro of the game, especially with your IGL on the KO, can be really, really powerful.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to highlight from this game really was more with PACIFIC, and when we look at PACIFIC's composition, we see big ultimates. We see the Yoru ult, we see the Phoenix ult, Vice ult. They have a lot of potential to be able to win these rounds, and for me, this was the problem in the first half. They only managed 4 rounds when they have such powerful ults. If you're cycling them, you're using them well, you should be able to win these rounds. We see the Steel Garden, and they lose a body before they even get into the site. So this has to be aggravating for PACIFIC. A comp like this, your ult rounds are the most important rounds. They need to convert those, especially if they're playing a similar style across these next 2 maps, because you cannot be wasting the value that these massive ultimates provide.
I mean, they had a hot start. It's Pearl attack side, guys, and they're not even playing one of these crazy, like, triple Senti comps that you're seeing on Pearl at the moment with the Astra or whatever. I mean, the opping presence of Famous was very difficult for them to deal with, make no mistake about it, but with the start they got, I mean, Jin got a bloody ace on the pistol. You're playing a snowball duelist agent like Phoenix. You should be just chaining those run-it-backs together, back to back to back, and start running away with the attack side. And they just didn't. I don't think they got enough value out of the double duelist. Patman, by the way, welcome to VCT Pacific. He had an insane round holding the A site, and I think he did perfectly fine on the fade. And once again, Forsaken just continues to be the best player in PACIFIC, no matter what bloody Asian or role you put him on.
I am really curious, speaking of Patman here, because we saw this happen with some of the other rookies that joined Pacific this year. A lot of the coaches have said, like Talon, for example, Killua was really nervous the first map. This is Pat's first time on Pacific, first time out of the country. So this must be a massive first map for him. This could be a bit of a hopium or copium, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that this is a trend for a lot of the teams. So good performance nonetheless.
I mean, it's a very different environment, right? So it does require different things. He's quite lucky in the sense that he has such experienced players down there with him who should be able to guide him through, settle him down into map 2. But his performance was good. I thought Patman was solid, but I felt like just as a team, they were not on the same level as Boom. I feel like Boom were like, you know, it's a liquid, it's flowing, they're one unit.
Yeah.
PACIFIC, I didn't quite get that vibe.
They legitimately, at times, I felt like I was watching like a structured EU team. Like I was watching a team that plays on the world-class level, and they were punishing mistakes. They were making really good mid-round calls. They had this crazy opping presence. Like, I thought I was watching a really structured, really strong team, which, you know, I used to a lot of holes in the gameplay for Boom, but they are legitimately playing their way into maybe being like a really top-tier team in Pacific right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think at this point, when we were talking about, okay, Boom's here, this is really exciting. Now at this point, it's like, all right, Boom could be in the in the finals.
Yeah, I was copium in the pre-show before. I was like, they only played Gen G. They just changed players. Their last game, that map actually did kind of convince me a little bit.
A lot of things have changed with that. Now, Ascent's going to be the next map, and this is Boom's pick. PaperX, the last time we saw them play Ascent was, I believe, in the off-season, where we saw them play the meta, the old Ascent meta for the very first time, and completely dominated and shocked everyone. Maybe disappointed some people are like, what, you were good with this meta the whole time?
I think it was off-season experimentation, and they were really playing around with the roles, because PRX for quite a long time has just been a little bit lost in terms of what they're doing. It's
PRX should bench Jing for a while and take in Pate Man. They can then integrate Teho Breach type meta comms as Pate Man is comfy on Ini and Duel. Something goes back to Duel where he can fuck them all. बराबर बराबर आशिफ भाई विजन तो है आपका नाम में. हाँ विजन तो है. एड्स आ रहे एड्स ऑफ है रे बाबा. कैसे प्रूव करूं? मेरा रेवेन्यू लीक हो जाएगा भाई. देखो क्या आया. दिख रहा है. नाउ इज अ गुड टाइम टू इंसर्ट एड. मैंने किया इंसर्ट नहीं किया ना. इधर दिख रहा है एड्स ऑटोमेटर ऑफ. दिख रहा है क्या? दिख रहा है. हर वॉच पार्टी स्ट्रीम ऐसी होती है भाई. अगर मैं दगड़ दल्ला रहता तो ये बटन पे यू करके क्लिक नहीं करता मैं ऐसा. कट का भाई. 969 लव यू यार. सोचो यार 969 this
Haven, then it looks like there was a lot they need to rework on it anyway. So with Ascent, I don't know if it's going to be too crazy for PaperX. They've been doing a lot of crazy things, but
I mean, I would like them to still keep it kind of crazy. At the same time, though, we'll see what we're going to get. Like we said, it's not a map that they're super comfortable with. They are going to get to start defense first. I mean, that's always a bit of a comfort zone for Ascent. At the end of the day, let's see what we're going to get agent comp-wise, especially from PaperX. I don't think Boom have any reason to really change up what they were doing. It worked great against Gen G. So for PaperX, especially the roles, we've got to take a little bit of a look here. Jing back on the controller there. You're going to get Forsaken on the Fade. There's a lot of choices in terms of Init, and they've chosen Fade KO with something back on Jet, and Devi's going to be on Senti. So they are just all over the place with roles right now. Let's see how it's going to work for them.
So we see Boom sticking with that same comp. And I think if we talk about the Fade, I think the Fade is very strong in the mains. You can prowl, you have a lot more util in a sense to clear that kind of enclosed space with your prowlers. So I think they're going to try and take it to the Phoenix, who's trying to dominate those mains to control the orbs. This kind of seems like
मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपर्टीज के हिसाब से ना, पर्सनल एक्सपर्टीज के हिसाब से मजाक से हटकर PRX कॉम फेवर है.
Want a full series because we want to see more PaperX versus Boom. We're going to send it back to our casters Komodo and Quack.
Thank you very much, Victoria.
What is the
this
reason
is definitely going to be one of those where we want to see a lot more from PaperX, not just in terms of the maps being played either, but it's just the fact that you lose this, and this severely hurts your chances at making it to playoffs.
Yeah, you'd be 0-3. If you lose this one in this map as well, you're losing your first series in a 0-2 fashion, and as Boom, you're winning your third series in a 2-0 fashion. I mean, I don't think those words were going to be ever uttered in my mouth in Pacific. Boom, 3-2-0 games. Ridiculous. But for PaperX here, we do technically have something new to come out for them. It's back to the old way of playing meta Ascent comp, but it's also Dubai, I believe, making his first appearance.
और मैं फ्रैंकफर्ट सर्वर खेल रही हूँ तो कैसे आपके साथ खेल सकते हो?
At least his Astra
1 करोड़ देना पड़ेगा. उससे मैं आपके लिए एक नया पैसिफिक का आईडी बना के
ultimately overall as a team needing to find so much more.
Heavy investment लगी.
Phoenix comp working wonders against Gen G just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, this looks like it might be a bit of a quicker one over towards the A side.
अभी कोई नहीं बोलेगा.
With the mid creep up from
push किया mid की push किया. नहीं अभी कोई नहीं बोलेगा. यही अगर ये लोग मरते थे ना बराबर बचते थे.
Time allows for something to find that pinch
हाँ
through
अब
the
कोई
smokes. Though, Patman.
हाँ अब कोई कुछ नहीं बोलेगा. हाँ बोलो ना अभी.
The corner to bail him out. Famous. Trying to
रेगा की सस्ती UPI. Thank you for the membership. मेरी जान की रोटे.
That's where something pounces. Able to pick up the pistol for PaperX.
Well, yeah, big time talking about the prowlers out through the lanes, but let's just forget about that and let's just take some good old-fashioned gunfights together as a team, creeping up mid. And then back over towards the site where the team tries to go out a little bit earlier than the dark cover provides the vision blocking, and Well, you're just hitting your shots.
Nice
Paper
pause, yo.
X.
Can't
Pass
forget.
it on.
That's the PaperX that we would love to see. However, maybe not wanting to let them get it too much into their heads that they can just gun their way out of every situation. That at least appeared to be what they were trying to do back on Pearl. But right now, at least, a bit of an information play in towards this B main area. Smoked off, sheer wall tripped. And boom, happy to hover around.
Yeah, we'll see how much damage something is going to be able to find in this one. He's got a bit of his teammates with him as well. Of course, so far, Mr. Quack.
भाई मेरे को
so
लगा
good.
गया
No
बे
plan
वो
able
फिर भी
either.
मारा बे उसने.
Yeah, a little bit of a duck hunt, especially the Marshall in play, but still, Famous able to fire back with that classic. Some damage being done to PaperX's economy. Forsaken in with the Ghost again, though. He had a quad from before. Can he find another one in this round? It's going to be Patman who does quite a bit of damage to Famous, but oh, he answers back still.
He has to use the
भाई
right back here. if he-
83 plus
if he
15
favors his
कितना हुआ
chances,
chat?
right? You'd get his HP back off it.
Has to
90.
get into a good enough
लोड़े लग
position to
गए.
pop it
एक
off,
hit
though,
का है
at
क्या?
least. So I would gamble that Boathouse is great.
45 seconds to play with.
Might be wondering where the spike is as well.
You'll know where the spike is, but the problem is the weapon.
He's holding on to that running back. He's
on
just
the
going to
right
go for
line.
it.
Yeah. Oh, wrong timing though.
बच गए.
I mean,
Enough.
I respect it. Not gonna lie, right?
Veredin
You got a
जाने
runner back available for your bonus
बाबा.
round. Just
काम
can't
में
help
busy
but
था मेरी
wonder,
जान
right?
क्रेडिट. Thank you for
Imagine
the
a world in
5
which he
pounds and the
does technically
dollars.
use it to either
काम में busy
take
था.
a first shot out with the
अभी back to
Marshall,
no
and he
sleep
makes
watch
the
parties and
shot.
work.
He then loses it in the trade, and then he's, pistol pull out. He's able to then potentially win it. Individual confidence. I mean, you've got the 1 versus 3 where a lot of players might overheat and go quickly for the kill, but
2024 Famous might have done that.
settles himself. Oh, exactly right. Yeah.
It is 2025.
Something operator in the 3rd round for this bonus makes it
Huh?
not look like a
Blue the
bonus,
bat,
and
blue-
an opening kill. Well, he's still spotted out NC Slasher. Giro down first though.
Support from Forsaken as
भाई
well.
क्या
They do have that
goat
Shiro
backup
up
दिया रे
underneath, so
goat
that
second
looks
ने.
to be PaperX's entire game plan.
Goat
Push out on
backup
opposite
दिया
lanes,
भाई.
have the Vice utility to block off the
अल्ट करनी
remaining
चाहिए
ones.
थी. आईडी पास लाके दो उसका.
Not
अल्ट
that
दबा दो
instant
खुद ही
pick,
जाके.
It's gonna be Prowler to confirm information right now.
I love this adjustment of the shear up through B, by the way. Unfortunate for DOS that he loses that kill. We saw
क्या हो गया
in the
DOS
game
भाई
against
नहीं हो रहा है
Genji
क्या?
how Boom wanted to just get up towards these choke points and kind of explode, right? That single shear kind of negates your ability to do
ऐसे
that
retakes
in a
defense
surprising
headed
fashion.
defense
Yeah,
headed.
Big Time mentioned that this was PaperX's sort of a permaban from the past 2
93
weeks.
याद नहीं है लगता
Yeah.
इसको.
Intentionally leaving it open.
Well, that's the thing, right? If you're going to leave this map open, you're going to expect Boom to pick it, which means that you
Probably
would
have something
expect
prepared.
a lot of antis prepared and a lot of strats that are going to exploit Boom's current agent lineup.
And I do believe that is what we are
Save.
witnessing. 30
चलो भाई.
seconds left on the clock for Boom to...
चलो 30 सेकंड बात कर दे लाइफ के बारे में. क्या चल रही है भाई लाइफ में? हाँ? गन्स तो गिरने वाली. केओ के अलावा केओ का गन गिरा. क्या चल रही है भाई लाइफ में? क्या चल रही है बताओ. क्वालिटी टिक करो. यहाँ पे HD लिखा है, दिख रहा है कि नहीं दिख रहा है? हाँ? कि आंखों की क्वालिटी खराब हो गई है. HD दिख रहा है क्या?
That operator taken over, all the vandals and stuff, they'll build up their economies. So PaperX
एक
have got
क्वेश्चन है.
themselves
दो
in
टीम
a
join
really good
VCT
position
this
here on
season.
the back
Both
of this bonus.
are qualified for
Incredibly
Masters, and
well
then
played
there
and
is
well
B
prepared by
playing from
PaperX.
season 1. Still
We'll
always
see if they continue to
top.
bring
Any
that
thought?
consistency to the
क्या
rest
thought
of the
करेगी
rounds.
इस बार? क्या टेंशन है?
Yeah, big emphasis on mid control at the moment for PaperX, right? If they are feeling sharper at the moment and they want to individually take the duels, certainly can't falter them if they
It's
are going
also
to
the
be winning
fact
them.
that they are doing it, as a team.
Together,
If you've got
yeah.
something peeking
वे
down
इंडिया
catwalk,
चैंपियन
you got
थर्ड टाइम इन
Forsaken
रो.
coming out
ये
top
वो भी चल रहा है क्या?
We'll see.
वो भी चल रहा है, वो भी चल रहा है.
Losing this round might call for a timeout from Boom, but
बैट बहुत मैचेस
pull
है.
out some answers of their own. Dodge
वो
Knight
है
back on the
फिर
Sheriff, but something with a peek out.
Yeah, that's really aggressive and really nice as well because
क्या
you've dispatched a
मारता
DOS
है बे
9.
ये बंदा?
How difficult does Ascent become when you don't have smokes available? You've used your blaze, but you're now caught up in mid by the shear. I mean, you're not able to do absolutely anything there as Famous. This round is now very disconnected for Boom.
गलत
And that's
नहीं है.
Berserks,
अच्छा मारा.
one of the clutch kings of Pacific now.
He had a really good game last week, but right now with PaperX answering with force, you got 2 players staring down his barrel, so that's going to be a tough situation to fight out of.
If he won that, that would have turned this round absolutely upside down.
I still want to hold my breath, though. PaperX, we've seen them kind of
something's on the
blunder
correct
before.
line.
You know,
Choke,
at least,
matlab.
yeah, something is able to watch the right line. But look at this little jiggle coming out from Shiro. Something fires back, re-peaks, updrafts away, and see Slasher still finding an attack. Special delivery at Something's feet, but who's on the other side of that clock burst? It's
Yeah.
Revive
Too narrow focused on
bolte.
trying to find the kill on towards something where you've got the trade potential to come on out. Always going to respect the idea in that one, but the 4-0 start from PaperX now. We need to see a little bit more early gameplay from Boom go their way. We've seen a lot of aggression from PaperX, but not, you know, kind of disrespectful aggression as well, right? They're setting themselves up nicely with
September
Patrick assisting
language.
KO utility, with Forsaken as well, playing his own duels on these lines, and if he needs
By
to,
full positivity.
rally, haunt.
Full positivity.
That's timeout.
Timeout from Boom here. Actually getting contested a lot more in this map than the likes of what Gen G was giving them.
Gotta love that.
एलेक्स भाई कुछ बात करेंगे ये टाइम आउट पर नहीं ना?
Something continues
चल
to find
रहा है भाई,
picks
जीत
like
रहे
these,
4-0,
looking
लगे
to
रहो,
contend
लगे रहो.
against the likes of Buzz, Texture, and famous for, you know, top op kills.
I mean, you got to think as well, if something is going to continue to get on these aggressive lines, right, what adjustments does
VCT
Boom do to
में
try and get
Krishnan
advantage
क्यों
in
नहीं
those
दिख रही?
lanes? Well, you can play on the back of some flashes, you can try and drone them out, you've got 2 drones available on these initiators, you can try and, you know, even molly
ठंडी
up
लग रहा
the
है, बंद हो जाना
salvos.
इसी.
There's options, don't get me wrong,
ले.
but that's not all that we're seeing, right? We're not just seeing the operator go in from something, find the kill, and the round's done, right? Everybody on PaperX is still maneuvering around the map nicely, putting the right utility down at the moment, adjusting their setups around the map as well. A different look towards how this A site now is going to be defended by Devi.
Meanwhile, PaperX still
How
looking
did
to
they
possibly
lose
use
first
this
map?
mid
Lag हो
control.
रहा था रे थोड़ा सा.
Alt's starting to cycle now.
Well, you know that Shiro's top mid with that
Okay.
dart.
It's somewhat smoked off, and Something's going to play happily around that dark
ना
cover.
मान रे.
Is this expected though? Quack, that's the problem. A jump spot. You don't know that Forsaken's tucked in either.
All right. But Boom, you know, having felt that much presence and danger from mid before, they're not
Oh
going
my
to challenge that currently.
Forsaken has found the optimal
bhai.
timing in this round to absolutely
Oh my
destroy what
bhai.
Boom are trying to set up. And yes, I know it's a bit of a
लग
savvy eco,
गए.
but this could be huge for padding stats.
Does DOS9 turn around? Not quite.
DOS dead first again.
Dink sees Prowler. Forsaken looking to parkour his way in towards a multi-kill. It's going to be a double at least.
Not bad.
Maybe a bit of a weapon handed over onto Boom, but Famous now looking to create more pressure onto the site. The blaze wall, the flashes, but
Crazy
Something
किया
answers.
रे.
Shorty in hand, repositions to a closer angle.
I
Meanwhile,
mean,
across the map, Berserks.
Yeah, Berserks has lurked. If this was, you know, a more impactful round where you could potentially, you know, find the winning timing, yeah, amazing. You can't really do anything now that you've been spotted out by Patman, except dispatch of him, but you could not find
Hello,
any
Bunks, really
space
miss
for
you.
this
I love
Enough
you,
just to
Primus.
build more
Bye.
Points towards that
मैं भी
ult,
देख नहीं
but
पाया.
PaperX locking
But मैं
down
सुना बहुत
these
बाप match हुआ.
angles and sight lines, finding their 5th in this scoreline.
Yeah, and on the back of the timeout,
बंक्स भाई
not
जी
converting
का कोच
either
कौन है?
for
अभी
Boom,
के लिए
but you
तो
would
ऋषि
assume it
सर है
was more of
कोच.
a conversation for this
ये मेरे को
round,
बोलने
the
से
next
मना किया था.
down
It's a
round.
leak. It's a
Now you
leak.
want to try and pivot and find an advantage.
तुम लोग
Because
के लिए
really at the
पहला.
moment as Boom, right, we're
समझ रहे हो?
not seeing them be able to get into these advantage positions. They're losing in these opening fights. They're losing space around the map.
ऋषि सर कोच कर
Meanwhile,
रहे
this
सीधा
is the
बोलेंगे
PaperX that
पहला
everyone
राउंड
has
जीतो
been
तो
wanting
सैलरी
to see.
मिलेगी.
Can they keep it up
समझ रहे हो
still?
ऐसा.
Boom now in with the ultimates, looking to possibly just explode, not even the quiet creep up.
Yeah, but look who's on the line. It's something, and he's already found one kill.
बाप
At least there's
रे.
a trade, I will admit, but
Speed दिखा के घूम
some
के मारा.
rotations and some settling down.
Yes.
कैसे
Devi
घूमते हैं बे
is
लोग का
at the
माउस?
B site.
Swatted down, divide.
Exclusive on Binks.
anchor.
Yep.
Forsaken to check as well. The 0 point will call it clear. Well, that was an across the map 0 point from Patman,
Yep.
who holds down the line up around tree. So Cat is being blocked off now. Does Boom come back?
भाई ये
into
कहाँ से आया
challenge?
चैट ये
Big
प्लेयर?
duel for the newcomer.
इसको पता है क्या?
PaperX to
Putty
win
man?
there, and he wants more.
Underhand toss. He tops in Jing with the additional support. That is
अगर
very
वो
lovely.
थोड़ा सा
out from
देख
PaperX,
के
well
स्लैशर
called,
को
the
पहले
spike
मारता ना तो दो
Down on the
free
ground. DOS9 to try to do some damage, but Jing
6-0.
not letting him through.
Yeah, it's like we were seeing from Jing
Bunks
when he
भाई
brought
क्या
out the
reason
brimstone,
है
right?
कि
Sometimes
यार
if you've
इसका
got no smokes
डाउनफॉल हो रहा है
available, just
मेरे
have
से
your gun
देखा
up and
नहीं
get
जा रहा
ready.
यार.
In all your experience
अभी
and
दिख रहा है
timing
क्या?
and where you think in that certain position
6-0
DOS9
दिख रहा
might
है?
be coming out from.
हाँ?
They don't necessarily need
इसलिए
to
goats
complicate
को
things.
शक
I like
नहीं
the
करने
mid-round call from
उनके ही
maybe
map
I would
में
expect Patman
घुस
to bring
के मार
Steaming
रहे
with him to regress up through catwalk because we're not seeing initiative from Boom in that situation.
Naus
Right?
से
Their
अच्छा
players
Naus
down,
का player है
they're
क्या?
still creeping up. There's a really good grasp on this defensive side at the moment for PaperX, and Quack, every single round they're changing up how they're playing the early round of these defenses as well, and it hurts Boom because they're not investing these drones really early on, or they're forced to invest all this early utility, and PaperX are going to be extremely happy if that happens. They don't have to contend with it for the eventual site hit.
You do kind of want to watch for PaperX if they begin to overcook a little bit though. They did leave B a little bit open, but happy to refill back in.
बाप
Continuing to
रे!
hold up in case anyone crosses. Double found.
Sutesh.
Continuing to hold the angle again.
Clean,
Forsaken to
clean,
re-peek
clean,
back towards B main.
clean.
Confirms Boom's position.
जानबूझ कर उसने टाइम लेके मारा
Smoked
ताकि
off
कोई
once
उसको
again.
मारे और उनको इन्फो मिले कि
Fragment at
एक
his
और है.
feet. Shot through the smoke.
That's my quote.
And now NC Slash up.
Trying to
Mark
play
by.
and stay alive. Close
Huh?
to the spike. Flashed and flushed over to
इससे
the
ज़्यादा
other
defend नहीं
position.
कर
Now
सकता.
slicing the angle. Patman finds him. The straight bullet
W
catching his
Patman
helmet.
W.
It's going to be PaperX with 7 straight rounds in a row.
Yeah, this is the
आज
the
पूरे
winningest
चार
that we've
मैचेस से
seen from
मुझे
PaperX so
आएगा.
far, I will admit. They've really got a great
चार
idea,
मैचेस
and
से
again, it's on the
सारी
back
do or die
of
है. हल्का
something
सा फट
just
रही है भाई
dancing
मेरी
around
भी.
on this
मुश्किल है,
duelist.
मुश्किल है.
Wasn't, really able to do it too much
लग
over on
सकते हैं
Pearl, I
आज.
will admit, in the early stages especially, but here he's got the operator in his hand, and we're not seeing a way in which that Boom are trying to off-put that. He's just getting really hungry for these duels.
Something
What
by
was I saying last time?
last
we
game से
got
ज़्यादा
to
kills
cast
already
PaperX,
है. Any
I was
comments?
kind of like, I'm waiting to see Patman on this KO because when I watch him, I think that it's his best agent in his position and all of his assistants.
क्या हो गया?
And while
Alt मारने
he
रुके हो
doesn't
क्या?
have too many assists here, it's 4.
Ah.
The timing and the impact that he's finding for this team at the moment, really well done.
Reading the positions as well. I mean, he has been playing these initiators throughout his entire career. Now the shot through and the fragment as well just buys time, blocks off the lanes.
Oh, he tried to
Nightfall
knock
being
commands.
sent as well from Forsaken, but still Boom looking to push and punish their way through. Not quite happening. Divide watching the flank this time. Okay, but Famous able to answer. That's a Phantom picked up. Spike down as well. A possible round for Boom in our midst.
Oh, spotted. Needs assistance though, he's the only one here.
Jing is alone as well. Something to hold the angles, but ooh! Shoulder spotted. Not quite the angle to hold. It's all down to Jing as he spins around on a swivel looking for the frags, but DOS9 able to snuff out that light.
Yeah, finally Boom are going to get on the board. A little bit of awkward timing from Famous when he rips out that
वो अंदर वापस साइड में जो गया था
in
उसको
amongst the
बचने का
Hunt's
चांस
Fury
0
coming
था
his
ना.
way, tried to survive by dropping the null command into it and just wasn't able to. Wrong timing before it became activated. I like the crunch idea from PaperX as well. Just a couple of these angles though finally going Boom's way. I did get nervous though at the end there. This 1 versus 3, Jing had 3 individual 1v1s he could have isolated, but just not able to do it there. So the light for Boom is that they're on the board, and DOS9, oh, you were able to escape that one because something was ready to take that fight.
Very close to it. And now with that, he's able to
But
lock down this
irritate
info
होता
line.
रहेगा एक इंसान
Cross
को.
A main, meanwhile Boom looking
कुछ
to
info नहीं है, ऐसे
continue
spray
with their
मारा
assault
पड़
eastward
गई.
short. Blocked off by Patman with that fragment.
Yes,
He's just
my
been such a
beautiful
deterrent
wife.
though here, isn't he?
Still though,
What is
both
this?
teams looking to push on every lane. Now back in towards mid. The sheer wall tripped. Forsaken just making noise, making his presence known.
He tried to get some information spotting on top of it if anyone was close towards mid.
Does have to be careful though, because if Boom susses out that he is alone, they might be able to find that opportunity into the B side. Instead, Boom looking to collapse in towards A.
And you have to know that A main is dirty territory. You have to know
खाना
that
मंगा
something
रही
has
है
been
क्योंकि
pushing
toy
here
आ
or
रहा है
there.
उसके
Every so often, you've got to watch
Minecraft
for it, and they kind of do with Famous taking that position, but he loses his life. So 4-4, now looking for the post plant.
भूख लगी है करके नहीं.
At least numbers found.
Divide as well here, Quack. 1 away from Steel Garden.
Boom just looking to keep themselves dug deep into the site. Something still back into the sight lines. Boom cannot give up their current positions. Meanwhile, the rest of the PaperX B squad, they have to break through the door. Divide finds the first, but Berserk's answers back. Now hopping off through, Forsaken.
Ayo,
Berserk's to
lo.
answer back as well. But
Jing
with the short, it's gonna be Jing who finds the double to clean up the round for PACIFIC.
All of the trades coming through in favor of PACIFIC as well. You know, I see Divide get the
Minecraft
kill, but he's
ha.
immediately traded out by Berserks, and the name of the game there
Maybe
is the fact that
mangata.
Famous
Bye-bye.
loses his life
Mere
towards
wajah se
something,
sales
and you've
बढ़ रही है.
always got it in the front of your mind that something can just peek out through main and just completely win out this round from there. So a bit unfortunate for Boom, but I think more importantly, just very aware for the likes of PACIFIC that
Chiro ko
the
marna
initiative
tha
is,
na.
we'll get these kills, we'll distract them around the site. We have, you know, an option for something to peek out through main if needed.
And that's
डर
a bit of
रहा
a
है
rare
कोच
sight
को
these
फिश बम
days.
देने डर
No
रहा है
one's
मैन फ्लिक.
celebrating in the coach's room.
He's got someone he can high five now.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Camaraderie.
But hey, Boom looking to answer back as well. They found some rounds off the back of thrifties or half buys, but with the rounds that PACIFIC has had so far, something just reinvest into another op.
In amongst the site, in front of the sheer by yourself.
Looking to explode again. Where has Jing teleported to though? Not quite found just yet, and that's going to be the off angle exploited. Berserk's to answer back. And now something. Trying to find something close range with the shorty. Meanwhile, the rest of the team looking to waterfall off.
Good.
The open spam from Forsaken.
Good.
Double down. Patman dropping down as well. DOS9 now to hold inside of Hell. Can he drag them down with him? The spike not planted. And he's pretty much pinned down. Something looking for the shorty kill, and DOS9 knows it.
Oh, no
Still
way.
close range op shot.
Quick scope to come out from something to close that one. I saw a world in which DOS9 finds that kill, gets from the shadows, and is maybe able to get out to get himself some time. But the spike would have been in a very untenable situation. Unfortunate, but in the beginning as well, right? Famous getting in front of that sheer. The rest of his team is not able to get in to help him at that point in time, unfortunately. He has to try and cook for himself around there where he does find that first kill, but again, it's just the trade game. Well, that's a no-scope. That's that's unfortunate.
That's a slight quick scope.
It's really the trade game at the moment that's coming out from PACIFIC. They're ahead of it. They're going in quick. They're going in slow. They're really keeping Boom guessing with every single round being different to the positions.
DOS9 नहीं डोसा है वो जतिन shawarma तेरे को पूछा
This is
कोई.
a PACIFIC that is
Pucha.
going, you know, just double keying. They're finding info lines. They're happy to retake.
Sorry,
They're happy to
I'd
go for
like
these
to
fights.
apologize.
They're in the flow state.
Boom looking to explode right back though. They've had a bit of success into the
Aage
A side, now
jao
looking to
na.
create some of it on towards B, especially with this run it back, but now slowed down by that C's. Forsaken alongside Petman. Both initiators around the site. Odin spam through as well, but nothing found just yet.
Steel Garden can actually be pretty impactful for Devi here.
He is in position, and he pops it off. Spike still down though, and with that Steel Garden in play, the primary's jammed up.
Lol.
PACIFIC looking to push through. However, Boathouse not quite affected by it. Shiro will be able to hold it off. Still though. Now Patman trying to push in. Spotted out by Berserks. PACIFIC's numbers starting to fall down now.
9-2 ठीक
It's just
है
something
ठीक
left.
है
Looks to
ठीक है.
try to save that
Not
up.
bad.
Yeah.
Does manage to get away, and that will be another round for Boom picked up.
He's gonna skedaddle.
Chat 5700 लोग देख रहे हैं जो लोग स्ट्रीम पे अभी भी आए हैं लाइक करो और सब्सक्राइब करो मेरी जान को तो
Some nice
336
Famous as
के
well,
हो
who
चुकी
once
है
again can't
336
really
के.
find anything with the run it back. He didn't immediately die, but he got
कितना
seized
दूर है हम लोग
pretty much
1 million
straight
से?
away getting in towards the site. So the only thing he was able to achieve was shutting the market door where one of his teammates was
ज़्यादा
seen
दूर
and
नहीं है
and
भाई,
shut
एक
down
साथ
a little bit,
subscribe
right?
दबाओ.
Grand scheme of things doesn't really matter because Boom managed to get on the board. But the best thing that they can hope for at the
FPW
tail end
law,
of this half, I mean, it's
लौले
going to
मत
be the
बनो
9-3,
ठीक
right?
है इतना पुराने
That's
टाइम से
definitely
देख
what
रहे हो.
PACIFIC has for them at least, but still we'll see if Boom will indeed turn this into a 3. Shiro with the Odin now. And PACIFIC for the first time in a long while, not quite pushing out aggressively.
Yeah. We have Devi with the Stinger, of course, an operator to be heard for something who can challenge around this site. The Flash gonna work a treat for Famous.
Goes in for the swing. Something, bit of a whiff as well. Now spots out Famous, but look at the movements!
Oh,
Just sachets himself into the
Dummer
site.
game.
PACIFIC, the rest of them look to arrive on the scene. Patman alongside Forsaken trying to spam their way through. The hunt sent out as well. No, it's a seize. So the tethers reveal positions, and Patman finds the quad.
बोलते man
I
बोलते
am Patman.
sent in on the end there to clean up
Good,
the crew of
baby.
Boom, and it's
कैसे round
done
जीते पता नहीं
nicely.
भाई.
A very quick retake
By
to
fade
come on
ulti
through,
OP भाई.
not enabling Boom to establish any
Fade ulti
seniority
OP.
in the round, any stability at all. That horn, absolutely immaculate
का
to come
ulta
on through
ulta.
from Forsaken, and then
इसलिए सुनाई नहीं दिया वो लोग.
it's not understated to say that Patman just coming up very, very crispy looking on this map.
He's got his patarangs.
He's what?
I'll let myself out.
Batman. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
No. Doors that way.
Thank you.
2 to 10 makes it very difficult for Boom here if they're not able to pick up the pistol round.
जीत जाएगा PRX जीत जाएगा मैडम टेंशन मत लो फुल सपोर्ट है
They've been
अपना.
pretty successful in pistols so far.
That is
Manfield किधर है?
The first one on this map, they lost
Coach
the
भाई
first
के
one
बाजू
on
में.
the
अन्ना का
first
tweet
map as
देखा
well. They
नहीं?
got the second and a couple of the previous series. They're pretty proficient as well.
क्या है अन्ना का tweet?
at least looking to make this a quick map so far.
Ouch.
We still have a third one left and unanswered.
Yeah, fracture if we get there.
Don't want to get too ahead of myself though, at least.
Yeah, question mark for me, not gonna lie. I mean, that's the one where Boom had the choice of Lotus instead. Of course, we'll get to
ये
hear a little bit
PU
more
कौन है
from the
Twitter
desk
पे
if
तेरे
we do
गाँव
get
में हाथ
there
टिका
in
लुल्ली
terms
भूसी
of
का.
the third map, because we are still in the second. We've still got
Flip
space
करके डाल है Boom
to see
Esports को
if,
support करने वाला.
if Boom are going to be able to kind of bring some stuff back for us.
But at least so far, this series has been absolutely delivering on both ends as well. Boom from the first map of Pearl, we're looking to disrupt PaperX's attacks. This time, PaperX disrupting Boom's attacks. We'll see how it all fares out on towards PaperX's attack on their own.
Yeah, just not giving Boom the light of day in the early stage to creep on up to the choke points and then explode
That's
on out,
wala.
right?
Watch out for at least now Shiro, happy to collect on some information.
BC सिर्फ cards मिल रहे हैं.
Reinforcements have arrived, but
India
everything
में
has
not
been smoked
toys.
off as well. Look at something dive straight in towards Famous. The dive bomb exploding away happily. Shiro in with the shock dart as well, tries to track his head across, but something continues to flick.
Who hurt you, little bro?
Looks for the quad.
Nobody. Answer
Shut
is
down
nobody.
right now.
ज़्यादा hurt नहीं है. भाई गोलो तुम्हारा बे.
We go down as well. Not much in terms of utility
GG.
for Boom. Just paranoia as well as a dark cover. Market being blocked up as well. Not much can be done. NC Slasher for a bit of a trade. That should pretty much be it. DOS9 still trying to find as much as he can though, but Divide will happily tap away.
Both pistols go to
GG.
PaperX. Angry something to start off as well. You know, your old classic.
Premise
If you want to
भाई
take some market
आपका
control.
किधर है photos?
When KO was, kind of first introduced, we did see it a good idea to get some blades or you try
Did
to
you just
get some
Ullu
flashes
बनाए
and some
me?
mollies in towards market and send your teammate in, change things up as well. Nice self-sufficient play to come out from something to just dash himself into his own smoke and go for the challenges. You know, you're kind of looking towards PaperX to really just catch.
Flight
Boom off
करो
guard here.
जिधर मिल रहा है Minecraft का toy वहाँ पे
And that
जाओ
round's
ताकि return
gonna
आओ.
Force Boom up.
Match देखने दो
They
इधर.
need a leg to stand on. Got to go toe to toe somehow.
Rude.
Try to upgrade some weapons. Get absolutely overrun
Whoa.
on this
Rude.
A
Do it
site.
again.
Especially with all that utility. Needing to respect the space that is being claimed by PaperX. Fragment now, just to allow them to shut down that door in Boom spaces. Oh, look at that, still
Yeah,
spamming through.
Let's play
Something for the
मारा.
opener once more.
हाँ?
Looking like shades of his old self. Still back in the site. Knowing that the door is broken, they're looking to re-peek back into it. Look at the dive in, but Famous, okay. Strays away with that stinger shot. Now Shiro back in. NC Slasher answering back as well. Now just down to Jing. Tries to reposition into the smoke, but is that going to be enough? The stinger sprays not quite favoring him, favoring
क्या
Famous
खासा
instead.
खत्म करते थे.
Okay, well, not going to see a map point for PaperX at the moment. That stinger, I mean, something about the stingers doing things that they shouldn't. TLN bullet able to find the double there for him, but hey, we're going to see Boom at least hold on and stave off that map point. Most importantly, I think the questions are really going to be, the depth at
भाई
which they're going to
last
be
bullet
able
में
to
जो head
potentially
लगा है ना
gather
something को.
consecutive rounds, right? 7 in a row from PaperX to start off this map. You cannot forget the dominance.
Retake
in the
उनको करना
scoreline
क्या
like
अपने
that.
को? Excuse me.
Still definite chances for Boom to answer back. I do believe there was, a 10-2 comeback for one of the teams in the other regions.
Yeah, if you went to bed at the 10-0 mark, Yeah.
10 दिन किसी ने मार पा रहा है यार.
Yeah.
So not impossible for Boom.
बहुत
I
मार
was one
रहा
of those
था.
that went to bed at the 10:00 mark.
I mean, how could you not? But still, we are in Pacific after all time zones. It is what it is. But Boom happy to find as much as possible. Holding B main down back into its catwalk as well. The drone coming out.
That's by
Nothing
वो T-back
spotted.
नहीं है, T-bag है वो.
So just famous to listen for those
Oh.
pistols clanking through.
I
He
love-
flashes and he's looking for kills because Berserks is right up around the back. He's got the blazes to heal himself off as well.
W.
They played anti for that
W
flash.
try.
They expected it, but trades available for Boom. And
Jingo.
now Jing. Damage. Just some cheeky damage here. Not going to be able to find it.
कोई सुन
Famous
नहीं.
will have the run it back going in towards the next round where we're going to get a look
Mind
on
freak
to
किधर है भाई?
PRX's
उसने नाम चेंज किया है भाई.
attacking
Patman
side.
ही mind
They've
freak है
got
भाई.
The weaponry, they've got the blade storm available if
Oh,
something
मेरा feet.
just wants to kind of jive in quickly. Cut him down a size.
And this is where
भाई मेरे को लग रहा है अभी
if
mid
you
to
are
be के
PRX, you
strong
need to
chances है. Strong.
recognize
By
what
W
Boom
was
can
party है भाई
possibly
लेकिन.
pull off.
Jakarta.
Yeah, I think
W was
Recognize the
party
trade
है.
protocols
I
from
think
the first map.
momentum-wise, right now though, for PaperX is they're really feeling how they're
Chalo,
playing
mid to
this
be.
map and what Boom's weaknesses are currently. The slower pace game that they had on
Classic
the attacking
PRX
side,
mid
but
to
they
be.
are
Come on.
pulling out a play of PaperX's,
Nice,
going
nice.
for the early control. They don't have an operator,
Nice.
but they've got assistance to gain some win control
Nice.
over A. Send the rest of the team to look back at the deeper sides of Spawn and B.
And that does keep, a single player from PaperX invested in towards this possible A main position. So might hurt the numbers across the other portions of the map.
Yeah, those salvos
बोला
as
तो ना,
well
ये split
give
है.
you the idea that Boom weren't 100% confident if PaperX had gotten deep enough or
It's
not.
been 30 seconds and Boom has spent quite a bit just to find information all across the map. Nothing found towards B, and now finding a little bit more towards
Oh,
A.
फिर से भी
PaperX
जा रहे.
continue to rotate everywhere.
Yeah.
Back possibly in towards Market. Berserks is holding the angle though. Finds the first and continues to burst his way through. Down to 9 HP, hit by the Paranoia now. But Jing looks towards the back.
क्यों पीछे देख रहा था वो?
That has possibly got to be the worst thing to happen right now, and that's just Devi left. Might be able to get his way into the site, but you're 1 against 5, buddy.
But let me tell you the story, Quack. When PaperX were looking for map point against Boom, and Devi got the plant and was caught with his knife out, and Shiro took him down.
The end.
The end.
Anti-flash
No, not the
हो
end here.
सकता है.
Boom, though, a
हो सकता है.
flawless round to find against
Anti-flash हो
PaperX's
सकता है.
first
It's
gun
actually
round here,
possible.
where Famous commands a lot of space over at A. I'm thinking that there is a heavy investment of utility, as you were talking about, right? Salvos deep mid, shock darts used early in towards tree, a dark cover, a blaze as well, really trying to navigate them down in through towards mid, where there is a bit of a crossfire here, right? Berserk's an NC slasher, very aware, dodging a lot of the utility as well. The fact that the flash comes a little bit late from Patman and the Paranoia doesn't take NC slasher there. A couple of differences, right, that could have completely turned the round on its head. But for Boom, those are the sort of things we need to be seeing.
Doing just that.
भाई फेमस अच्छा खेल रहा है बे, कुछ भी बोलो बे.
Sitting on that run it back. PaperX this time on a bit of a half buy. Something does have the blades.
Considering it's 11-5, huh?
Shearwall's going to keep some
on the
respect
tops.
over at B main as well for them, so they don't have to really worry about that. I wouldn't mind the idea if Boom want to get a little bit proactive to try and contest into it, but you've got Devi looking after it. It is the lesson equipped round.
Good night,
from
Bunks.
PaperX
Bye.
too, right?
Good night,
Famous
goodbye.
was very far up.
Something that is completely unexpected for PaperX, and Famous goes on a tear.
Okay.
Flashes back in just to check even more as well. The spike has been picked up,
आखिर छिंदे गई बे.
and he's just happy to sit onto it.
5 versus 2. These are the sort of rounds for Boom that you just need confidence to win it cleanly from here. You don't want to see anyone overheat.
Haven't quite done too much of that, especially not from the previous map either. Boom looking to be a very controlled version of themselves. Something though,
Ah,
Blades
rare
whiz
beef
right
था,
by.
rare beef.
Yep. Now the dart has to be dodged from Devi, who is once again in a 1 versus 5.
30 seconds left.
what's the story this time?
Oh, he gets one.
Lol.
I didn't see that.
He's gonna find more kills, right?
Nah, probably not.
straying back in, looking for more sprays. He does!
No way!
Ah!
I'm talking. It's looking to be a flawless round from Boom. The turret that spots out a player in B main, where something cloud bursted off. You've got an immediate special delivery from NC Slasher. I'm trying to give credit to all of these quick utilities to come out after Famous starts off the round, and then you're running into Dubai with a yeehaw old classic boy, and he just comes out with that. He's on 4 HP, and he gets him out with the stick. Like, man.
A yeehaw classic boy.
Yeehaw old classic boy. Hey, our Ascension teams will get their classics soon,
Time
alright?
out,
Maybe
time
that
out.
would be the buff that Boom won.
Very much so. We got to keep our
क्यों
eyes open
लेकिन
for
टाइम
that
आउट ले आ
Boom
रहे
bundle.
जीतने तो
But
वाले
yeah,
हैं
you
वैसे
know,
भी
still around for Boom nonetheless, but I gotta love it when Komodo absolutely
These are the
loses his
moments.
mind.
These are the moments that, if you're watching this game, can infuriate you a little bit because they shouldn't happen.
Oh, I'm already I was already infuriated by yesterday's Japanese fans, but hey,
Yeah.
we're back into it. PRX, you know, they lost off of a bit of a half buy against Boom in that previous map in the last round.
The flawless Thrifty to end it. I mean,
now we're back into this where
टेक्निकली बूम जीत
maybe
सकती
starting
है
to go on the
कद्दू।
flop side again. It's currently Boom with 4
PRX
straight
भाई
rounds in
PRX
a
के
row.
fans
it's
देखो
not the
बे
7 that PRX started off with, but with PRX getting the pistol and the fact that Boom forced up, they get the second round, they start to build a little bit of character on this defense side of their own. Yeah, maybe there is a world. Famous has the operator in play. He's got to run it back as well. He's currently on 22 kills.
No
I mean,
chance.
He's putting up numbers. DOS9 though,
but
again,
actually famous
feeling a
बहुत
little
top
bit
खेला है
absent today.
हाँ ना आज DOS9 नहीं चल रहा
At least for now, just providing value with the utility for the team. He's a controller after all. Famous finding his off back in against PRX. That's a double!
Yep, needs to heal though, 30 HP. At least it is an operator, so he can go for another challenge where PRX want to go quickly now into this A side.
Okay. Shrouded steps past the door. Forsaken B hops in, gets the door down.
You could use Famous on this run it back as a glorified drone.
That's exactly what he's looking to do in alongside the rest of the team as well. But even as a sort of a drone, he finds a kill with a frenzy. Shots fired back in. They know exactly where Jing is. And Jing looks to survive inside of Hell. Smokes out, looks to peek through. Does find the first. Oh, but the short
भाई almost था अगर इसको मारता तो
Boom will be going on with another win. That's 5 in a row now.
Tried to have some options with the
5 in a
cover
row
to dance around
क्या
a little.
प्रॉब्लम है भाई कास्टर 5 इन अ रो होने दो 10 इन अ रो होने दो हारने जब वाले है ही तो ये सब बोलना जरूरी है हाँ इसके बाद वाला राउंड देखो ना अभी इक्वेशन उसके बाद वाला राउंड देखो
That gun is in his hand.
But I do want to question this, Komodo. Maybe if I could pose it to you.
Go for it.
PRX's attack looking a little bit lackadaisical. We saw
नहीं
them on Pro,
कुछ
they continue to
नहीं
try
है
to bully their
रुको
way into sights. They're
अच्छा अपन इको नहीं है
it appears like they're doing that
Charlie.
again on towards Ascent.
4
Yeah, I mean,
now
like,
you
we
see
know
me
PRX
4 सिर्फ X को याद
efficient on
करना
attack. Seen it on Fracture, for example. We also know, like, a map like Lotus, for example, Boom are pretty good on attack too, right? So coming in towards Set right now, but they're also looking pretty hot for this comeback. They're putting up their defenses. NC Slasher starting us off with 2.
Op still continuing to sing as well. PRX. At some point, you gotta find other solutions.
How do you get Patman up? Your molly.
You can't.
Oh, it goes a bit deep, and now it's done. 5 versus 3. 2-player advantage for Boom. An exit if they need 2 ultimates that they can invest here.
Save, gun चाहिए, save.
But at this point
Next
in
round
time,
जीत
in fact,
सकते
there's a minute that you're going to let PRX
2x
just
कर
sit
गाफ में
in
घुस
the
जाओ
fact that this
2x
round
कर 5x
might be
कर
unachievable. It might be the 6th round in a row for Boom.
I feel like it would be.
Yep.
PRX looking to save right now.
Now you definitely
ये मतलब 2 सेकंड तो रुक नहीं सकता था जितना देर रुका उतना सेकंड का तो लोडिंग स्क्रीन हुआ है 2x का
shift into podcast mode for a minute, you know. The fact is, though, in these sort of situations for PRX,
सारा
as
अल्टी
long
का
as
थोड़ा
they're
लो हो गया ना
protecting their
कोई सीन
guns,
नहीं
they can
कोई
use
सीन
this as a bit of a talk time for the team, right? And most importantly, how are they going to get this next round on the board? Device got its steel garden. You could pop that for a bit of an explosion for something to get in towards the side,
लग
maybe
रहा है
gain a bit of an advantage duel.
Possibly for the next round, and that's going to be this round's
Banter
episode
is
of
out
Rex
or
Chat.
in bench
Welcome.
Oh, we missed it. DRX, PRX, our first one. That's when that would have come out.
Still, though, definitely needing to find some answer to possibly the Early round aggression coming out from Boom.
चैट 5600 लोग देख रहे हैं। जो
currently
लोग
sitting on
नए
top
हैं
with
स्ट्रीम
25
पे
kills. I
जोर
mean,
से
he was
दबा
putting up
के
huge numbers in
लाइक
that
और
first half.
सब्सक्राइब का
Yeah,
बटन
even though
दोनों
Boom
दबा
was
के
still,
फिर फुल स्क्रीन
you
करके
know,
मस्त एंजॉय
shaking a
करे
little bit
स्ट्रीम। ठीक
on
है,
their attack.
Certainly having a match
बेंच
for
नहीं
him,
है, चेयर
that's
पे
for
है,
sure.
ये भी हो सकता है।
You know, we get a lot of these teams in our region that sometimes you've got players that are very consistent in the mid-range. You've got players that just have these absolutely
एलेक्स भाई लाइक
brilliant
मेरा हो
maps.
गया भाई।
You know, Famous is having one of those
जीत
ones at the
सकते थे
moment.
13-2 मेरा हो गया।
This time
ये
positioned
लोग
in a
फुकट
safer
गुस्सा
position
दिलाते
off
मेरे
of the
साथ।
timeout.
एंटरटेनमेंट पर्पस
Possibly anticipating some kind of a burst coming out from PRX. PRX, though, slowing things down a little bit.
I think on the duelist role at the moment. Famous trying to do his best Yudotan impression.
आज रात
leading
को
by
बलो
example.
होगा
Different agents and such, but
बिफोर आने।
They did go against each other previously, remember? And
तो इसके बाद मेरे को रेस्ट
28
लेने पड़ेगा,
kills,
मेरी
so
आत्मा जाएगी। मैं 2 घंटा
see
सोया
if Famous is going to be able to put up those numbers.
एक तो सुबह सुबह लाइट गया भाई
At least
मेरे
currently
इसमें
still on
तो
the A
दोष
side,
है भी।
so PRX trying to
अच्छा
cut
खासा सोने
noise
जा रहा था, लाइट चला गया आधा
for that
घंटा।
explosion into the B side. Oh, it's going to be an Odin,
इससे एंगल से
Not gonna reach
पसीना
his
आया ना
mark,
मेरे
though.
को।
especially with the map changes currently, but
There you
the
go.
Armageddon will hit
Really,
its mark.
really nicely done.
ऐसा
Steel
ult
Garden is
क्यों
gonna
नहीं मारते
essentially be
ऐसा?
countered by the Armageddon. You've got the lockdown if you need.
Oh.
Time to be
डिले
caught by
करने के लिए
those
वैसा अच्छा,
salvos.
लेकिन
The
मारने
sheer-
के लिए
I
ऐसा
mean, yeah, Devi has it later for the flank, of course, but 40 seconds, a lot of this input utility is gone. But Patman finds NC Slasher out in the open.
With a Spectre, Shiro
GG.
digs himself deep, tries to spray through with the Odin, not quite finding its mark. It's going to be Berserks now after the other end, but still, Forsaken
GG.
continues to push through. Famous now looking to find a pick off.
Do you want to go for this? There is a Vandal on the floor.
And possibly going to pick that up. Support from DOS9 as well, who has been
Yeah?
quite clutch.
टेढ़ा
At least
फ्लैश
to create a little bit more space. Will they make their way through to
Uppercut
the
flash
lane?
मारा बे।
Or from stairs. Split pushes for sure, but something happy to trade.
जीजी
Off to the other end as well. That's gonna be Jing to clean up
बोलते
PRX.
मैच पॉइंट
Finally,
बोलते
reaching towards map point.
Well, that's what they were waiting for, right? The 6 rounds in a row that we did see from Boom. This time, they hold off all that early
इसमें मेरा
utility.
super cut पड़ा क्या?
They can't
कौन
get
सा
in
वाला?
towards it when they
अरे,
invest the
उल्लू ने
Steel
बता रही
Garden,
थी,
but that
suffering from
lockdown just
full
not
battery
able
for
to be
3 days.
protected
हाँ
by
क्या?
Berserks. You
Love you,
highlighted
record
that
film
Famous was on
result
the other
today.
side of the map. They had to run a marathon
इसलिए बाहर
to
का
get
खाना
towards
नहीं
this
खाते,
B
घर
side,
का
and it was a
खाते
little
भाई।
bit too late. And this
Personally
is
बोल रहा
credit
हूँ।
towards the space that
बाहर का
PRX gave
खाना बंद करो
themselves
थोड़ा
in
सा।
the first half, right?
Now all they need is just one more round, but still 4 chances for Boom to try to really push this all the way through to overtime. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
0 chances actually, but still. Okay. DOS9 digs himself deep into Wine, and see Slasher with the op this time. Will be able to block off Catwalk.
क्या हो रहा है भाई?
Would you expect that one? Shiro, though, onto Forsaken as well. Jing able to at least establish one, but no trades. So Boom will hold player advantage ×2.
पैसा है, सेफ
And they just
सेव
have to
करो,
make sure that
सेव
they
करो।
don't drop this one from here. Good crossfire in through mid on the back of the alarm bot.
सेव करो।
Discipline in positions still. Pop flashed over. Shiro peeks. And
क्या
Divine
सेव
and
करो?
Padman
पागल हो
happy
गए
to
क्या?
take this
4v2
B
में
site.
सेव
Spike
करो।
down now.
Two
पागल
soon
कुछ
enough.
गेम नॉलेज है?
Nicely calculated 2v1 duels there.
Shoot.
NC
Ace?
Slasher could possibly swap the weapon over onto a rifle if they are to go for this retake, but Davai, happy to read, pushing further on through as well.
The Shear's just going to give up all the information. You know the flank is where it's coming from, and you're just going to play protected.
Eliminate.
Back of the site, because time is your friend now as PRX.
Fragment 2. So Salvos block off stairs, special delivery, and he's looking to find a bit more space, maybe looking to pick them off. PRX cannot make a single mistake. Davai with the peek out though.
क्या लगता
Missed a
है?
shot here, Quack.
Now on a one-on-one, Patman.
Batman OP in the chat. Batman OP in the chat. Spam करो. Batman OP in the chat.
Pops on over with a shorty, and Patman creates more space in between him and his opponent just to bring the scoreline over.
जीत गए भाई! सेव करो आप 4v2. तू क्या बोलते पे थप्पड़? PRX से भाई.
Into a map number 3.
Well, we're kind of questioning what is this set
By
gonna
Famous
look
बाप
like
के
for
लाभे.
PRX when they haven't played it in quite some time, right? Banning it out most recently,
LS
of
started
course.
doing
Boom.
PS
They
game
look pretty
matches
good on it
better
against
workout than
Gen
any
G,
team
but
जैसे.
they weren't able to, you know, kind of exploit any
हाँ
weak
ना,
links
बेचारे
on
को
the
कितना
side of
tension देते हैं, हाँ?
PRX here. Really strong to start off the map.
I don't know if I would say exactly that though. I mean, the second half definitely did look a little bit better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. but you know, 10 to 2
That we are
right?
already
You
close to
gotta-
4k likes.
you
सिर्फ
gotta remember
150
that they
लोग
just did not
बचे
give
हैं. अगर
themselves enough
150 लोग
rope
में से हो जिसने लाइक
That
नहीं
is
किया लाइक करो
definitely
और
true.
सब्सक्राइब
Something
नहीं
that
किया
PRX
सब्सक्राइब करो
can
मेरे
pull
जान.
off when they are in that flow state, finding a lot of these opening picks, you know, pushing together as a team, blocking off a lot of these lanes, preventing Boom truly from mounting an attack.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that we get to see Fracture before it does get deleted again.
ये किसे भेज रहा है?
And that's where we go
Coaching
for
है
our
तो.
third map of this series, Crack.
Yeah, that's definitely what we are looking forward to at the very least. A very explosive map for sure between both teams that can play very fast-paced Valorant as well. But currently, at least, a lot for the teams and the desk to talk over because Boom definitely are not backing down from this fight. Again, looking for that playoff spot. Meanwhile, PACIFIC trying to stay afloat in the entire group. At the same time, yeah, we'll just toss it right over onto the desk to break this entire map down before we head over to our very beloved Fracture.
Ugh, this series is giving so much from Boom and PACIFIC. PACIFIC, who doubted their ascent? Aren't they? They look like they're pretty good at ascent.
I think everyone. I thought Alex was supposed to be on Fraud Watch. I thought we needed a coach to come in and teach us how to play Ascent. I don't know. That defense game plan was pretty good to me. At the same time, though, the Boom had already shown a lot of what they were going to do on attack versus Gen G last week, and it really felt. I mean, you talked about it. As soon as we saw the comms stat, it felt like it was a little bit of like a, a counter strat or a soft lead in terms of compositional choice. And I think definitely when I saw how it unfolded and the way they played, knowing how Boom likes to play their attack, they like to be very direct. They were bullying Suggest on Gen G last week. They were hitting the mains hard a lot of the time or playing like map control into hard side exits. And PACIFIC just did not let them do any of that. Something got on the op right from the bonus. Both the KO and the Fade were just getting in their face with basic util. They were always active and taking something and contesting Boom before they could really get off their execute.
Yeah, those are the three things for me that make me kind of feel like this is a deliberate sort of anti-strat. Number one, something in mid with the op all the time. Never gave them the mid space for free, which is exactly what you want to do against this Phoenix comp.
Yeah.
Number two, they have the Fade to counter in the mains. And number three, they have the Vice, whose wall can't be destroyed by Sova or Teo util. So I feel like they had every answer, especially in that first half. You know, things sort of flipped on their head as we got in that second half. But, you know, as Komodo kept saying, is I feel like the gap was just too big after that first half.
Can I just say, we know that Jet isn't really being used that much anymore. We saw her on the last map, and I am so glad to see something back on the Jet instead of Breach or, you know, something else.
Yeah, I don't care what's better. Just put them on comfort agents.
Yeah.
Let them be comfortable. Let them play what they want to play. PACIFIC has never been a conventional team and doesn't need to be. Famous, again, put on a bloody clinic, and I was a certified classic from something initially. Started to fall off a little bit towards the end, and in fact, that attack looked like they were running into some issues. Boom's defense was looking really, really good. I like the second round that they brought to us. They cut a corner, being very far behind, and then they started to come back into the game on the defense. But PACIFIC, for me, really got that game done at the end of the day on their attack, on their defense rather.
Yeah, for sure. You know, as we say, it's all about their defense. But even then, you know, Boom were making that comeback. That last round was a 4v2.
Oh,
4v2 for Boom, and then you break your crossfires.
I was just, as soon as I was praising them, they never lose these man-advantage situations. They're looking really clean today, and then we saw that round. I was like, oh dear.
I think that's a little bit of the nerves.
Yeah,
a little bit of the nerves creeping in, but you know, they just have to settle it down. But I think something for me was the highlight of this defense. I mean, seeing him back on Jet, it's old school. I mean, you're telling me this is your Breach? This is like, you see him and go, yeah, I think this guy's great with a fault line.
Yeah, 3 words. Too many buttons. Stop with all the buttons. I mean, that was a pretty nice play. Got right in there. I love the updraft light armor, updraft dash light armor purchase on the pistol, just getting into market. It's not a play that you see very often on the pistol. And there you go, round 4, I think even round 3, right from the bonus, this guy got on the op. Like straight away, no messing around. And that can be very risky. Because realistically, guys, you lose that bonus round where you buy the op, and you've got to go down onto a judge. You're handing the op over to Famous, who might be the best opper in Pacific right now. I mean, looking at the numbers. And
something is contesting that, though.
He was certainly trying to this game.
One map. Let's calm down.
I don't know. I'm just going to say something's probably hands down, one of my favorite Jets in the world.
Definitely entertaining.
So I'm very happy to see them and playing it on Ascent, of all things. So I think we're going into map 3 now,
Fracture.
which we originally didn't think was going to happen, or at least some of us didn't think it was going to happen. And Patman being our MVP, first time on the
playing
VCT
great.
Pacific stage, getting MVP on map 2.
Both games, he's been great. He's been very consistent. I think PaperX need another consistent player who could just play his role. He's just playing the init role. He's doing what he should be doing. I really liked, even on attack, you could see the cogs turning a little bit. KO on Ascent attack, you need to be sometimes an agent that can keep the other team in check to some extent. Your utility can very much, like I was talking about Shiro on Pearl side attack for Boom, you could be an agent that if you're reading the game, you understand what the other team's doing and what space they're taking in mains and stuff like that. You don't even really need teammates to hard take the control. You can KO knife, you can KO flash the defense off the line and deny them a lot of information if you're reading the game well. And you could see Patman doing a little bit of that. So even without as much experience on the big stage, you can tell that he's played a lot. You know, he understands the game and what the other team's trying to do.
So Fracture being the next map, PaperX, we know this is the one map they're good at, really good at. And this was without Patman. So I'm curious to see now with Patman coming into this mix. I can already see a little bit of change coming from PaperX from the first map and the second map here. A lot more communication happening on less of that hive mind and actually just playing like a team that talks to each other.
Yeah,
So
I have to say I'm nervous for Boom heading into this map 3. Fracture is naturally a map that fits PaperX style. We just saw on that Ascent how aggressive they were on their defense. And Fracture necessitates you to be aggressive on your defense.
100%.
So it's a very natural fit. We also previously saw Jing move across to the Brimstone, where he was able to have a much stronger performance than he could on Omen. So I would expect to see that again, expect to see an uptake in his performance, and you know, it's a map that's stylistically great for them. So I think Boom do have their work cut out in this map 3.
Yeah, this is just stage 1 data. In kickoff, they won it twice as well. They were picking it. This is a map PaperX usually goes to.
Yeah.
So the fact that Boom, especially after the Lotus game that we just saw from them last week, they could have played Lotus. They were left down to Lotus Fracture, and they said, we're going to play Fracture against PaperX as the decider. They might be regretting that decision.
Okay, but to play devil's advocate,
Cheers,
on the other
everybody,
side, we just
cheers.
talked about how great this anti-strat might have just been from
First
PaperX,
match MVP
but we've
कौन था?
always
Famous
talked
ही
about
था.
how good Boom's anti-strats have been able to be. So they've been able to watch a lot of PRX's Fracture. You know, they've just recently played it in stage 1, so I
Anjali
think they might be
ji,
trying to
for
take a
now the
similar
team is
approach that
same.
PRX
We are
took
still
in map
looking
2
at
and trying to
options.
be a little bit more
Options are
focused on
always
the
open,
counter
but
necessarily than what your own players are best of.
for
They've
now
had
team
some
is
maps where
same.
they've had insane
बहुत कुछ
like
चल रहा है
reads
backend
and
पे.
insane prep, like that last Lotus
और
game
कुछ
that they
cook
played
होता
against
है
GE.
तो मालूम
They were
पड़ेगा.
all over that.
Tug
That was
by
an
Gold
insane
by
defense
से,
that we saw from
Mortal
them.
से.
So we'll see what they're going to be bringing today, and not to mention, Fracture is not a map Boom's uncomfortable with. I mean, we've only seen them play it once in Pacific, which was against T1. They had a closed first half, and then they, unfortunately, it was the
मुझे
third
खिला लो
map
ऐसे
decider,
टोल
and
में
in the
please.
second half, they
कहाँ
just let
खिलाओ?
it slip away, and that was the game that kicked off kickoff. Literally, it was the game where I was like, is T1 going to get upset by Boom? And then, unfortunately, they couldn't close the game and the series out, which is always my concern for Boom.
की
So I'm
body
curious now how they're
बनने
going to do
वाली
this.
है.
So Patman
मेरी body
coming into
already
the mix
वही
does
है.
change
मेरा
things up.
मेरे
Boom
photo है
hasn't
वो.
shown stage 1 Fracture yet. Are
मैं
they
जब
going to
Shark
keep
के
their
साथ
comp
लड़ रहा
so
था
far?
तभी पॉजिटिव
Based
फोटो
on
खींचा
what they
मेरा.
both played, it's a very similar comp with the Neon. I think only the Sentinel was the main difference
Yeah.
between the two with
Cypher
the Vice.
Vice.
Yeah, and the
Manfred
Cypher.
कहाँ गया? 6.
I wonder if they're going to change it up. You're right. They have a lot of material, as in Boom has a lot of material to go off of to work on PaperX.
But then I suppose if I'm PaperX knowing that and I'm bringing in an extra player and I'm able to swap things, we saw, you know, how they were able to show
Thanks
their
by
pearl and,
what's
you know,
your
the kind of
delivery
duelist
address
approach.
for
So
gifts?
I think if they want to kind of
Love you यार.
knock Boom's prep and, you know,
वहाँ से
try and
gifts
take
आ
it
रहे
to them, I also think
BME
double
से.
duelist is very effective. We've seen how great Jing is on Raze, so
Love
that's
you
always
यार.
going to be there, always going to be a pocket pick that they can bring back if they so choose.
That was T1's old comp.
I
You
am
know, they were
WhatsApping
playing
you,
like
my
Neon
brother.
Rays, things like that. So definitely could be something that's on the cards. You're probably not going to see something on Breach. So what is he going to play? Because I'm assuming Patman is here to play Breach on Fracture.
I would hope-
That's my assumption.
Yeah, I would kind of hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So Jing, I don't see any reason to not put Jing on the Brimstone. He was
You
great
look
last
different
time,
when you
that's
stream,
totally
and
fine.
Ariel
Yeah,
stream
yeah.
of
Yeah,
Gold
and
by.
on the Stimbit.
And then
Yeah, Jing on the sim.
who's playing the Senti? I mean, it can be Devi or Forsaken. I do
Yeah.
actually like Forsaken on things like Sky and on the Teo when we saw
कौन
it in
जीता आज?
kickoff.
1-1
I
चल
really
रहा है.
like positionally how he plays that init sometimes.
Sky?
So
What,
yeah.
What's Scott? Is that new agent?
Yeah.
I
चैट
think
मेरे को एक
it's
बात
strong
बताओ.
stuff.
2 ऑप्शन है, या फिर अपन टैलेंट वर्सेस एनएस स्ट्रीम करें, ऑप्शन नंबर 1, या फिर अपन जल्दी जाके रेस्ट लेके रात को जल्दी आके गेमिंग प्लस एनए करे। ऑप्शन नंबर 2 लॉन्ग गेमिंग प्लस एनए। बताओ वॉट एवर यू गाइस वांट। पोल डालेंगे ना, इसके बाद पोल डालेंगे ना, पोल डालेंगे ना भाई। ठीक है, ये पोल तो क्लियर कट जीत गया। क्या करे आज जॉर्ड गैंग? तू ऑप्शन नंबर 7 में है भी तू। क्या करे आज? टैलेंट वर्सेस एनएस, गेमिंग प्लस एनए। एनए तो वैसे भी होएगा, एनए तो होएगा ही होएगा।
Go back to our casters Komodo and
हेलो कुटेकी।
Thank you very much, Victoria. Oh, hell yeah. I am so fired up for this final map because it is definitely very much so pure
भाई
heads up
PRX को
Valorant. Famous versus
जीतना
Forsaken
ही
on the
पड़ेगा,
Neon.
ठीक है ये मैप।
But what do you think about this, though? Old school versus new school in terms of the Sentinels?
Bridge
Well,
Tail,
Killjoy is
Neon.
quite the rare pick when it does come to Fracture these days,
ठीक
of
है,
course.
दोनों
You know,
जगह वही
we've
है,
seen
ठीक
him
है।
throw it on back, like
Vice
Global
better,
and
I feel.
Q from memory running it like last times, but
ए
still
वो
really
ऑन
rare.
क्यों नहीं
Comes
किया
to pick
स्पाइक?
for
दबे
Berserks,
भाई।
though, boom, on this attack, already starting to clear out Arcade, getting up towards Tower, something dispatched of, first casualty.
And post rotation is completely over. Still though, oh, this is two players now stuck inside a tower, but quickly dealt with as Famous tries to slide his way through. Now Jing answering back from Canteen, but at the same time, NC Slasher with that classic finds the right clicks. DOS9 just finding frags
भाई
as
DOS9
well.
उठ
Boom,
गया
to pick
भाई।
up the pistol.
Yeah, getting activated.
Miss
Nice
you,
and
Bunks,
early.
bye,
Boss
आप
Knight
लोग
this
जल्दी
time
से-
as well.
Excuse me?
Shiro for 1 and a bit of utility too. You
दोनों
asked
जो
about
तुम
Famous
लोग
and
लिख रहे हो वो
Forsaken
शायद
on this
members
Neon.
only में
Apparently
होएगा
Smooch in the tower
watch
just then,
parties के
but
बाद।
Forsaken wins that one. What I wanted to highlight though again is a lot of these different role changes that come back into towards this one, right? The buyback on the Vice, like that we saw on Ascent. I thought he was really proficient in how he was playing those sheer walls, timing on the Thorns as well. Patman, I'm going to be interested to see how his breach really looks here, because, you know, when you think of Patman, you do think most recently Flash in it, right? We saw his KO, his breach here is something that he's hopefully going to be quite proficient on.
Specifically breach, it is his, you know, most played agent in recent history, but still that remains to be seen as PaperX tries to rotate their way over. Of course, though, Berserk's happy to lock down this entire lane with his Marshall online for the ace now. But something is still nowhere to be found. In fact, just hiding up around Canteen in a little corner behind the sky smoke, but
Ace.
Oh.
Ace.
You see him just making a bit of noise.
He was seen.
Mini-map at least. Famous trying to give him the ace, and there it is! Berserks to collect on it.
Hey, round of applause. 2-0 up for Boom, an ace to come in there. Some great shots out of the Marshall for
away for the
Berserks. What I want to also say though, we have had two extremely high kill performance maps from Famous, right? Map number 1, Pearl, dropped 27 kills. If you can
Famous
remember that.
बहुत मारा भाई, बहुत
Map 2,
मारा,
Ascent,
मजाक
just
से
there,
हट गया।
25, right? So he's over 50 kills. No one on his team is over 30 just yet for the series in 2 maps. So are we going to get a lot of more consistency from him, or is it time for someone else on Boom to step up? Conversely, over on
Famous ने
PaperX's
बहुत
side,
मारा है।
more kind of cohesive as a team, spreading the kills. But this is their bonus round, right? This is the one where PaperX have the better
59 वाली मेंबरशिप ला दो, मैं मजाक से हट कर एक 10,000 वाली मेंबरशिप लाने का सोच रहा हूँ। उसमें हर दिन मेरा एक मॉर्निंग सेल्फी मिलेगा। Good morning,
able to anchor it towards Arcade though, pushing past the smoke. Jing
हाँ भाई,
he's still going on a bit of a tear until he drops down, Forsaken to collect.
हाँ भाई, बूम भाई किधर हो?
Find a lot of aggression of their own.
Yeah, Famous caught out in the high gear.
Chat कोई है जो मेरा
Still
10,000 वाला लेना चाहती
from Jing's fight, didn't equip the gun
हर
to take
दिन
that
morning.
on the side, but hey, PaperX, they are on the board nice and early, so we're not going to have any teams here really establish, you know, a huge
कृष्णा
lead
भाई ये
like
क्या
some of the
language है?
PaperX over on the first map, and then how Boom, you know, over on Pearl as well, kind of ended the first half. That one, I guess you could still say is plausible.
क्या language है ये?
Here. But a lot of fracture as
एक
well.
ने
is
हाँ
gonna
भाई
be,
लिखा वो
you
भी
know,
नॉन
kind of what
मेंबर है,
space you're gonna
love
look to
you यार।
contain, what calls you're going to look to do. Of course, Boom opting for Fracture here. Questionable over Lotus.
Especially against PaperX, but we shall see.
Top map control established for PaperX.
Throwing the gauntlet down against PaperX, but with that also, just to read how PaperX might be maneuvering across.
Two spotted.
Famous finds Forsaken, and that's going to be a lockdown deployed as well, but not the full commit just yet. PaperX still hanging out across bench. Famous keeping them invested. Fast lanes through as well. PaperX needs to try to sneak past.
Yeah.
Has to keep their eyes trained down in towards tunnel as well still, because Famous continuing to poke and prod.
He's done his job though.
Yeah, that's just gonna buy a lot of time away from the spike. Now Jing trying to fire back, will be able to refrag, but Berserks instantly refills that position. Now you got tower as well. NC Slasher is holding that down like nobody's business.
Also, PRX is losing Pamko.
Okay, able to flick back towards it, but yeah, I mean, that's the round already.
Yeah, the 1 versus 4 is not going to come out from something, unfortunately. Famous did his job, right? He bought so much time to keep them all occupied around bench, around arcade, making sure that they weren't going to be able to get in, destroy the lockdown. You got to respect that one. Everybody hitting their shots on Boom where needed as well. You got a good trade out there. Importantly, the amount of time that Boom was just able to buy themselves, it brings in more time to use these post-plant abilities, right? When you're going to get your salvo expecting that DOS is going to have a couple of these lineups for the incendiary, or at least be positioning himself that he can kind of just rip that out where needed. The difference now that we're also going to have to see for PaperX to contend with is, as I mentioned, you don't see many kills played on Fracture anymore, right? So they also have to contend with these nanos that are going to come on out from Berserk.
मेरा वाला golden है ना?
On the attack, possible
तेरा वाला एकदम संडास है.
At least right now.
But इसके लिए कोई गाना मंगाता है क्या?
The outlaw in the hand of Berserk, PaperX also their own Forsaken on the Bucky. He's just positioned up towards a main now, picking up the ult.
Yeah. Overdrive available if needed. Could see something sneaky with the fault line from Patman ready. Forsaken a call, they'll rip on that one. And it is going to come on out.
Oh, shoulder jiggle.
Trap.
These Western topping people.
We saw 2 casualties.
Alt combos and the stealth drone out towards tree as well now. Here comes Forsaken with the overdrive, but he's shut down by DOS9. Berserk's finding a friend.
Thank you for those of you, but Derish, love you, this by Bunch by any plan of water
smoked off. Does have an arc to play with, and that's the fight, but he flashes himself as well. Oh, what a blunder! Something has to come up huge. 1 on 3. He takes down the first. Does have some utility to work off of, but not quite a lot of health. Holds and hugs the wall.
Oh, they've snuck out, haven't they?
Sneaks in, and the stun reveals his positioning. You don't quite have the position to pull off the salvos either now, so you're flushed out. But he finds the shot! What is that from something? One apiece, and he gets the triple to collect the round out for PaperX. Don't forget to defuse though, please. Okay, there it is.
1 tap, 2 tap. Give me more. He's risen from his seat. That is a round I thought that PaperX were going to be out of in the 2 versus 3. Defy flashes himself, but for something there, I mean,
what a clutch.
He gets mollied out, right? Salvoed out. He's got a little small window of timing to find that first duel, but the second sharp shot, just the adjustment of the aim to come on out there. That is, we need to see this one back. You ready for it? 1, 2. Absolutely gorgeous.
In a second.
That's the stuff you can't teach.
Can't teach that.
That's just in his genes.
Still though, ultimate's beginning to cycle through. PaperX needing to find the information necessary. So pushing out a tree along with the drone. Boom should be hearing this.
Well, they're going to just contact eventually going to have to call the audible and just go for it a little bit quicker.
All the responsibility falling on towards Devi's shoulders now. He's being hit with a lot of utility. The salvo flushes him out of position where he's not quite able to recenter himself. Forsaken though arriving on the site. Will be able to find a single frag, but Rolling Thunder now collapses through. Needs to hold out around a main where the door gets pushed upon by Famous. Jing though, happy to push into the smoke to just find a bit more space. Second frag found, now a 1 on 2. Not much in terms of the utility department though, just a smoke, an incendiary, and he has to really suss out these positions. So maybe a bit of smoke for cover just to allow him to deal with the site. So isolating angles at least for now. Oh, he actually pushes through. But DOS9 respecting it, does have the incendiary as well, so this is a really tough spot for Jing to be in. Flashes, dodged. Jing still strafing alongside.
भाई क्या
Everything's
बंदा है
being found.
भाई
NC Slasher
He
just
knows.
toying with his prey.
He knows as long as he's positioning himself
भाई
around that pillar
गलत
nicely, that time will be
भाई
won because DOS still has the incendiary to
गलत
be able to throw in.
यस
and
भाई
he's
थैंक
just
यू फॉर द
not
500
giving
मेरी
in the
जान
fight,
के
right? The
टोटे
way that
इस
Boom
बारे में
loses that
करते हैं
one is if
बंदोबस्त करते
DOS9
हैं
continues to play for the fight closely and allows him to just
पिंकी
dance
को
around
फ्रेम में लो
that smoke.
फ्रेम में आओ मैडम
Yeah, I mean, DOS9 throws the orbital strike in towards A main as well later in the round to make sure that there's no quick flanks to be able to come on out as well. Technically, you could call that a bit of a wasted ult, but you understand the idea behind it. Yeah, a lot of trades to come on out. I like that Boom really did speed it up quickly, recognizing that PaperX were coming from behind quick. And now they give themselves a little bit of a breathe room, right? They can take a solo round if they want to. They can do it fast as well if they need to. It is the lesser weaponry for PaperX.
And this is where I'm not gonna lie,
गलत
it
रूप
does
पे
get
था वो
quite chaotic for PaperX to try and
उधर जाने के लिए गलत रूप पे था
possible
वो
plays because this is Fracture after all. And you just have Famous and NC Slasher bursting into the site.
Set yourselves up a good post plant here, not drop any more weapons.
You've got Armageddon as well, and this is how the ultimates are beginning to cycle for Boom, but not even needed for now, at least.
Oh.
NC Slasher
Which duel do I
तो
take?
इतनी
trying to pull off his best something impression, but it's not
Possible
quite
है?
happening
नहीं.
just yet. So Arc
Smoke
Rose now
नहीं,
being
cross
tossed over
नहीं
by
कर
Divide
सकते.
to create a little bit more space, but can he really do it all? Not too much. At least just to pick up a weapon until his teammate falls. Boom, all happy to hold the positions and the angles. Simple shot found.
Yep, and that's just another A
ये तो
main
हो
protocol
गया
for them with getting in some early utility, not seeing anything on it, and then
Guys,
speeding up a little
Gen
bit.
Z
So I'm going to
वालों
be expecting
ऐसा
PaperX to
बोलते
do
हैं ना,
something a little bit different
this
coming towards this
nether
next
sauce
round.
from
You're
McDonald's
getting into
slaps.
this half as well, where
है ना?
you're 4-2 down. Do you want to deploy a bit of a timeout to have a discussion here? I don't think it would be a bad idea from the likes of PaperX to just have an
Flash.
early play to make sure that they're, you know, getting this round, the next round as well. 5-2.
No, though. I mean, this is where
नहीं
you
बोलते क्या?
really need
मैंने
to
सुना
find your way
लोगों को
across the
बोलते
map. Utility information
man.
is very much
गलत
so
लोगों को
key
follow
for a
करते
map that we're about to say goodbye.
जिधर
to.
सुना है वहाँ पे जाओ
Well,
रहने
yeah,
को
I mean,
जाओ
you got to think in the grand scheme of things what this does mean. Boom, the
Ketchup
Ascendant
just
team
banks
that,
Ketchup तुझे
you
bank
know,
करता
they
है
lost Ascension, but they still got a promotion in towards
क्या
it.
लैंग्वेज है ऊबर
Didn't have the greatest
Slaps me,
start
slaps.
over in kickoff. Now 2-0 up,
Nice.
looking for a 3-0. You know, we're seeing Ascension team really do some damage here.
कौन
at
जीतेगा ये
Pacific.
मैप
I mean,
100
you think to the
टक्का
likes of
PRX
Americas,
baby
we've got Two really doing some damage, right? But apart from that,
101% PRX baby
And it's very possible,
Grab.
Komodo. This is, leaps and bounds ahead from the meme boom that tied around
अपना
the
उधर
zip
भी चालू
lines.
गया
Now with the heads-up duel, I mean, this almost feels like a full challenge against
usually
PaperX,
was
like
not Gen Z.
playing really similar compositions.
भाई देखो सिंपल बात है
Similar roles in terms of the
70-30%
players as
पोल है
well.
तो अगर 4000 लोग देख रहे हैं
And
उसका
kind of
30% होती
currently
है
outdoing
ऑलमोस्ट
PaperX in terms of the macro
1200-1300
game.
लोग which I cannot
definitely going to need
disappoint
to
तो
see
basically
a,
हम टैलेंट भी करेंगे और रात को
PaperX
स्ट्रीम भी
here, who
करेंगे
are going to gather some A main control
Huh?
nice and early at the investment of the salvos. Going to play the 4-1, leaving Famous to his own devices. You can see him activate a little bit later if you need. Your standard
the
sort of
overdrive.
wall in, overdrive, can throw a bit of a
और
spat
बंदा
in a
क्या
little
ले
bit.
बढ़िया ले
Hope that you don't undo the wrong bolt at the moment.
Okay, well, at least PaperX going for that pinch again, and it's going to be a bit of an empty position played by Boom. They try to flash themselves back into
गए
play,
बे।
but something barrels
घुस गए।
through. The trade protocols are there for PaperX, and it's just DOS9 stunned up.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Forsaken, he tried to do everything there, but the counter Neon... in
बट मैन
Famous
बोलते
is
हैं
what
भाई
I'm
3v1
trying
है
to
लेकिन सब
highlight.
1v1 सिचुएशन है
Little bit too
Yeah,
late
a little
for
bit
him.
shy in terms of the timing, but still not
अभी
undoable.
2v1
Does
है
pick up the
ये
frag,
भी निकाल
and the
सकता है फेमस
Spike
दो
has an
मैप MVP
opportunity
था
to find his way into a
नहीं
site. The
निकाल
question is,
सकता
which
भाई
one is it going to be?
जिंग
I
जिंग
like
और
that
दवाई
Defy and Jin recognize that it's a 2 versus 1, and you can play to the strengths. You go towards the B site because Famous, well, if he goes towards B, you've got all your utility, but more importantly here, Quack, it's the numbers game.
Yes.
You play to the percentages, which is what PaperX
Quack.
need.
I love that you highlight that, Komodo, but I am also very much so reminded of a very similar scenario that we saw last week
चुप
against
चाप
Michigan.
रेस्ट कर बड़ी
They had
नहीं नहीं
numbers.
चिल्ला
It also kind of fell by the wayside. Can PaperX prove everyone wrong this time? Spike
Yeah,
will
no,
go
it's
down.
like
This
backing,
ain't
no?
no haven though, Quack. That's the thing. No dark cover. Famous 1 versus 2. Only his gun and his sprint.
No cap.
Still positioned up top.
Timing.
PaperX creeping forward, now spotted. Famous knows exactly where to look. The spike
W दबाए.
will get defused as PaperX smokes themselves off, goes in for the peak, and picks up the round.
Playing to the percentages.
Binks भाई आपकी
Done
favorite
at the end
Vandal
there,
skin
trying
कौन
to
सी है?
get his
Champs
first kill
baby
on the board
2027.
as well.
Sorry,
Hopefully
3.
that can bring in some individual confidence for him. PaperX though, back at the beginning of that round, really W gaming in that one to take advantage with the stuns, with a boom caught off
Let's
guard,
give
not
it a
really
chance
able
to
to retaliate. A lot of great flashes to come on through. Credit to Pat.
Anytime उसका chili
stun with the flashes.
chili से
Just the
is
advantage,
better.
making sure that you don't drop that one. So
बहुत
back
ही
to
रही.
timeout.
Yeah,
Very nicely.
That there will be a play that Boom begins to respect. You know, every time they try to push into Z main, PaperX hits them with that utility if they are in position for it. So,
but the thing is,
2021 है वो?
if PaperX gather the full control
Not
in
upset,
A,
Roma.
they can quickly get a crunch down towards tree as well and make things quite awkward up towards this B side.
and that's exactly what is happening. The adjustments coming in from Boom in terms of the macro game.
Get out
PaperX
of there,
though
get
trying
out
to
of there.
get ahead of it as well. But we do have a slight repeat of the
W
zipline
bolte.
incident from years ago. Now,
Hey, at least it isn't everybody.
yes, Boom still stopped in their tracks, and that is the main story of what's happening in this round.
Yeah.
Famous though, trying to create
must
some
push
presence
करते हैं
of
ना
his
बे
own
PRX.
while the Bravo squad heads over onto the A site. Something quickly deals with the early presence made known, and then a bit of a trade coming out from Jing. DOS9 a trade of his own as well, now looking for the opportunity to sneak into the site.
Yeah, you
Hatman alone to hold. He does have Jing right by him, but look at that spray. A bit of a trade coming out
Jing
from
bolte!
Jing. It's gonna be the double kill to end the round.
Yeah, there were so many moments in that round of just
इनका
different
abs
disconnected
दिखाओ.
duels where you
Excuse
had
me.
to see some individual plays come
Abs
through.
बनाया जाता है भाई,
right? And it
दिखाया नहीं
wasn't really
जाता.
working. PaperX, apart from that last duel that we really see, were always doing it together in numbers. You got Forsaken and Patman in the beginning. You got that one that we see there, but the trades. The name of the game, the trades. Really for PaperX, not overstepping too hard. Jing able to double down out
Jing
the
bolte!
end as well to start to look to equalize this map.
And that's what I really love now. coming out from
2021
PaperX,
champs अभी वापस
beginning to
आएगी
catch
क्या?
up
नहीं
to
रे?
Boom in terms of the macro game.
Champ
Getting the
skins नहीं
reads
आती
to
store
smoke
में.
off Boom's advances, and then the trade protocols coming back through into it. So Boom trying to find some adjustments. They got a bit of a half by now, bunching up towards A main.
Great shot.
W
PaperX holds long range, reading their attempts at a play as well. Salvos though, and Forsaken looking to meet very famous
बाप रे गलत
off to the other
गलत खेल
end,
रही
skip towards
है.
A main. The entire PaperX squad descending upon Boom.
हो गया
just to
अभी जीत
collect
गया
on the
अभी जीत
frags.
गया
And you
5
see
राउंड हो
early
गया
on as
जीत
well,
गया अटैकिंग मैप
Forsaken,
है.
not dissuaded by all that early utility, not going to fall on back. He's got his team there to support him. He's just going to go in for the charge and catch PaperX, catch Boom off guard.
घर का खाना बनता है घर पे, ये घर का ही है भाई. घर का ही है, किसी और के घर में बना तो मैं क्या करूं?
I'm kind of questioning, are we going to get any decisions on the side of Boom, or are they happy enough, right, to hold these timeouts for the
Yeah,
next half?
we
Are they
should be
happy with
bye.
5 on the attacking side so far?
You know, just the fact that it's 2 rounds left. You might imagine they're
मुझे
saving
लात
it.
दे रही है
They
वायर
have a
लगा
lot
तो.
of ultimates at play though for
Yeah.
the remainder of this first half, and Boom happy to hold this time as PaperX pushes out, completely punished.
The turret!
Jing though trading right back, and then the rest of the squad to head on over into the A site.
Berserk's the turret was shooting him, and he just wasn't able to find it in the full chaos around the tree. But now, a 2 versus 3
Fairly chaotic.
into the site, and look at the post-plant utility that Boom are going to have here. Salvos will come back online, an Armageddon. You got a Rolling Thunder and an
Something
Aftershock.
अगर
The
rotate
way
नहीं
you're
करते तो
planting
कुछ
it,
कर
you do
सकते
set yourselves up for
ना?
walls to be able to use a lot of that.
So a possible save for PaperX, but you know
कैसे
something
भाई
like
alt है?
Armageddon as well. If he's able to deploy it into the right position,
got a
might be
lot of-
able to find something more.
They've got a lot of money, so you're definitely going for it.
So right now coming out towards Dish and drop. A little bit spotted out. Famous continuing to jiggle, looking for an opportunity. Rolling Thunder at the right time, though, does crunch into the players from PaperX, but Jing saves something's life. And that's going to be now the stun. NC Slasher
Like,
just
गलत मारा बे.
playing that situation to perfection back there, swapping over onto the shorty.
Yeah, and ripping the Rolling Thunder off the back of the contact as well, right? As soon as those smokes do come on down, you know that that's going to be go time to kind of catch them none the wiser. The duel in the tree. This time, we're crediting the trade game of Boom, right? Able to find the
बस मारा DOS
player
मैंने दो.
advantages, swinging back over towards the other side. A little bit of an overheat from Famous. I
ऐसे
will,
की शॉटिंग मस्त मारता है बे वो.
I will say
एक
that
बुलेट
one
में
there.
एक. W. भाई बाप वॉच पार्टी है ना चैट?
for both teams.
Oh, yeah. Just completely erupting in Rapture, but still, this half is not over yet, and we still have ultimates at play.
If something has the Armageddon at the right spot and it's positioned towards the site on the back of the shear, that
BME
could
fans
have really hurt Boom
next
if they
level
wanted to
there.
go close. But sheer timing,
कुछ
to
ज़्यादा ही है.
reset, and Quack, there's 4 ults for Boom here.
That's right.
You could just set up for a lockdown. You could
हम लोग
force
किधर
out an
जकार्ता में ही
Armageddon.
गए
You
थे
could try and force out the Steel Garden.
Ults for Paper
नहीं
X
हम लोग
as
गए
well.
नहीं इंडो कभी.
And that's why they are positioned so defensively. They've been pushing out for the past few rounds, and Boom read that in the previous one, being able to find those trades back in.
Oh,
Now all of a sudden, just a bit of utility, and that's a Rolling Thunder sent in towards Arcade. Boom reads this as the go signal into the A site. Armageddon right on the spot though. It's just Famous and NC/ into the site. DOS9 into the smokes as well. Oh, Forsaken, Famous, he's trying to get ahead of it all. Brimstone all across the map. Lockdown in play as well. Forsaken able to hunker down, but DOS9 for the trade. That's a bit more space in towards spawn now. The rest of the Paper X squad all coming out from
भाई वो अल्टी बाप थी लेकिन वो रुकाने के लिए अगर कुछ रहता था ना मजा आता था.
Aftershock, Boom still happy to hold. They don't quite need to fight, they don't quite need to peek, and that's where the onus falls on the Paper X.
Armageddon in 5 seconds till salvos.
Just holding, just waiting for it. Paper X still trying to barrel their way through, but nothing much found, just a bit of a frag. Jing takes down NC/, but there's the utility. Goes in for the peek, tries to isolate more duels,
and that's it.
And that's a salvos. The time has been burnt. Jing knows it. The
Not
round
bad,
is
5 is
over.
attacking map. Should be easy for PRX.
Good recovery on the last 2 rounds there from Boom, I will admit. And this round
रहेगा
as
मेरे हिसाब से.
well, Paper X a little bit confused on what
कुछ amount
space
से
Boom had
donation
found
और
right
minimum
around
amount
Arcade,
minimum
putting in the Rolling Thunder, sending in Forsaken with that overdrive as well to fully clear it on out. You've got a lot of different positioning that come out from Boom, but they're so patient when they get in towards the site. I mean, disregard Famous trying to take a duel against Forsaken pretty much towards the spawn, but the rest of the squad, they are very focused on protecting that spike, buying time, right? You've got all of those exit strategies with the Armageddon, with the salvos, with the crossfires to come out as well. NC/ with the shorty, I mean, playing a couple of strengths there as Boom, but I want to know, right? Is 7-5 going to be enough for either of these teams?
दूसरे क्यों क्या BME के नीचे इसके पहले का 2 मैचेस
really good lead
वो लोग
out
जीते
from Boom here or from Paper X, or are we going to get a lot of backwards and forwards action, right? Because Fracture a map, when you've got these 4 different chokes that you can start things off on, you have a mistake at the very beginning, you could be pushed into an awkward save, and that's the sort of situation where coming in towards a map like Fracture for the likes of Boom, who haven't had that much play on it, right? Recently at least, could see them crumble a little bit.
Yeah, great cosplay from the fans at least, but you're absolutely right, Komodo. It's going to be tough to say who exactly could come up with the lead, but one thing we can say for sure is the fact that it all begins with that pistol. That's just top-tier analysis coming out from me anyway. But no, it's very much true, because that dictates the pace for the entire rest of this half, and at least looking at statistics right now,
Boom पर करो,
Boom
betting
leading
मत करो रे
very much
नुबड़ो.
more so, given Paper X's recent losses. You got to be able to read the game as well, and Boom has, again, just been doing such a good job.
Eldorado भाई मेरा
It does
इंस्टा
look
का
a little
स्टोरी
bit more
देखो.
comfortable from what I've seen so far for Paper X as opposed to when they were playing Waylay. I will
Gym
say
join
that,
कर ले, already join
but
किया है.
I
ये
feel
game के
like
बाद जाऊंगा
you've
मैं.
still got a couple of key people who are not really getting activated as best as I thought they might be.
So maybe now with Patman in the roster trying to launch something different, they actually went for a very specific route through tunnel. Boom kind of gets a sniff of that, so with the stealth drone, trying to suss them out, but doesn't see too much.
Yeah, Device seen nothing in A main, so there's a call here for the
सबसे
squad to
crucial
come on over. You can
rotation
contact
Theo
them
भाई
up
का
at the
होने वाला
moment,
है.
and you actually might be able to overwhelm Berserks and not see NC/ be able to activate.
They are traps in of their own right as well, though. Berserks and NC/, they've been pretty darn good so far, and that's going to be that fault line. NC/ coming in with the support. Trades found for Boom.
Oh,
But Paper X
चार
finds
बंदे
their
लोग
own
को
trades
stun
as
किया था
well.
भाई.
A third one now
पांच
as
बंदे
Shiro
लोग को
gets
stun था
taken
वो.
out.
going
Famous, though.
before the
सच्ची
flashes.
combo था भाई.
Yeah, a bit ill-advised.
It's a little bit tough, but still DOS9 now trying to get ahead of pressure. Does push the buy out
Okay,
position. Low HP as Forsaken tries to hold the off angle, but now as he turns back around, that's another kill found for Boom. Jing, it's all down to you.
Jingo!
Low HP as well as he swings out. DOS9 to find the easy shot in towards center mass.
भाई Boom जीत
Boom
सकता
with
है?
the
नहीं, नहीं,
pistol.
the stuns in main as well,
Bhai,
right? Both
gullat
sides
combo
getting stunned
kiya
on
na?
up. You got
Boom
salvos
ne?
awaited for. You got a flash then going in.
Gullat
Frenzy
combo
slasher,
kiya
but he gets
be.
spotted out just before it's able to fully activate and blind up PaperX. Again, the trade game and the patience from DOS9. You might have seen him look to really wide swing out in towards main against two members of the PaperX boys. You know, imagine if he falls there. It makes it very difficult for Famous to be able to try and close out the round or get down from drop. So the fact that DOS9 falls back just a little bit and then it goes into the 1 versus 1 HP advantage of that scenario for DOS9, and he's able to just dispatch of his enemy, which means here, Quack, we got another pistol round going the way of Boom.
And that's beginning to be that defining factor for Boom as well. DOS9, I mean, such a calm presence for the team.
And his absence on the previous maps as well, right? Finally feeling worth here.
And looking at this as well, I mean, the Sky Smokes instantly deployed.
दो गेम फेमस मारा, फेमस ने मार पा रहा, उसकी टीम जीत रही है
लेकिन
लेकिन.
off of it. They come into this round with a force buy of their own. And this is
बराबर
needs
मीट
to
भाई,
pay off
बराबर.
dividends.
Oh, absolutely. If this round doesn't go your way, maybe even convincingly, it makes it really awkward for PaperX.
Famous
Lots
sidestep the fault line.
Oh.
A relay ball from Forsaken as well, just to push them back.
But it's balanced.
Still though, it's a round where PaperX needs to find and seize some form of an initiative. And it's going to be Famous seizing that positioning instead.
Yeah.
Still though, trades found.
आवाज आया, फोर्स
No,
किया
we're
वो
gonna
लोग ने,
really
फोर्स
help
किया
him
गाइस,
in
फोर्स
that
किया. ऐसा
situation,
आवाज आ रहा है
unfortunately.
वहाँ
So 4
पे.
versus
ज़्यादा
4
सुनाई
in
दिया मेरे.
towards the A site, you start to get on up.
4 versus 2 maybe if you're just talking about the Boom players on the site itself. But look at Shiro stopping them in their tracks, completely halted as PaperX tries to push past the smokes. Can they find the frags? They don't. It's Defy who finds a single one before Shiro just descends upon them with a full Stinger
भाई
magazine.
लग गए.
Shiro, I've been a little bit hesitant to say his name in this one
4
so
पॉइंट
far
लेकर मैं
because
तो अब भी तो
playing
देखा
on
4
this
पॉइंट लिया
Taeho,
करके.
1 assist, right? No successions really coming out from the drone for the team to find any kills on the back of. No major salvo plays, no stun salvo traps as well to net him a kill, right? He had 2 kills in the first half. Now he's just doubled that one up coming in towards the second. He could be calling a masterful game behind the scenes, right? Very well possibly could, which is where the value will come from him. But if he can get his self-confidence into this one, likewise with Divide for PaperX, it could be the missing factor for one team to really propel ahead here.
That's right, that's what it is. You know, Shiro as the IGN now beginning to step up. Meanwhile, PaperX once again with a half buy
मेरे
now
को एक
coming
और
back in.
भाई दिख रहा है.
It's going to be a little bit tough as Boom are looking
What
a
a
lot
stun.
more confident. The
Oh.
stun, though, will help out just a bit. Jing to answer back. And now the stun's coming through once again. It does give away in positioning, though, but still, PaperX not quite able
भाई ये
to
लोग
break
ऊपर
past
से
through these
निकलने
choke
पाए थे यार
points.
सन
They're
की वजह से.
locked. They are locked in. They have to either fully disconnect here or they have to try and just win it. A single duel. That's all the info that Famous needed.
And more of the lines being locked down, especially with the Outlaw being reloaded. Just Stinger and Spectre, something at hand, trying to spray through, spray past. It's not quite happening. As Boom splashes PaperX with a bit of cold water.
Yeah, and that was another bit of
कोई
a force
नहीं,
out for
attacking
PaperX
map
in that
है.
round
Technically
too,
by
right?
5
So
round
now
पीछे.
you're playing on the back of your loss bonus to get you these primary rifles. You're still going to have Patman, who's down on towards the Spectre coming into this next round. Understandably so, right? His goal in this sort of round is going to be to get a good stun for his team, to get good flashes, to provide them the entryways in.
जीजी क्या जीजी भाई, हेलो.
It needs to be a different look towards PaperX.
Hater मत बनो.
Because you drop the pistol. Oh, why did they...
That's the
That's a rough one. That is a really rough one.
And it's a real question that we do have to ask, because right now, in this very round, if PaperX doesn't find a round, this could be it. Boom. Very much comfortable in their sights. A little bit of a flash up, though, and Forsaken tries to answer back.
Yeah.
Sprays through the smokes and does find a double. A bit of an opportunity for PaperX to answer back.
Mind
You
trick
gotta
भी like
remember,
बेंच
bullets through
में बच
smokes
गया.
can be traced. 2-player advantage for PaperX at the moment, and you know, Quack, the Boomer, gonna give this one a crack.
Happy to, but Patman, recognizing that as well, holds the position. Famous in with the Outlaw now, spots out Forsaken. DOS9 taking that opportunity to peek out. Famous now finding the trade, and both Neons kick things into high gear. Forsaken off towards the other line, expects and anticipates the slide out. Jing to support, and PaperX will be able to save themselves.
Yeah. We really need some good macro decisions from PACIFIC at the moment on this attacking side, because it looks like that Boom is quite happy, you know, to try and find these isolated players. A little bit unfortunate at the beginning of this round that Berserks was caught off guard in the tower. You know, if he's able to lock down the site as the Sentinel himself, it would make it really, really awkward for PACIFIC. But hey, Forsaken sent in on the back of that drone. Nicely done for them to get on the board, and they've got a couple of these key ults, right? Orbitals for both sides. Forsaken with the overdrive.
Famous on the op though this time.
That's it. That's the next thing I was going to mention, and we know how impactful he can be, and he's on the line.
Gotta be so careful. But unfortunately,
he wants more.
Forsaken will bite the dust.
Number 2.
Stealth drone out, so they know exactly where he is, but PACIFIC looking to re-challenge. Famous now fully blinded, has to back off.
Yep, and you can reset here, right? Divide has got the shear over at A, so you know no one's gone for a proper flank from Boom, and they don't necessarily need to press the issue. They've got a player advantage, they've still got a lot of this utility that they're yet to utilize.
भाई एक ही छोड़ा पता है कि DOS9 के पास
for
अल्ट है.
PACIFIC, and this is where I do kind of want to bring up a point of discussion. You know, I know people have talked about this before, but someone might need to step up in terms of leadership for the team.
Yeah, that's what I said a little bit earlier, right? And how do you do that in a round such as this, where your entryway in Forsaken is gone, right? A contact play up main. Boom happy enough to play probably retake it.
Yeah, Orbital in the hands of DOS9. Famous still happy to re-peek with a lot of these angles as well. At least PACIFIC though doing their due diligence to try and block them off.
Ready for a stun for NC Slash the Orbital Strike Combine. And that's red and at least dodged on the side.
W dodge.
30 seconds left and you're starting to feel that pressure. Will PACIFIC crumble or will they stand
By
tall? Something
W
at
by
least
something.
tries to fend them
breach
off.
ult भी है.
But DOS9 to punch right back.
Rolling Thunder in a bit really good here.
Hatman trying to get the best possible timing for it. Stunned and concussed up. He's just waiting for the go signal. There it goes. Unfortunately though, Boom, they've avoided most of it. Famous coming out from the A main position. Patman trying to slow him down. In with a spray, with the support, and that's
W, baby!
able to collect a round right back against Boom when they're feeling the hottest.
Yeah, just so much crucial time.
भाई मेरे को लगा वो ult waste हो गया, सीन हो सकता है.
Right, just waiting for the flood retake to start to come in from
ये क्या burger है?
You got the rolling thunder out there
Korean
as well,
veg.
and just the fact that something's able to find one kill. DOS9 gets
क्यों
elevated
है
in this
Korean
matchup, and then you've got a little
इसमें?
delayed crossfire a bit later on the side itself. Nicely done from Jing to close that
क्या
one
Korean
down
है
again. You know, on this Brimstone,
हाँ?
right? Doesn't necessarily need to always be caught out with the iPad. Some good timing on some smokes, and then he can really focus on that crosshair.
Still though, those rounds are far and few between. PACIFIC back on the advance.
I'm a little bit
पहले
surprised
प्रीमियम
how
स्ट्रीम करेगा क्या?
Boom are to
खेलने कोई टाइम नहीं है,
use
स्ट्रीम
utility
करो
to
मैं.
clear over at main, having already seen Devise shear. You want to pop that, throw a bit of hesitancy in it.
It is a round where they are sitting on an eco, so happy to surprise PACIFIC with some of the positions that they're holding. Here comes that first sheriff shot. Looking for a bit
ये
more.
Mac आलू नहीं, Mac उल्लू है ये.
मेरे को मत बोल, मैं नहीं मंगाई हूँ तेरे लिए, फ्री में आया करके ली हूँ तेरे को. खुद भी खा सकती
Entirely safe. There it goes.
Ungrateful. उल्लूस.
And
बहुत
Boom
गंदा
possibly
रंग,
looking for
बहुत
exits right
भाई.
now.
Next
Salvos
level
flush from
गंदा
that
ये तो.
position. PACIFIC throws back utility of their own, while Boom looks to close in the distance. Out by tower. DOS9 finds one. He finds two! Devi though, able to hold it off. Needs a little bit more. He peeks in!
No salvos.
Zero answers back.
गलत है.
And now it's just a 1-on-2. Something needs
अरे
to
वो
find
molly
all of
गलत
it.
है.
He feels the pressure of the spike being defused and he peeks out. The molly burns at something's feet.
भाई
2 shots out of the sheriff is going to
Alex,
stall
back
you
camp,
then
please.
into the flames, and you will
Nah,
not carry
bro.
on, unfortunately. A thrifty to come here for
Alex,
Boom
back camp, please.
as they
Nah.
inch one step closer towards the series point.
And that's Armageddon for Shiro as well.
Yeah,
Mouse
well,
pad
I
says
was
it's
looking
got a
at
whole
the
thing, the
Armageddon
mouse
in
mat
the
though.
end there, and it was one away for kind of both of them, right? So the fact that had the kill gone something's way, potentially could have used it for DOS9 to get off it, but yeah, just the timing, the molly to not necessarily go for the kill, right? It's the scare tactic to make sure that if he's going to take the duel, he's going to die.
लग गए.
This is a much needed timeout.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly dreaded by the players as well because
I mean,
the rounds have been
haphazard.
Yep.
And you got to remember as well,
Okay, babe.
when Alex got really,
Huh?
I don't want to say angry,
Sure.
but it kind of looked at it, right? When you
क्या
got
बात है,
force
क्या
buy
बात
upon
है,
a
क्या
force
बात
buy at the beginning of this half, you have
क्या बात है,
essentially
आज कोई तो चिल्ला रहा
delayed
है।
your start towards this second half and given a round over towards Boom, where the scoreline, you know, if that didn't happen, it could have been 10-7, right? It could have even had you in the lead and a change up because you start to get your gun rounds earlier on, right? We're not in that universe right now, but it's an 11-7 where this has to be an extremely important timeout to, you know, have an immediate effect. This needs an immediate effect in this gun round for Paper X. And it's not even a great looking gun round, Quack.
Yeah, Bucky,
भाई तेरे के
Spectre.
पास अल्ट
But you
है।
have the overdrive for Forsaken, so if you can somehow get him on the right line early on.
On the attack, though. Still not the best winning percentage for Paper X currently. Boom, on the other hand, you've still got that Armageddon. One away from the lockdown on Berserks. NC Slasher close to
भाई
the Rolling
ओरन
Thunder
जीतना
as
था
well.
बे।
And look at this.
There's a change up over at the B side as well with where some of this utility is, right? Turret to play contact over towards the top side of the map, where you've got the alarm bot and the nanos at the choke of the entry from tree. So if Paper X wanted to play Stally, well, they can be held at bay for a bit.
Overdrive, Steel Garden, Armageddon as well coming out from bench, but nothing found. Can Forsaken find a little bit more to keep Paper X invested in the game? Tries to hold tower with the Bucky. That would be an optimal spot. Armageddon from Paper X as well. Still
चलेगा
Force
ट्रेड लिया फॉर
beginning
सेकंड
to
भाई
find
ने।
an opening. The spike is down and Paper X needs to hold, but they're beginning to push out a little bit more. Trades found by NC Slasher. Now Famous looking to take space up by tower. Trades found by Jing once again. 2-on-2, but something holding the exposed angle. Now it's a tough spot for Jing to fire through. Tries to clutch it out, but DOS9 finds it instead. Boom will reach series point.
The trades, man. Paper X are looking so good in the trades, but it's just the difference in having one member up or down at a lot of these points. I mean, the goal for Famous to just jump on in through the incendiary in tower as well, send it through there, does get traded, but NC Slasher on the kill towards something. They already know where the last soldier in Jing is, and he's just burning up again. This is now series point for Boom Esports, who aren't going to win this in the 2-0 fashion if they get it here, by the way, but it means that they should qualify for playoffs.
Yeah, right on the cusp of it, and they feel it very much so.
भाई
Paper
जिंग
X
ने
now,
बहुत मारा यार।
last breath, last stand as they buy up
ये
Guardians.
क्या क्वैक को
Bit of a
1 year ban
battle for
क्यों मिला?
Divide, but still, as they try to push their way
Taaki
into
tu
the site,
superchat
orbital
kare,
strike at
उसकी
hand as
मदद
well.
कर।
Famous re-peaks with the Outlaw. Forsaken answer back, but now a lot of the site being smoked off. Something has to hold out towards top, but Shiro trading right back. Numbers advantage somewhat, but NC Slasher has an angle.
2v2 से 2v2 हो गया।
Batman at least the spike down, waiting for the fault line to come back alive. Forsaken has to play a very careful jiggle because he's pretty much sandwiched in. Flashed out.
There's salvos now.
And a lot more as well. Tries to flush Patman out of position. Here comes that fault line. Forsaken springs! Looks for the slide in!
W.
And that's the Guardian to keep Paper X alive!
W.
I mean, I say it time and time again, stuns in this game are pretty cosmetic when you can just still hit your shots like that as Forsaken. I thought that there was going to be,
तो एक काम करो, बर्गर ले लो, उसके बीच में चिकन डालो, खा लो। अगर हार रही है PRX, चिकन मारे, चिकन मारे।
Maybe it looks to be a little bit differently at the end there, but Shiro
Rest कमाओ ले भाई।
unfortunately waiting for the salvos to come on up. More importantly, Paper X, they do hold on, right? So they need to navigate 4 more rounds to try and push us into overtime. There's going to be some ecos and some big old gun rounds, and I'm waiting, right? I'm seeing for Boom, you take the knee in this one, you got an orbital, you got a lockdown, you're getting closer to an overdrive.
Not even taking full knee either, because they're happy to go in for that scuffle against Paper X. Forsaken though, looking to collect as much as possible. He needs as much as possible for the rest of the
टेक्निकली अगर देखा जाए तो 3 ही राउंड दूर है।
The situation is tense right now, Komodo.
Yeah.
अरे
But it's okay.
मैंने क्या किया?
This is one of those rounds for Paper X that they should be winning with 5 alive.
Should be.
And they may. Hey, they may.
12-9 and Boom looking
मैंने क्या
to
किया?
hold for exits at least. Something beginning to peek out. We'll spot out DOS9.
Yeah. And the thing is, it does more damage in these scenarios to Paper X than it would
Ult
to
off
Boom,
चाहिए.
right? Because they already have the ults for the players that are alive. There's one gun down, so one is the pass mark. You'll be able to re-get that in the next round, but you know, it's 3 more rounds,
Brick
right?
by
It's just
brick,
gonna
yeah,
take
round
one
by
little
round.
misstep
Brick
for
कहाँ
Paper
से आ
X
गया
here, and that could be the series. And I'm looking towards a couple of these ultimates, right? There's a reason they're called an ultimate. They can be round defining. In this one, they can be series defining in the current point that we're at.
Possibly playoffs defining as well. Not just for Boom, but for Paper X as well. Again, this loss will seriously affect their chances of possibly making it through. Currently sitting at an 0-2 overall.
Yep.
Boom now looking to push out a bit more information outside of Tree.
Some rotations towards the A side, and if you go there as Paper X, you can tend to have a lot of discord or utility. But it is on the quieter approach. You do have that alarm bot at drop first for Boom to get an
भाई ये लोग वो
idea.
करेंगे लगता है ऊपर प्लांट करके कल्टी
and seen no contest from Paper X. So this is going to be one of those full retake rounds for Boom.
Especially with that possible lockdown as well, as long as Berserks goes undiscovered, but now spotted out by Jing, so lockdown gone. But you do have a player up towards spawn. Jakey, main as well. Paper X has to hold it safe. Something playing into the drop position. Jing now pushing
Nice,
out.
nice.
Devaya as
Not
well,
nice.
but now Famous comes back in through Sands, where he finds Jing's head. No more Teho in play.
Nice, nice,
Devaya
Devaya bhai.
all out. 1-on-1.
It is planted for him.
No Arcros though. After shocked out, an NC Slasher trying to clear as much as possible. Goes in for the tap, the flash.
Oh, he's self-blinded!
He bounced off of it, and that's the entire map. How did that just happen? NC Slasher clutching out the round for Boom. The final scoreline, 13-9. This team wasn't even really supposed to be here, but here they are.
They have absolutely come with a storm behind them, propelling them forward, haven't they? That is not a 2-0 fashion this time, Quack, but it is Paper X being shut down on the map 3, and all 3 of those maps had moments of brilliance from every single player, from the team collectively, but a couple of missed decisions from Paper X's side in this map here on Fracture specifically. And they, like my words, have fun.
I'm still at a loss for
Yeah.
how that final kill went through. We've been mentioning how the stuns are somewhat of a cosmetic. That was a flash,
Yeah.
but he still turned off of it. And
कैसे
that's just
बे
pure instinct coming into play. Boom. They've
भाई
been great on the
क्यूटस को
macro.
देखो
They've
भाई ये
been
पहला
stopping
टीम
Paper
है
X in their
क्वालिफाई होने
tracks.
के लिए
They're
प्लेऑफ
taking their very much well-deserved bow on the stage.
क्यूटस को देखो
Of
भाई
this moment for sure, don't you? We get to hear from somebody for them, but you just have to know how
मैं
excited
बोला
they
ना
are
भाई
with
बूम
this win.
जीतेगा बोला था कि नहीं
Truly ascending forwards and upwards inside
blue
of this Pacific group stage, stage 1, and we will hear from them a lot more as Jen steps onto the stage.
Boom, continuing their winning ways. Congratulations, guys. Now I'm gonna need Mr. Famous over here.
भाई गलत मारा
Boom
फेमस ने लेकिन
esports의
दो मैच
페이머즈 선수 만나보겠습니다. 박수 부탁드립니다.
भाई ये गेम ने यार मेरी फेवरेट टीम
붐이 벌써 3연승 무패 행진을 기록하고 있습니다. 가장
젠볼
먼저
데이.
지금 이런 좋은 흐름에 대해서는 선수들끼리 어떤 얘기를 하고 있는지부터 여쭤보고 싶네요. Congratulations, Famous. That's 3 wins in a
What
row
did com
already.
change or
What are the
coach
thoughts
change is
and how
better?
are you guys enjoying this
Com.
upward trajectory
कोच
that you
चेंज
guys
बेटर
are on
कैसे हो
right
सकता है
now?
रे नूब
We just keep playing like in our scrims, and we just at least we need to have fun also.
Scrims looking good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. 그냥 스크림하고 경기하면서
पूछा उतना ही
즐겁게
बात करता
무대를
है।
즐기려고
हाँ?
하고 있는데 스크림 결과도 굉장히 좋다고 얘기를 하네요. 그리고 페이머즈 선수 스테이지 1 들어서 모든 선수들 통틀어서 지금 오퍼레이터
यार जो भी लोग देख रहे हैं स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दो पार्ट से
스스로에 대한 자신감은 어느 정도인지 또 물어보고
और
싶네요.
जिसने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया सब्सक्राइब कर दो
I don't know if you
PRX
know,
बार आई थिंक
but you are
टेक्निकली
currently
वो लोग को
number
सारे
1
मैचेस
leading
2-0 जीतने
in
पड़ेंगे ऐसा
operator
कुछ
kills
तो
in Pacific. For
टेक्निकली
stage 1, yeah. So how confident are you as the upper, right? Would you say you're maybe the best Pacific upper, or maybe one of the best in the world?
Nah,
And
something
what do you
है,
think
nah.
makes you so good with the sniper rifles?
भाई मारा तो
Holding
गलत है
angle,
भाई
like,
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say you're one of the best or the best?
No, not yet.
아, 겸손하게 아직까지 뭐
भाई
퍼시픽
कितना down to earth है
최고는
भाई.
아닌 것 같고
कितना
그래도
प्यारा है भाई.
그냥 뭐 각만 잘 보고 어떤 각을 쓰면 좋은지 알고
나?
있기 때문에 그냥 뭐 어느 정도 잘 하는 것 같다고 그게 오퍼의 비결이라고 얘기를 합니다. 그러면 다음 경기는
3 बड़ी टीम्स को हरा के क्वालीफाई हुए.
TRX를
नंबर
상대하게
सेट में पढ़ा
됐거든요.
मैंने एसडी का.
연습
어디가 이거-
이어갈 각오 한마디
भाई, क्या है ये
부탁드리도록
language?
하겠습니다. Now, I feel like next week it's going to be a big
इधर
test for
वाकई
you
हो.
guys. It's going to be DRX. 4 in a row, maybe?
I hope.
You hope?
I hope.
All right. I mean, are we supposed to get famous? And then I got confused. NC Slasher. Thank
No,
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Thank you for supporting us and keep cheering for us.
Okay, keep slaying.
डब्लू बंदा है यार.
네. 재밌을 것 같고 4연승 이어가면 좋겠다고 얘기를 했습니다. 이렇게 해서 NC 슬래셔
네?
선수 만나봤습니다. Thank you, NC Slasher.
मैं बोला था ना
See you
बूम
next week.
जीतेगा. इतना क्यूट टीम है यार बूम. कितना क्यूट टीम है यार बूम.
Boom
Shortest
closed
in
this
interview,
out,
na?
and they are officially
जीत के
qualified
कैसा
for
लगा? Nice.
playoffs. And doing it on this fashion on Fracture, what
क्या
a way
लगता है
to
तुम लोग
enter
क्यों
into
जीते आज?
playoffs.
क्योंकि गोली मारी.
So well deserved for this team. They've looked phenomenal the whole way through. They only dropped their first map today in week 3 and bounced right back in map 3. You would have told me that that's an Indo team, that's an SEA team. It's able to look so consistent, so composed. I wouldn't have believed you, but they proved everybody wrong.
मैं क्या बोल रहा है? अभी
pleasure
चाय
it's
नहीं
been to
पीते,
watch.
हेल्दी
Yeah, for
कोक
sure.
पीते.
Wasn't
क्या
even
बोलते हो?
famous doing the majority of the dirty work this game. You had DOS9 who had a very quiet series, step up in the third map. NC Slasher was fantastic, and I think Boom overall on that defense being able to close out the game. The insane Sheriff rounds just show you how sharp some of these individual players, like not only DOS9 but Berserks as well,
Gen 30
even
was
hitting
famous
like
over
one
there.
taps on a
Slash-
Neon, you know,
मस्ती
buddy
कर रहे
hopping
थे.
at him and moving around absolutely everywhere.
हेल्दी
So
कोक, डाइट
really
कोक
nice stuff from
बेबी.
Boom. Love what we've seen from them this season, and they close out another very tight game. Similar to what we saw in like that Genji Haven game, you start to get a little bit nervy for Boom and you think, are they going to be
first
able to
blood भाई,
actually
14
get this
first
over
blood
the
क्या होता है
line? Yeah,
भाई?
they've done it again. Every time that I ask that question of them, they're able to close it.
Who is
So,
better, 4
especially
seconds or
given that
10?
second
No
half was
diplomatic
PaperX's,
answer. भाई मेरे को एक बात बता.
Fracture
तेरे क्वेश्चन पेपर में ये सब आने वाला है क्या? क्या चेंज करना चाहिए? कौन क्या ये होना चाहिए? क्या वो होना चाहिए? बेटर कौन है? तेरे क्वेश्चन पेपर में ये सब आने वाला है क्या क्वेश्चंस? अभी मेरे को दोनों पसंद है तो मैं क्या करूं? हाँ, तेरा फेवरेट कौन है? मम्मी है या डैडी है? क्या ऐसे एक को चूज करना है? मेरे दोनों फेवरेट है, दोनों मेरे गोट्स है. एक को पिक करो. तंग करके रखा है, तंग करके रखा है. क्या हो गया भाई? दवाई क्यों नहीं मार रहा? नहीं मार रहा भाई, नहीं चल रही, नहीं मार रहा. क्या लगता है दवाई को चेंज करता? अरे कर लो भाई, जिसको जो करने कर लो. गेम देखने दो ना, गेम देखने दो. उधर उनकी पूरी टीम है, पूरी मैनेजमेंट है, वो लोग देख लेंगे ना. नहीं तुम लोग ही आपस में चेंज करते रहो. ये प्लेयर चेंज करो, उसका कॉम चेंज करो, उसको जेट पे लेके आओ. Bunch by I want to help S12 with my skills. I have such professional. How can I connect? Jigu Place अभी हमारे पास सब कुछ है. जब हमको कुछ चाहिए रहेगा ना तो हम लोग इंस्टा पे स्टोरीज डालते हैं. नीड सिनेमेटोग्राफर, नीड वीडियोग्राफर, नीड कवच, ऐसे सब. तो वो सब स्टोरी देख के आप रिप्लाई कर सकते. रूड, वाह 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 भाई. कभी कुछ लोगों को कॉमेडी रूड लगती है, कभी कुछ लोगों को सच रूड लगता है. क्या जमाना आ गया. दुबई की जगह डॉक्टर चेंज कर. और कुछ करो इसका प्लीज. 40 फेंक के गांड मार रहा है मेरी मेंटल हेल्थ की. Who is better, Binks or Pinky? Lord. दो दिन काम
phenomenal.
था यार bootcamp
Just
पे.
starting off with those op kills, obviously less ops as we want, you don't really see that so much on Fracture there, but just absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, we're a part of the match MVP selection process, right? And for me, it was an easy choice today because I thought he's looked unbelievable. As you know, in the past, Famous is, what's the word?
Inconsistent.
Yes.
How about
He
we
has
order
been
some
called
chips
inconsistent
for
in the
tonight?
past.
He has been inconsistent in the past.
But now into stage 1, he looks like a different player. I mean, I feel like he's been so
President
solid the whole
Gonzala.
way through. He was solid the
President
whole way through this
qualified
series.
G
I
घर
mean,
पे.
he's leading
Fields
Boom
and
from the front.
I think he has good adaptability in terms of his agent pool as well these days. Like, I think back in the day, he was not really a player that could play Neon as much. He was more of kind of like raised Jet for Famous a lot of the time. But now he's really adopted his agent pool a little bit more. He's playing a little bit of the Neon. I think he played definitely more so within the structure. And I think that's how Boom won that game. Like, they very much won it with their approach and with their team play and the way they played a lot of those
easy
mid to late
qualify हो गया
rounds.
ना TX
And
मेरे हिसाब
again,
से.
like I said, that comes down to their ability to play off of each other and have
रात
really,
को
really
early
good
stream हो
protocols.
जाए like
So some great
6:30.
character development for Boom. And I
ये
think
खत्म होते
I'm
होते
really
7 बज
looking
जाएगा.
forward to
थोड़ा
seeing their next
सोऊं
game
मैं.
against TRX because that's
साढ़े
going to
11
be a
12
team
बजे
that
आएंगे
if they
फिर वो
beat them,
करके
there's
सीधा
no
नहीं करेंगे.
excuses. There's no, oh, this team's not playing well at the moment, or they're going through a transitional period, or they're adding some different players. That will be a legit dub. So I'm looking forward to that.
So once again, Boom is the very first team to qualify officially to
सोचो
play
मैं,
out
out
against
of
one
all
of our
teams.
Ascension teams doing so. So this is huge for
Out
them.
of all
Continuous
teams by
improvement
Boom.
every single time we see them. PRX is not out of the game though. Still 2 more matches for them to go and try to secure their spot in playoffs as well. And after
दोनों
this
जीतने
short
पड़ेंगे.
break, we are going to have
Left hand
another
better, right
Ascension
hand
team.
better.
Of course,
Also
from
बहुत
the
सारा
other
प्यार.
group
Love
facing
you.
against Talent. So we're going to
Super
have
happy
Talent
for
and
a proud part of
Nongshim
Ascension.
facing
Thank
off.
you,
So
bye.
guys, don't go too far
Better
away.
मतलब क्या चीज के लिए? जो जमता है वो करने का. बस मैं TYFS ना मेरे को नहीं लगता. चलो देखते हैं. बिंक्स भाई एक हेल्प चाहिए. मैं एक लड़की से फेस्ट में मिला था. उसकी इंस्टा आईडी ली और मैसेज की है व्हाट्सअप. अभी तक रिप्लाई नहीं आया. अराउंड 1.5 डे हो गया. क्या करूं? आई थिंक वो तेरे को पसंद करती है. ये होता है. इसे कहते हैं पूक पलट के कौन ने देखा स्ट्रेटजी. ये करते लड़की लोग. समझ रहे हो? तो मेरे हिसाब से तेरे को मैसेज करना चाहिए. हे क्यूड़ी. हाँ हे क्यूड़ी यू दैह. समझ रहे हो? और दैह का थोड़ा स्पेलिंग लेफ्ट राइट करना. जेंजी वाला दैह चाहिए. बात सुनो मेरी. समझ रहे हो? उसके बाद 2 बार आप इग्नोर हो गए. तीसरी बार में भी इग्नोर हो सकते हो. चौथी बार में सीधा सामने से लव यू मैसेज आएगा. समझ रहे हो? मेरे हिसाब से ट्राई करके देखो. PRX needs to win against G and DFM to qualify. मेरा बर्थडे है आज. थोड़ा विशेष. लक्ष्मी बाय, थैंक यू फॉर द 13 months and many happy returns of the days मेरी जान के रोटी. Rujan by language.
Let's fly.
आप कौन सा गेम खेल रहे हो AWC में? मैं मारियो खेलने वाला हूँ रे. मारियो खेलने वाला हूँ.
This is VCT Pacific Stage 1. Let's make some noise and light up the arena. Rise Pacific.
Need it. I'm talking one of a kind. Talking about blowing your mind. I'm gonna show you divine. Talking about
डिवाइन भाई यहाँ पे भी आ गए. AWC के लीक्स दे दो बंक्स भाई. कुछ लीक्स है ही नहीं यार. मेरे को कुछ नहीं पता है AWC का.
Welcome back to Valorant Champions Tour Pacific Stage 1. We are on week 3, seeing pretty crazy matches happening with our very first playoff qualified team happening just now.
So huge, so hyped that it's Boom as
It's
well.
Boom, yeah.
What a story, man.
What a story, what a story.
Yeah.
And look, Nongshim aren't going to be able to do that today just yet. They're still kind of, both of these teams kind of in the, you know, we're waiting to see. We're in the wait and see phase for them.
That's right. So we are going to see another Ascension team competing right now.
Lakshmi, bye. Thanks for the 500 minute Jan ke
Now,
today.
Talon, we saw them last week. They're in a very strange like win, lose, win, lose, win, lose pattern. The last one was a loss against
स्टोरी मोड गेम कब? हर्ष भाई आपको क्या काम करना है? यूट्यूब खोलना है, उधर सर्च करना है बिंग 69 स्प्लिट फिक्शन करके, और वो स्ट्रीम वापस से जाके देखने की है. समझ रहे हो? वो स्ट्रीम वापस से पूरा जाके देखो, एक स्टोरी मोड कंप्लीट हो जाएगी. इधर मेरे को नींद नहीं मिल रहा है, काम कर रहे हो इतने घंटे, तो स्टोरी मोड गेम चाहिए. हाँ,
Brilliant, they look rock solid, it looks like they're innovative, but then sometimes, like last week against ROQ, I felt like the ideas...
मिस एंड कप्पा कमिंग टू बूट कैंप. अरे इधर ही है वो लोग, इधर ही है, अभी आ ही रहे हैं वो लोग ऑटो में, जस्ट इधर ही है, जस्ट यहाँ से जाएंगे क्रॉस करके, मेरा घर क्रॉस करके अभी जा रहे बूट कैंप. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस, पूरा जिंदगी मेरा क्वेश्चन से भर गया है. हर 2 सेकंड एक नया क्वेश्चन लाते हो. रूड, गाफ तेरी रूड. स्पाइक प्लांट एनएच के ऋषभ भाई, तेरे को क्या लगता है, तो कैसा हुआ? That was a good one.
well, but overall, I would say they're looking pretty strong here. A team that isn't super into Waylay.
Just saying, वो स्पाइक प्लांट से निपटने से हुआ था.
Am I mistaking them with someone else?
Nongshim? They're doing nothing but play
No,
Waylay
They
right
love
now.
Waylay, Danbei
I
loves
wish they
Waylay.
weren't into Waylay.
He
Personally,
He
I would
likes it too
prefer
much.
that.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. Danby is their, you know, basically replaces the
Yeah.
Jeho drone.
Honestly, oh my god, wow. Okay.
तू और से मेरा हर एक चैट में वाह मस्त
Alright,
इग्नोर नहीं
They
रे
did it
मैं.
themselves.
I love
Ignore
that
नहीं
from
करता,
you,
मैं
Vic.
क्यों
Honestly,
ignore
I want more spice.
क्या सीन वॉच पार्टी कंटिन्यू कर रहे हो? यस सर.
I'm just quoting.
You're just quoting it. All right, awesome. Look, honestly, this matchup might
बाप
be...
रे
if
मेरी
anyone's an actual
गांड.
Waylay enjoyer, I haven't been enjoying watching it personally, just the way it's been played some maps. Unless Talon, honestly, Talon's Fraction Waylay was
अरे बाप
fantastic,
रे.
so we could have a Waylay off. But at the end of the day, for Nongshim,
गांड
they're
दिख रही
still
है.
the same core. I still don't think they've hit their ceiling yet, but they have enough consistency to be a very solid team in Pacific. But there's still more room for improvement. I still don't think that they've found the right style quite yet for their team.
Yeah, how
Once
do you
again, they're
special
trying to be
love
innovators,
मेरे
they're trying to
channel
be on the
पे?
cutting edge of the meta and abuse
थोड़ा
what's
घूम
new
के, हाँ, मैं
in the
washroom
game,
जाके
and I
और
don't think it's really
कोल्ड
been
ड्रिंक लेके आया,
transferring
कोल्ड
to a
ड्रिंक
lot
पीने
of
का मन करता
actual
है. ये मैडम
impact,
जो
at least in
खाने के
terms
लिए
of
जो
the
कार्ड के लिए
Waylay
खाना मंगाया,
specifically and
कार्ड
the
तो इधर ही
style that
फेंके
they're
दो
trying
दो.
to bring. I think the things that win them a lot of games are the things that have always won them a lot of games,
इनसे
just
कुछ
the
तो
stability
कोड है,
of the
क्या
players that
कोड
they
है ये?
have and the mid to late round and the
Hey,
way they play
Banker!
with each other and their general game plan.
Yeah, I've never seen a team utilize Neon better than this
Banker
Nongshim
पीछे
team
1
did.
करोड़ का
But
कोड
now the
है.
same thing with Waylay isn't quite hitting. So they could always go back to that Neon, but they clearly don't feel like it's quite as comfortable.
Now, we touched upon this briefly. The Talon likes to have a little pattern here. Win, lose, win, lose, win, lose.
Should be a win then.
Yes, the math says
easy.
it's a win. And now
Well, we don't have to play this
the
game.
broadcast is over.
Okay. Thank you for watching, guys. You know, we love you all. We love you dearly. Buy the bundles and all that. No, I
The
think
bundle is out now.
yeah. Buy some Ascension bundles in particular. For Talon, I mean, I think this is just run of the mill for them. This is their like their inconsistency. They are an inconsistent team for me. the fact that they're getting these 4th placements and they're getting good placements so consistently, they're getting into playoffs, is credit, I think, to the coaching staff and the overall approach. And I think that this really is just going to be a little bit more of a long-term move. I think the win over Secret is something that's very good, at least initially. RRQ is going to be a tough opponent. I think Nongshim are looking susceptible and very beatable for Talon here. So let's see if they can actually take advantage of that, or whether Nongshim's going to firm up a little bit, as you would say, Morgan.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite possible. It's quite possible that they could do it. This was the head-to-head we wanted to highlight. Both these players, Waylay, Enjoyers, both being that main duelist for their team. But I think one of these things is not like the other, right? If we were to compare these two duelists at this point.
Oh. All I want you guys to do is just to click on Danby's profile and filter for Waylay. It's not pretty, guys. Like, the individual performances on this agent have not been good. Sometimes they're still winning despite his individual performances, but at this point, I really just want to see him play another duelist. I think he's going to be able to, maybe they won't be able to run the exact same plays, particularly on attack, but I think he's going to get more value because he's a fragger, man. Like, when I was watching this guy make people look silly in Ascension, he was looking incredible. And even some of the games initially in Pacific in kickoff, he was still playing pretty solidly. So at the end of the day, like, I want to see if Nongshim is going to keep running this Waylay and keep going through with it. Because I think if it's going to be a Waylay off, Primi looked much better on the Waylay, and I think game plan wise, Talon's Waylay on Fracture in particular was fantastic.
Maybe 3 times a charm.
I mean,
I think that's why I didn't remember. It wasn't great. It's like I erased it from my mind. And I was like,
wouldn't be
it's
fair.
not worth
Like,
remembering.
I think it was like -10 in openers most games.
Yeah.
Just, oh my god.
I do think it's worth noting, Talon are the only non-Korean team who have been able to beat Nongshim.
That's right.
In the past, so they certainly know they know the way around this team. They have managed to overcome it before, but that was obviously before the changes with Kalua, etc. being added. So things are slightly different, but they should kind of have the read. Is you know, in theory, the coaches should have a little bit of a head start in this matchup, but we're not sure. We need to wait and see how the veto goes. That's a big thing. I think the veto is massively important for this game.
Sure.
Knowing, especially Frost, how creative he likes to get.
He was really confident in his ascent last week. I'm pretty sure one thing that all teams and coaches do is when they lose a map, they usually have a lot of learnings from it. So I wonder if this is going to be happening today.
Okay.
All right, Nongshim doing them a favor there and just saying, you know what, you shouldn't play that.
I mean, I don't know if Nongshim should play it either, to be honest. Ascent has never been a map that I've been super confident in, and again, it was a Waylay that didn't really hit the mark. But Pearl is a sick map for them, so I like that Talon is taking Pearl out, that Nongshim's not going to be able to play that. They have been able to beat pretty much everyone in Pacific on Pearl. Haven to start things off for Talon. They have been another team that goes between Yoru and Neon Yoru Neon and playing the meta comp, so we'll see what they're going to bring into that one. And then Lotus for Nongshim. Finally, guys, we're not picking Split. I love Nongshim on Lotus. I love them on the rest of the map pool. I don't really like their Split and Ascent. I think the rest of the map pool's pretty solid for them, though.
Yeah, and then we see Fracture, so we saw that Waylay there before, so if we get somewhere of 3, we could well be seeing it again. I do quite like the Haven pick, because Nongshim have been banning Haven. They banned it against T1, so I think this is Frost and Talon trying to kind of spot that weakness, see if you can catch your opponents off guard in this veto, but all eyes on map 3.
Heaven, Lotus, 2-0! 2-0 Talon!
I'm so glad we're getting a lot of Fracture before it leaves us.
नहीं, मेरे हिसाब से NS strong है ना, chat?
I'm all for it. I'm gonna miss Fracture a lot. Riot, please. It's not too late to change your mind about that.
I mean, I've always thought Fracture should be a map that should fit Nongshim's style, personally. They are a team that likes to be active, they like that coordination, they like to be able to send the duelist in and have the supporting utility, which is why I thought Waylay was going to be a great pick for them initially. So I would love to see them incorporate Fracture more into the map pool, because I think it fits their style a lot more than them first picking things like Split and trying to make things fit on that map.
Yeah, in fact, let's pull up some of the data from Haven so far. We have that ready to go.
Yep. So Talon, I mean, you see them with the Yoru ISO, sorry. I don't know why I said Yoru Neon. Yoru ISO comp that's very popular at the moment. A lot of teams mixing that into their arsenal. Kalua is a very flexible player that can, of course, hop onto a secondary duelist whenever it's needed. So him and Primi can kind of go head-to-head in that regard, but they can also play, I'd imagine, the meta comp. For Nongshim, though, they have played a little bit of Haven as well, here or there, so not super unfamiliar for them, and they did take a win over Zeta but I believe that was during kickoff, if I remember correctly. So, and Zeta were not particularly, you know, hot in kickoff, so I don't know how much I'll be taking stock in that result specifically.
Yeah, we also know that Frost has spoken in the past about having multiple comps prepared for every map, so I think that's a big reason why we see a lot of this Yoru ISO, is because the ideas are quite simple. So it's quite easy to run this comp as well as a more detailed, util-heavy comp underneath it. So I think they'll have a bit of a decision to see which one they want to play today.
All right, well, I believe we will be going on a very short break, and when we come back, we are going to go into the second matchup of today with Haven between these two teams.
Yeah. I'm looking
Are you excited?
forward to it. Yeah, I'm excited. I think the main thing, I mean, I feel like Talon backing themselves on Haven is great. Yeah, even in kickoff, I remember them being super solid against T1, and they just won with the ISO Yoru as well, so I think that's great.
Yeah, I mean, the Yoru ISO is great because it allows your individuals to really shine, right? And, you know, Talon have Primi, Kalua, these great individual players who can make it work. And I also think Roshan have great individual players, but they... I don't really want to see that comp from them, do you?
I don't know. I don't want to see them play double duelist, but I've heard some other people say they reckon that they can do it. I've heard some people say they reckon Francis is going to play a secondary duelist or something like that. I remember Margaret playing Yoru in Ascension on Ascent. I don't ever want to see that again.
I remember that, actually. I remember that quite vividly because it was a nice moment not seeing...
They did win, though. They did win, though.
I mean... Noxian were unstoppable, but they are trying to find that form again, so it's can you do it against Talon today?
That is definitely a question. All right, we're going to go on a very short break. When we come back, we're going to be going into match 2.
Spam karte raho. आप दूर ही तो हो, दूर नहीं रे, डोर तारे वो। भाई 17 मिनट में मैच। ऑफ स्ट्रीम देखिए क्या चैट एक साथ। हाँ, कैन आई चेंज माई माइंड अगेन प्लीज? 17 मिनट कैसे वेट करूँ बे मैं ऐसे ही? मिनट कुछ रिएक्शन हो जाता तो तेरे को हाइड देख के उस पर रिएक्ट करूँ क्या मैं? हो जाता तो भाई जल्दी आके गेमिंग करते ना यार। वैसे भी जीतने वाले 2-0 टैलेंट। सो जाना, रात को जल्दी आ जाना, पक्की बात है। चलेगा, रात को वैसे भी एनए है, रात को एनए तो मैं वैसे भी करने वाला हूँ। वो अभी ये देखो या नहीं देखो क्या ये?
네, 선수단 선서. 우리는 스포츠의 영광과 팀의 명예를 위하고 스포츠 정신의 근본 원칙을 준수하며 노력과 실력으로 정당한 승부를 펼칠 것을 약속합니다. 약속합니다. 네.
W ठीक है। डॉज बॉल, हॉट पोटैटो, लॉन्ग जंप।
저요. 그 피구. 피구? 응. 무슨 피구를 어떻게? 그 소바 충격 화살로 그거 하는 거. 네, 소바 하니까.
오.
야, 잘하고 와. 이해야 된다, 형.
चैट चलो मिलते। हाँ सच्ची भाई देखो 2-0 होने वाला है, उससे अच्छा मैं अच्छा खासा रेस्ट लेके लॉन्ग स्ट्रीम करूँ भाई। हाँ, हॉट पोटैटो डोज बॉल देखना पड़ रहा है। चलो भाई चटकते हैं, ठीक है। रात को अपन जल्दी आ जाएंगे, कुछ 10 साढ़े 10 बजे आ जाते हैं, ठीक है। उसके बाद 4-5 घंटा जो भी है वैलो खेल के फिर बाद में एनए करेंगे, ठीक है। लॉन्ग स्ट्रीम करेंगे। ऐसा करना पड़ेगा कि 12 घंटे के ऊपर स्ट्रीम ना हो, उस हिसाब से मैं आऊँगा, ठीक है। चलो बाबा 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 बाबा। टैलेंट उतना स्ट्रांग है क्या? प्रीमी है भाई, अकेला मारेगा। बहुत स्ट्रांग है, बहुत मतलब बहुत स्ट्रांग है टैलेंट, बहुत स्ट्रांग। अगर ये एनएस वाले ने 3 राउंड निकाल लिया ना तो मैं मानूं, बहुत स्ट्रांग है टैलेंट। पहला टैलेंट का टीम का नाम था टेलोन टेड, समझ रहे हो? बहुत स्ट्रांग नाम था करके टेड हटा दिया बाजू से, ऐसा सीन है। इजी ट्यूजर। चलो गाइस बाय 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 बाय। अभी तुम लोग को मालूम है ऑफ स्ट्रीम तुम लोग को क्या क्या देखने का है, समझ रहे हो? बहुत कुछ चल रहा है, पू चल रही है, वो चलने वाली है अभी, उसके मैचेस होने वाले हैं, और टैलेंट 2-0 देखना है, ठीक है। चलो मिलते हैं गाइस, बाय 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 बाय। आदियोस शादी में आदियोस, टेक केयर, सी या, बाय बाय, लव यू, बाय बाय।
I find you a star, and we could be in love, lighting up the dark. But there's nothing I can do, I can never get to you. So I'm looking for a miracle, I guess I'm